found a fucking dog at the track this morning. Apparently, it jumped out of the window when they were people were getting pumped out when they were leaving.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
Yeah, they ended up finding the owners. Our dogs were great, except for somebody decided to puke in the woods like 100 yards from our camper, and Rocco found it, and then he couldn't leave it. Like every time we took him outside, it was like, get out, get away from it. Fucking Kevin's throwing a bunch of, like, he's cleaning out his camper today. I didn't even realize it. So we let the dogs go outside, and he goes, if they're eating something over there, it's just croissant. Like, come around the corner, dude, it looks like bird feed. Like, he shredded them all and threw it.
Yeah.
And Frankie's running around, and he's like, he's found the mystical parking lot croissant. He's hyped because he's sniffing around. Like,
you got very good comments. Bonus people, let's go. We got a guest. AKA Topics Under the Stairs, Ryan.
That's right.
That's right.
Twist my arm. Grab me too. Those are going to be extra cold because they were in ice. They hit different when they're on ice.
Yeah.
I was saying that this weekend. We had a cooler full of just like Gatorades. And
yeah, they go down faster.
And shit.
No, I'm good, thanks.
We had a Gatorade full like Arnold Palmer's and just non-alcoholic drinks. And I grabbed a Gatorade on like Friday morning and I just took a big swig off it. And I was like, there is something that hits different about an ice cold cooler Gatorade.
One.
That's probably all.
And a water.
Yeah. I actually don't feel, because I didn't really drink a lot yesterday. I figured out. I put like, I don't know, I had 3 or 4, maybe 5 at the tailgate.
See Carter up.
Carter Upley already got bonked. I had like 3, 4, or 5 at the tailgate. I put like 8 or 9 in my backpack when we got back to the camper last night. I think there was 6. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. I had barely ate yesterday, so I was like trying to be smart about it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like,
even though I knew I didn't have to go anywhere.
I want to eat more, but the last thing I want to do is have to take a shit at some point in that track. Yeah. So it's like, ugh.
She made breakfast yesterday morning, and you ever like, I don't know if there's anybody else, but it was just me. She's like, oh, I'm going to make eggs. I was like, yeah, that's fine. And I took 1 bite of them, and I'm like, I don't want these. Like, sometimes eggs just don't work, and I took like 2 bites, and I was like, I'm just not
yeah, just not having it.
Not with it. I was like choking them down. I was like, that's not good. She's like, you got to eat something. I ended up eating like half a bagel that someone didn't want. And then a house to dozen cider donuts in the track. They were the little guys. They were the little.
Yeah.
They were unbelievable. It was some fair. Some local orchard had their like fair trailer.
Yep.
But it was like $5 for a half dozen. And I went. I was like, I'll eat them real quick. Ate the whole bag of the 6 of them while we were waiting in line for her to get a slice of pizza. And I was like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get another.
Dude, a couple years ago, when it became pumpkin spice season, Newport Craft, which was Newport Store and Brewery.
Yeah.
In Newport, they had some local place made their own cider, but it was alcoholic cider, and they made fresh, apple cider donuts with the hot alcoholic cider. They warm up the cider for you. Oh my god, dude!
That's
dangerous. It was not okay how good it was.
I'm so happy,
and I'm not a cider guy.
That
was delicious.
Apple cider donuts, like all that, everything. That's the best time of the year if you're like anything with flavor.
Yeah.
All right. I opened that too soon. Fuck. Whatever. Don't care. Oh fuck. Ah fuck.
A lot of guest comments. Look at this.
Christmas.
Ryan's my favorite part of topics.
Oh, thanks, Tyler. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah,
it's there.
Audio's on. At least it should be.
Hi, John.
I can't believe when Holso came back into the track, like fucking a soldier returning to war. He's like got his hand up.
He came back for the race?
Yeah.
Oh, no, good.
Yeah, he went back in. Apparently, from what I heard, they were not. It was a free-for-all. There was no one at the gates because they had all packed up and left.
Yeah.
All the security stuff was gone, so people in the camping group, somebody was like, can we get back in if they restart? And all the people in the comments were like,
yes.
We just walked back in. They're not checking tickets. They're not doing it. You just stroll right back in.
How's everyone's audio?
Good.
Yeah.
Audio good?
I think
audio,
so, yeah.
audio.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah,
check.
That's actually pretty good. Turn me down a little bit then.
Turn me down, country road.
That did nothing.
How about now?
You're not doing anything.
Yes, I am.
I can see him
That's
moving.
fine.
Can you? I just want to test it. Can you up one?
How's that?
I'll leave.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I think you went way too far down.
How's that?
More.
How's that?
More.
How's that?
More?
How's that?
That's good.
More? That's all I have.
You turned me down to like nothing. I could barely hear you.
No, that was after I blew your eardrums
After you
out.
blew my fucking eardrums out.
Yes. I thought Kyle's dog was here. It's just a mic stand.
Yeah.
Aw.
It might be this one.
No,
No,
it's
it's
that
this
one. I remember you did it last week too. You moved it and it squeaked and you looked at me like, what the fuck?
Haven't we learned not to touch these? Quit
No.
playing with it.
Definitely not.
It's going to be in your lap by like lap 30.
I think, is this one still flaccid?
Flossied?
Yep, I'm watching it go down.
Ever so
It's
ever so
definitely-
gently.
Mine definitely has payroll.
You got new buttons? One new button?
Yep.
What'd you replace?
The horn.
All right, fair trade-off. It's fair trade-off.
Is that
Yeah, I like that one.
supposed to be Ric Flair?
Because it doesn't
Yeah.
sound like Ric Flair.
Do I need to get another one?
That's not a good Ric Flair. It sounds like somebody recorded Ric Flair from an auditorium through their TV. Like we need that interview peak Ric
That's a
Flair
very
drip.
specific reference.
It really
Right, but
was.
like it's got
It
like
really
three
was.
echoes behind it. It's like, whoa.
He needs the one that's like,
No, that's
he needs
not
the
what I
one
want.
that's like the Bruins
Where was
one.
that? Was that coming
I was playing out on TV.
Okay, I thought I was fucking losing my minds.
Better?
Yeah, why does it have
It's the same
reverb
one.
after it?
Because it's like recorded live. It's not like he went into a room with a microphone. You guys are ruining my fun here.
I'm not complaining. I said it was fine.
It's no wonder you guys go 3 hours.
We haven't even started yet.
I know.
You meant minutes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, now I need to find a good one.
Dude, we missed that on the pickle car. Right over the headlight, it says, chill out, eat a pickle.
Is it me or not see the pickle card like
doesn't
lap
sound like him.
150?
That doesn't even sound like Ric Flair. Yeah.
Where the fuck was he the whole time?
He was,
Say the words.
All right, you can shut that off now.
There, he finally said it. Jesus Christ.
Thanks, Norm.
The video is called Ric Flair Woo. It's 37 seconds long, 36 and a half seconds of him just talking nonsense.
I mean, isn't that most of his career?
I just wanted him to say woo.
yeah, Nick, I also had that Kellogg's Larson shirt on. I had it on when you saw me yesterday.
This is the clip I think you have. Because for some reason it has like the Warner Brothers like, thing after it.
You're going to obsess about this for the next 3 hours?
Yeah, dude. Big Ric Flair fan.
Oh, because it's not plugged in. Goodbye, everyone, for a second.
Wrestling is so fucking stupid.
I didn't know Corey was a big wrestling guy.
Oh, yeah.
When he was talking a couple weeks ago about how he like sells all the old DVDs on
yeah,
eBay and shit.
That's the best one so
That's
far, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
We're good.
That's not the same one as the first one, right? I'm not like losing my mind.
What?
That's not the same one as before, right?
No.
That's the new one? Yeah, that sounds more like him.
Yeah, that's good. We'll take that. Okay.
Well, that was a new added layer to the pre-show. Normally he doesn't change his buttons.
Woo!
Should just
Should have just recorded that. Fuck.
Our producer was just turn it on, dump the mics, and don't swear for the first couple minutes.
Yeah.
We always forget that last part.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
I think we've done good tonight.
Maybe.
Maybe. Somebody, there was like 2 weeks ago, somebody dropped something like in the first 5 seconds, and we're like, damn it.
You guys good or?
Woo!
Wiggle it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of the Loose is Fast podcast, your podcast home for all things NASCAR and some things not. I'm Kyle Belcher and joined, as always, across the table by Mr. Daniel Walker,
Sleepy.
Norman Pelletier,
Woo!
and in the studio, a very special guest. You can see him on Topics Under the Stairs, on Norm's bedroom, Dan's ceiling, but he's been called up from the lower ranks, much like an Xfinity driver moving up to Cup.
That hurts.
Coming from Topics Under the Stairs, Mr. Ryan Hathaway.
Hi, boys. What's happening?
Welcome to Topics Under the Grandstand.
That's right.
On today's episode, we will talk some NASCAR news, recap our weekend at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, answer some questions, have some fun along the way, try to stay awake during this entire thing, which might be a struggle. But before we get into that and all the fun that is this fantastic kinda-ish podcast, Dan, pay the bills.
I've decided no. I'm
Okay.
putting my foot
Cool.
down.
All
No
right.
bills.
So callbacks.
Brought to you this
Fuck
week.
them bills.
Asking that bank for the old extension.
Listen, we've been paying the bills for how long, and we haven't had air conditioning. We have air conditioning tonight. Maybe there's a secret here. Bills are already paid. Brought to you this week and every other week by the Revival Motoring Network, the Revival Motoring Podcast, listeners like you, and revivalmotoring.com/B4B. Norm, what's that? B for B stands for Bucks for the Boys, brother.
Woo!
If I knew what Jim the Anvil Neidhart sounded like, I'd say something, but
Can you smell what B for B is cooking?
I don't know any other wrestlers. Those are my three.
That was
That's
good.
great. You can't see B for B.
He doesn't talk like that.
I donated to B for B.
I'm
And
friends
I
with-
donated to another B for B.
I'm friends with Carl Edwards, and I'm on that Peacemaker TV show.
Are you done?
brother?
You done?
That's my John Cena impression.
That was really bad.
Dude, I'm like really close
that
to
why
the
I can't see
family.
you right
I
now?
think it's pretty accurate.
Why do you keep doing this?
Dude, I don't know. Gang shit. I was watching Real Bros of Simi Valley the other night, dude. Bro, strip, not having a good time.
Oh, man. All right. Anyway.
Please continue, Norm, by all means. That is our...
Woo!
You're done.
Can we just...
Keep going. Yeah. Keep digging.
That is our... I'm waiting for him to just jump in here, so I'm looking at
He's
thinking
gotta
about
time it.
Explode.
He's about to explode. That is our PBS-style donation system where you can help you by bringing you all sorts of crap all week. That is Ryan's show on Monday, our show on Tuesday-ish, depending on when that gets put out. Sometimes it's late on Tuesday.
It's still Tuesday.
The Revival Motoring show on Thursday. All of us on YouTube, depending on when we all record. All sorts of other crap, too. So that is, you go there, you can do a monthly recurring donation, $2, $5, $10, or $20, or any combination of those numbers. You can also make a donation, a one-time donation on PayPal at info@revivalmotoring.com. It's also the home of Kyle's Race Day Challenge. Kyle, what's that? They should know by now.
Race Day Challenge. You donate the dollar amount that matches the driver's number you believe will win on Sunday and guess correctly. I'll send you a little something.
Side effects also include.
Exactly the thing you're trying to solve for.
Yeah, that was the side effects voice right there.
Uncontrollable woos.
Yeah. Take this so you don't have death. Side effects may
Kyle's
include
race
death.
day challenge would literally be him doing that and just like a grandfather driving his kids around like in an RV.
What?
That's like all the medical things. It's like, has your foot fallen off in the past 6 months? And it's just a grandfather with his grandkids. Like,
What was
fuck does that
the
have to do with
what was the
disease?
boner pill one where they were all in bathtubs? Like, why is there a bathtub on a cliff? Like, they had a scenic view, and it's like
Oh,
the couple
yeah,
sitting
yeah.
in the bathtub, like the old
Like
clawfoot tub.
the outside bathrooms and stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one. Other ways
Go
you
see
can...
Ellis.
Yeah, other ways you can help us out is by leaving us reviews. We don't have any. Go leave a review on Apple because we like reading them.
Whoa. Check Spotify.
Oh, yeah, you added one. So Kyle finally 5-starred it because he's on somebody's fucking Spotify now.
Yep. That's my wife.
That's my wife. I don't even know. We were at like 132 last I checked.
I think we're at like
maybe.
138 now.
139.
Let's go.
And I think we have double the Apple reviews of topics.
I should leave that.
I'm sure.
You guys don't push that, so.
Yeah, I
John
don't know.
tried at one point, and then it just never happened.
People just don't smash that like button.
They don't. You need to smash that like button.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yep, go check out our YouTube.
Us first and then them.
Yeah.
So at least we keep it even.
In this crowd, I'll allow it.
Yeah, as long as we keep it even.
Yeah.
You know, if we both get a like, the gap stays the same, but you guys get more.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go like all 3 of the YouTube channels. That is us at Luce's Fast
At least 2 of
Podcast. Topics Under the Stairs, and I know Revival has theirs. They got a lot more subscribers than us.
They don't need help.
They don't need help. They're fine.
They're
don't need
good.
any help. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, that's about it. Share the image when Norm makes it. Again, probably already made. He just has to add the title.
Probably.
And go like that when we share, or go share that when we share it tomorrow. Maybe you'll hook a friend in.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hook a friend.
First one's always free.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one's always free. Then
Yeah, then they come back for
we,
more.
Then we just beg for donations after that.
That sounds about right.
Can you please call me an Uber?
Yeah. Heard you guys were getting complaints for not partying enough. Dan's favorite people.
We were there 5 minutes.
Dude,
Oh,
I
yeah.
said to the guy, I was
Two
like,
of 'em.
well,
We
that's
had two of
impressive because we've been here for about 3 minutes.
We
Yeah.
we had
he did.
a tent up, and I looked over and I saw him, and I was like,
Saw him
this
coming, yeah.
motherfucker. And he
And then the
comes.
second guy that was just kind of lingering.
Did we
trying to
already
get,
talk to you? Yes.
trying to get Dan Brown to look at him.
Oh,
Yeah.
He kept
dude.
just standing off on the sides like he should be the NASCAR mascot.
Yeah, he was trying to get us in.
Yeah.
What kills me
and
is
we were
we've-
just like ignoring him,
What-
and he kept saying it.
I have been going to Loudon for damn near 30 years. That line has never changed. We're getting some complaints that you guys are not partying hard enough over here or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Let's give the listeners a rundown on what that actually
This
is.
is a tank of sober people. We just left an AA meeting.
Yeah, so what they do,
Can't
and
leave.
we've seen this at, the guy walked up to us at Coda with the pins, remember?
Yeah.
They do it with pins. They do it with hats. Loudon, it's always been hats or a shitty like knockoff T-shirt. They walk up to you while you're tailgating, and we've gotten a report that you guys aren't partying hard enough, or you're partying too hard, or one of those two things. And they got this whole shtick, and they start handing you out hats or whatever they're trying to peddle, hats, pins.
yeah, who's your favorite driver? Oh,
Yeah,
Brad Keselowski. Here's a
six hat. And then once they give you the stuff, then they start asking for quote unquote donations.
It's optional, right? So I'll just take the hat now?
Oh, Steph did that. She has a Dale Earnhardt Jr. hat that the guy gave her, and then started doing the shtick about donations. And she's like, "I don't have cash," and walked away.
Nah.
And the guy was just like, "I was like, you heard her. Time to go."
See you later.
So they are ruthless. Like they will. They got the people across from us. I saw them after we said no, thank you. He left and went over there, and they were all getting new hats and shit.
And I believe he said, I think Dan Brown said that he said it was for like veteran and homeless suicide.
Yeah,
and
they
stuff
say
like
that.
Yeah, we feed homeless people
Like,
10,000 meals a month or something.
I'm sure it's an actual cause, but your way of doing it is so fucking annoying. It makes us not want to help you.
Exactly,
Right.
100%. And
Like, whether it's legit or not, set up a fucking booth.
yeah,
He'd be like, can you give me the address? Because I would like to donate to that, but I don't want you to get any credit for
yeah.
it.
Give me the PayPal. I'll do it right now on my phone.
Yeah, but for the past 6 years, you guys have just been walking into our tents and acting like you've been part of the conversation for 15 minutes. It's like, no, this shit's annoying. Stop doing it, please.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me, how they just walk in and become part of your group. And it's like, get out. Just get out of
so
here.
obnoxious. All right, but anyway, watch out for those people if they try to peddle you hats or pins at the racetrack.
Just say no.
Just tell them to piss off.
Belittle them and make them walk away, because that's the funnest thing to do.
I'm sure tracks get complaints about it all the time.
I had to
There's nothing
stop.
they can do about it.
Yeah, they're not like
They can't
sanctioned.
patrol that.
They're not sanctioned by the track. They pull in just like
And
we
what's
do.
up with them
park
wearing
their
like their
cars and-
license around their neck?
Well, so that was the move, right? So he tells us about the homeless veteran food that they give out, and then he like picks it up and like does that and puts it down. That's supposed to make what he's saying legit.
I can make a card too that says I'm legit.
Yeah.
Cool,
So
bro.
ridiculous.
I had to stop Ed Cash from fighting one of them one year. He got pissed because the guy wouldn't leave, and it was not good.
Yeah. All right. let's go to callbacks as we usually do. Quick callback to the TV ratings. We got Iowa last week. The inaugural race for Cup at Iowa got 2.69 million viewers on USA. Most watched Cup Series race on cable TV since Pocono last year.
Yep.
So good for them.
I like how they squeaked that in there when they announced the ratings. They're like, it was the most watched cable sporting event last weekend.
Yep.
I saw a bunch of people reposting it. They're like, I can't believe we were the most watched sporting event. I was like, no.
Most watched cable.
No, watch cable.
Not broadcast.
Network TV had a golf major on. They got, there was 11 million viewers at one point. It was like, no, that was. You did not.
Semi-professional cornhole on ESPN 8 The Ocho.
Hell yeah.
That was the competition.
Yeah.
That was a great
Guys are
episode.
Money.
Also, beat every single FS1 for the first half of the season.
Not surprised.
So, good stuff.
Yep.
And then we get into our other callback, which almost went well, but didn't.
It went the right way.
The old race picks. So calling back to our race picks for New Hampshire Motor Speedway, I reluctantly chose Cindric instead of Barry, which was a bad call. Dan picked Ryan Preece, which wasn't that bad call. Finished 11th.
Where did he ended up getting up to 11th?
Yeah.
Dude, those SHR cars are made for the rain, though.
Apparently, yeah. But Mr. Norm Pelletier takes it home with his pick of Mr. Josh Berry, bringing it home third, bringing our score to 12 points for me, 11 points for Norm, and 37 points for Dan.
Minus
34
of those.
34.
I have three points.
I legitimately lost my voice.
I was just looking over at the graph and there's all the highlights. I'm like, oh, I hope that's not Dan's score.
No, this is Dan in the middle right here.
I'm in the middle. There's a whole lot of not green.
Yeah.
Dan has won twice since the Daytona 500.
I won the Daytona 500, though, so you can't. I'm a
did.
Daytona 500 winner for the rest of my career.
Where's the ring? All
All right, Austin Cindric.
Trevor Bain.
One and done
Dan
over
now
here.
takes the trophy away from Michael Waltrip. He's the worst ever driver to win the Daytona 500.
It's true.
The Bane train might be up there, too. All right, so now we have to look ahead to Nashville Super Speedway this upcoming weekend. What is that, 1.3 miles of fury over
It's
there?
like a little baby intermediate.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's concrete, isn't it? Isn't
Yes.
Nashville concrete?
Yeah.
Yes.
That means I get to choose first. The pickings are getting slim. I am going to give me Noah Gragson.
You sure you don't want to save him till next week at Chicago?
The missile himself.
He knows. Put himself firewall deep.
Didn't Norm win? Doesn't he get to pick first?
No, he picks last.
Winner picks last.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's fine. I'll go with that. That's fine. I'm not too thrilled about it, but I'll take it. Daniel.
Give me the Melon Man.
Damn it. I was hoping you didn't realize you still had him.
That's a good pick.
That ruins my pick for next week.
I kind of just realized I haven't picked anybody from Trackhouse, and he won, 2 years ago there?
last year.
Or last year. Yeah, he won there last year. Yeah.
Yep.
And I've had him written down for 3 weeks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm going to have to swap my Nashville and Chicago pick, so I'm going to take Chase Elliott.
Chase
Or is
Elliott.
Nashville the track they suck? No, that was Gateway. That was
Gateway.
All right, guess I'm taking Ross next week then. God damn it.
All right. So to lock it in, and also since we have our celebrity guest, right? Who do you think is going to win
Pick anybody.
at Nashville Super Speedway?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
We talk about practice.
I don't know. Give me a list. Okay, look at it.
Just pick a number. We'll tell you if it's a good pick.
Oh, who was the Kubota guy?
Ross
That's who
Chastain.
Dan picked.
He can pick
Oh,
him, though.
actually, you know what? Suarez might have Kubota next week. You never
He
know.
might. And actually, Suarez did well there too.
I like that scheme, so I'll go with that.
Going Chastain?
Yeah.
The Melon Man himself?
He's allowed. The guest is allowed to. overlap.
100%.
Maybe he'll change my luck. I'm going to need to talk to Ryan every week.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe
A little tag team action.
like the
here.
lady I used to work with that won the football pool by picking, a bear would kill a dolphin, so I'm gonna pick the bear, and she won the whole goddamn thing.
No kidding.
Oh, okay.
I think every
I don't know what she did when she had like non-animal ones, but she had some system and she won.
Hey, Joe, I don't know if you just joined, but I also picked Ross Chastain, so you might want to curb your excitement.
So he doesn't care about you.
Oh, no, he'll be mad because I have now cursed him.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
That
Joe,
was still
Joe, you might have missed that.
That was the moment of after you guys left yesterday, the race. I was
Yeah.
on Discord. Ross was moving. He was coming through the field, and Joe was like, he must have been behind because he puts in Discord like, yeah, fuck yeah, Ross, he's moving. And then it was like 3 seconds after Ross had spun and turned 4. So everybody in Discord's like, how far behind are you? And he's like, oh, no, I'm just saying, Ross is passing a bunch of people. And then the next message, son of a bitch.
He snuck up on us in the media center too.
Oh my
with
God.
that orange suit on.
I don't know how he snuck up on us. He was this color of a fucking a fresh parking cone.
Oh no.
That Kubota suit was beyond orange. And I heard the door close behind me. And I just kind of like slowly turned. I figured it was some random person. And he's standing a foot behind, like off my shoulder. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was the Dwight meme.
Yeah.
where she's
yes,
underneath
that's
him.
exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did he say? He's like, gotcha there.
Yeah.
No, because I looked at him. I was like, oh, you snuck in the side door, huh? He's like, yeah, I didn't. He's like, gotcha.
That was awesome. All right, so we got me with Gregson, Dan and Ryan with Mr. Ross Chastain, and Norm with Mr. Chase Elliott. Lock it in for Nashville. We'll see
I think
how
if
it
Dan
goes.
wins, he should get 2 spots just because.
Yeah. Not that it's going to make a difference.
Deal.
mean-
Yeah.
If he
If you wanna delegate your point.
too.
All right. So if I win, I get what? Whatever.
All right. If you win,
The race.
no. If you win at all, you get both points.
Okay.
If you get the race win, you get 3.
I'm down with that. I'll still be double behind you, so it really isn't going to make a difference.
It'll look better though.
I know it'll look better. That's
Yeah.
all. I'm here for optics. I'm
I
all
don't
about
like this.
I'm all about smoke and mirrors,
We're just giving out freaking free points these
buddy.
days.
It's the Make a Wish Foundation.
You get a
over here.
point. You get
Like-
a point. It's like Oprah over here.
It
I
is a
have
charity.
four times as many points as
Yeah,
Dan.
it is a charity at this point. Shut up over there.
Watch he wins, you get the 3 points, and then just go on a fucking tear.
I'm out of people to go on tears with. That's the problem.
Dan's running out of season
Yeah.
to make up points. How many races do we have left? 10,
Like-
18? Yeah,
Well-
you can still win.
We'll see.
7 before the playoffs. Or 8, including Nashville, so 18, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So you got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Yeah, so
it's
we
not
shouldn't give
over.
them extra points.
Relax.
Unless we're
Norm.
making this a double or nothing weekend.
Relax.
No.
Double XP weekend.
Yeah, dude. XP weekend. Call of Duty, baby.
All right.
Well, you refresh for the playoffs, right? So do you do double or nothing?
We
in the
refresh
playoffs?
drivers. We don't refresh points or anything like that.
Right, but if you doubled the points
But I'm
now
sure
for every
come
race
Phoenix time, we're going to
for the playoffs, right?
Oh, we could.
do what?
Double the points for the playoffs. So like if you get a win now, you get 2 points.
Well, we
No,
gotta win. No, we already
wins
get-
are 2.
Okay,
If you win the race,
right, you get
you
2.
get 2. If you're just the highest
The
finishing
yeah,
driver,
yeah.
you get 1.
Yeah.
So then do 4 and 2.
I don't think we should do that for every race. But at Phoenix, I think
maybe
Phoenix,
championship race.
Phoenix
Hear
we're
me
going
out.
to end up doing your pick, and then who do you pick to win the championship?
Gotcha.
So we'll end up
Playoff
having like triple points.
playoff cutoff races are worth
Double?
3 for the win. Everything else is 1, as is. So you get 1 additional point if they win in the playoffs.
We'll workshop this.
All right, we'll figure it out. We got some time. I like it. We'll figure it out. All right, now to no one's favorite segment of the callbacks. But yeah, time for Norm's Scheme of the Week.
I don't have one.
No, nothing? You're just going to forfeit?
They all suck.
They all suck?
I don't know. You only told me about the 71 car 10 times this weekend.
I've already picked that scheme. Or else I'd
Yep.
pick it again.
There's one in here that you got.
I liked that one.
That was yeah.
The Kubota was really cool.
I
like
liked
that.
Syndrick's opposite Auto
Honestly,
Trader,
I love Centric scheme. I just like that Auto Trader scheme. I think it's really
but I
good.
liked
It
it
is sharp.
reversed. Oh,
It doesn't even have a left front fender in that picture.
That is hilarious.
the picture on J-Ski of Austin Dillon's car is it was. I think that's after they fixed it, and he went out and ran 4 laps.
That has to be before. Because he's got flats.
Oh wait, well, no,
Or that's when it came out smoking
Yes.
and blew a tire. That's him limping
I
into
think
pit road.
that's him limping it to pit road after he came around and ran around with a tire boiling smoke on it for like
Yeah.
I
4
like
laps.
this scheme a lot.
That looks better up close than it did, I think, from where we were sitting.
That's a hell of a picture.
Yeah, the 4 scheme was
I
really
like
hot.
it
I
because
liked
they
it.
didn't make the number unnecessarily chrome.
5 is the same.
6 is hot.
That was sick.
Yeah, that was really sharp.
It combined with the
Aw.
suit.
he's
That
not
could have
going in
been
the right
one
direction.
of 15 times
Yeah.
yesterday, so
Not quite sure which wreck that was.
I know exactly what track that is.
Yep. So,
This is after one of the wrecks.
oh yeah, he's already got damage.
The Napa, the same as always. The
That's
overst-
before the race because it's not destroyed.
It's not in Bubba's door.
The 14 was hot.
It was.
Dude, the number pisses me off. I love everything about this scheme.
What's wrong with the number?
Just make it white. Why is it gold?
I love it.
It made it so hard
It's
to read
yellow.
the number from the grand slam.
At least make it yellow.
I loved it.
I think
Yeah,
it's yellow.
Teams are just
It's
Stuart
a
Haas
chrome,
supposed to
like
do
it's
it.
reflective.
Oh.
They just make every number chrome for no reason. Like I think that scheme, the chrome,
The
number
meat and
ruined
bone.
Can we talk about the meat and bone car? I
Yes.
felt so bad. That entire race, that car was like, please wait for me, guys.
Yeah.
He was like
That's Rick Ware.
Yeah.
20 cars back the
That's-
whole race.
That's real Rick Ware. The
Yeah.
51 is RFK at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the meat and bone car, just every single time I saw it. What do you
So-
want to do tonight? I want a meat and bone.
yeah.
So the 15 and the 51 are Rick Ware Racing,
Mm-hmm.
which now works out of Roush Fenway Kozlowski's shop.
I've heard you talk about all this consolidation and
Yeah.
teams moving into.
So that one's still shit, but the 51 is actually done very well.
Gotcha.
And honestly, it's still shit because they rotate drivers. And we've talked about this for years. Same with the 16. When you rotate drivers, you never have good performance.
You never get consistent feedback, so you don't know how to set it up.
that-
And
I
everyone
mean,
likes their car
that could be
slightly
said
different.
for a lot of things.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this sponsor is.
Car Bravo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a auto.
Internet.
Say, isn't that
car
where you used to
sales
work?
Place, I'm sure. I work for Carvana.
That's right. That's right.
17 is the same. The Reese's as always.
Reese's restaurants, right?
I don't even know what they are. It's something.
No,
food.
they're like a
frozen meal kind of joint.
no, it's like a food chain kind of thing. Like I think it's
Seafood, right?
kind of like no, I think it's like a quick stop kind of thing.
I thought it was like make it yourself at home type thing.
This scheme bugs,
Fine foods.
bugs me.
Keep
for some
going over.
reason.
What's that on the back? On the
Research.com.
no, the quarter.
That's ice cream.
It's a pint of ice
Yeah,
cream.
so it's Reese's ice cream. So it's like take home stuff.
fine food. So yeah, that's just like probably
Probably
Yeah,
just
see,
like shit you find in the frozen
Whenever
food
I
section.
see that scheme, I immediately think trailer hitches.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Reese trailer hitches. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I think of when I see
So the inherent problem with all these sometimes is the actual logo itself, right? Now I understand you pay a lot of fucking money to put your name on this
Yes.
car, right? But you gotta sometimes let the guy work with the logo a little to
Oh,
make
yeah.
it fit.
This is
It's
what
just
Norm
like
goes off
they
on.
did
This
this like
scheme
scheme and then just
specifically-
stamped the logo over
this
it.
scheme specifically, Ream always does this with their schemes because they have a round logo.
Yeah,
But this one, they shrunk the door logo to fit Watts.
oh yeah.
Why the fuck does Watts need to go right there?
Go over the fender or something.
Yeah,
Go
put
up
it
here.
over the fucking
Yeah, right
empty
there.
quarter panel, make the Ream logo twice as big like it should be. Or make the Ream logo twice as big and put Ream.com above the wheel. Like, this is one of those schemes. Great scheme, but it's just the logo placement ruins the scheme.
Yeah. Make the ream the 0 in the 20 or something. Do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21 as always. I liked the Hunt Brothers one. It was simple and clean. I liked it. I think
Yeah.
it's one of the first Hunt Brothers that doesn't completely suck.
You better update your Flash player.
I feel like Harvick had some bangers back in the day, like Priest's trucks. His
The
white,
no, the Hunt Brothers trucks always looked nice because it's square and it fit the shape of the truck, especially when they put it on the deck lid. But the Hunt Brothers logo is kind of the similar conversation, just never really fit right.
Right, they should incorporate the logo to make it long. Like I always said that with Rush Truck Centers,
Yeah,
is they refuse to get away from their square logo. And it's like, that doesn't fit on the sides of cars.
yeah. That's why I don't like the Yahoo schemes, but they work because it's just a
Because
nice
of the way
long
it lays out. Yeah,
logo.
yeah, yeah.
I love the DraftKings.
DraftKings all
This is
stuffed
another
in.
Yeah.
one I commented, I was talking about this on Discord.
Is that
Some
Bubba?
people in Discord didn't like it, and I loved it. Yeah, that's Bubba.
I've always liked his DraftKings schemes, but this one, like, every logo can be like 2 times as big and look way better.
Yeah,
Like DraftKings over the rear quarter, it's so small. Make that bigger. Fill the quarter, and it would look way better. The D star on the door, make that bigger. Like, and they originally had giant hood logos. They got rid of those too. They
Yeah.
just shrunk every logo down, in because no one ever wants to have their logo slightly cut off by a fender.
yeah,
Valvoline scheme, look, we all agreed it looked really good in person.
yeah.
That
Very
just
like
put-
Nardo gray
yeah,
looking.
just
I like the
put
colors
yellow
on that one,
numbers
yeah.
on it. I love that scheme, everything about it, except for the fact that the numbers are white. They just kind of disappear in the scheme.
Yeah, but that's a Valvoline thing. I can almost guarantee it. They don't want yellow in their scheme
Right, but
because
they could make the numbers fucking blue.
yeah,
the fact
they,
that they're
they would
white
never
numbers
do
on a
yellow
light
because
gray.
their competition is yellow.
Not true. Well, I
Pennzoil?
don't disagree with
How is it not true?
Pennzoil, Quaker State, but they do yellow numbers on almost all of his old Valvoline schemes.
No, not anymore. The Poppy Bank 31 looked great in the fence. I liked the Long John Silver
Yeah.
scheme. The few times that they've run this, I think it looks super sharp.
Yeah, it's good. I just fucking hate their numbers so much. But
The
this
font
every
or
time
I know you hate
font,
chrome
number
numbers, but
fonts.
it's a font.
The
Yeah,
chrome
it's a
doesn't
little
look
sharp.
bad because it kind of matches. They have like 3 different blues going on.
Yeah.
So it kind of almost makes the chrome match the blue.
Yeah.
I just love these schemes because I see it and I think of front row in like 2008.
Yeah.
When I see them and they ever have like a fast food place on, it's just like back in the day when they didn't have real sponsors.
I see what you don't like about their font, but it weirdly works with the Long John Silver thing. Like the pointy
Yeah.
3, I think it kind of works.
Yeah, it kind of matches.
Yeah, it's got like
logo.
the hook.
But it's just their numbers are like if Stuart Haas's numbers were ugly. Like
Best
that
car
number,
of the weekend.
hideous. That fucking number. Everything about it I hate.
Car of the weekend.
The thin outlines, the drop shadow. I just hate the number font.
Yeah, but it's the pickle car.
Says it right on it.
It wins by default.
I get that. I don't like it though.
If you,
I like this.
if you
just
don't
random
pick it,
tribal.
we're canceling the show.
What a fucking picture.
Which
Which
Where
way
there's
is
the
it supposed to
43.
be going?
42
these
or the
guys both
43.
finished like top 10 by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Not crashed.
45.
I like the
The
Kleenex,
Kleenex car honestly worked.
Even
I don't
and
like
you know
it at
what?
all.
And you know what?
It's
Not even
it
a
looks like
little bit.
it looks like exactly like the Kleenex box
and
though.
and that's the thing. I saw it firsthand yesterday with marketing. I pointed out to Steph, and she goes, "Oh, it's all the same graphics that are on the tissue box."
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
instantly recognizable.
They could
Obviously, I get-
literally
I get the
run this
idea, but-
scheme with a different pattern every week.
Yeah, 100%.
And it would be the perfect marketing for a different driver. Somebody that cries more.
Yeah.
Chase Elliott. 48.
And then during the interviews, they just throw boxes of Kleenex at 'em.
48. Scheme of the week next week, by the way.
Oh, it will be, yeah, for sure.
51. I love this scheme.
Yeah. Fraternal Order of Eagles.
Yep, whatever it stands
Oh
for.
shit! I forgot I got my Corey LaJoy shirt in the mail today, and I left it in the mailbox.
Oh, hell yeah.
71.
Speaking of Eagles,
Scheme of the year. 77. I don't hate it.
99.
That looks awesome
I
in
love
person.
this
I like
scheme,
that.
but I don't know what the fuck the sponsor is. Is that like urgent care? Is that
Hold on,
Choice
I'm on it.
privileges?
Choice
On
privileges. I
That sounds more like a finance
That's
company.
Trackhouse.
It does.
90% of their sponsors are all just like
Health
random
related.
tech
Choice
companies
privileges.
that you
Wow, you're never. I guess what is it?
I'm thinking like medical something.
What do you got?
choice privileges.
Is it like a law firm?
I want to say it's like one of those things you sign up for and like you put in your receipts and you get points and
Not
shit.
even, not even close.
All right.
So I originally thought finance, but maybe old age home.
Not even close. Choice privileges by
Abortion clinic.
by choice.
I was going to
Hotel-
say that, but I didn't.
Pro-choice. Pro-choice privileges.
choice privileges by Choice Hotels.
It's a hotel?
Oh.
It's like a so Choice Hotels I've heard of, and I think it's got something to do with like business. Like they use it's like a program they use for
Oh,
like business.
okay.
kind of
shit.
a CH.
Yeah, choice privileges.
I was closer with finance
Huh.
stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Earn
I mean,
choice-
you were the
earn-
closest.
Earn choice privileges points towards hotel rewards like free nights and airline miles whenever you choose to stay at Choice Hotels.
Oh, okay.
So there you
All
go.
right,
Like
makes sense.
scheme, 10 out of 10. Sponsor recognition, 0 out of 10.
That's
Yeah, you have
all
no
their
idea what it is.
sponsors.
All right. So who's getting the scheme of the week and why is it the 38?
It's definitely not 38.
Get out.
You're
even,
fired.
Even the fact that I don't like pickles, I don't like the scheme. But
Kyle's gonna fight
it's
him.
either the 14 or the 23. But I'm gonna go 14 for originality.
I'll take that.
Just put goddamn white numbers on it. Stop doing necessary chrome. Even
So
Trackhouse, when it
Norm's
started, the
scheme of the
chrome
week
numbers
goes
hit.
to Chase Briscoe's number 14 Zep.
Trackhouse has, thank God, started to veer away from the chrome numbers. Like they did the chrome outline on the 99, which I think looks great. And that number, guess what? You can see it from the grandstands and on TV.
Yeah.
I like how the line goes through the number, too. to
That's
carry
their
the-
track.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Trackhouse.
that's their shtick. It's also on the one. Go back to the top so you can see it.
I
Back
don't know if the
to
one was a good picture or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good enough.
so
Oh, yeah.
it's also
All right.
got the slash through it.
That has chrome numbers, but it kind of works.
Yeah, it fit.
But
It's funny
biggest
that the-
blow up of the year was taking the chrome numbers off the Bush scheme.
Yeah, agree. It's funny that the car was not as bright as his suit. Way more bright. All right, so Norm's scheme of the week goes to Chase Briscoe in the 14 Zep. That was their first time in Cup.
Yeah.
Fun fact. And got a great finish out of it. So good for them. Okay, now we're going to skip our Some Things Not segment of Off Track because we were all on track together. So we're going to talk about that in order once we get past news. That work for you guys?
Sounds good.
Yes.
Cool.
It's working.
Breaking news.
The news. I got no voice. Like, I'm not hitting the high note today.
All right. We got a handful of bits of news, a few things that broke later on the week, I guess, but just some driver news of people that were in for New Hampshire. Obviously, Bowman was in for Hendrick Motorsports, driving the Xfinity race. Christopher Bell drove in the Xfinity race for JGR. Ty Dillon in the Cup race for Colleague. Nothing exciting there. Congratulations to Daniel Suarez, officially sworn in, if you will, as a U.S. citizen.
Hey,
So congrats to him.
Did you see the video of him this weekend? So he's always had the Mexican flag on his name rail.
Mm-hmm.
They put a small Mexican flag and a small American flag on top of each other
oh, that's cool.
because he's dual citizen now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
I thought that was
I
awesome.
thought it was really cool.
And they filmed it when
When he did the not
Swearing in. I
swearing
think-
in, not
no.
what's the word I'm looking for here?
that might be the right word.
Quinceañera. I don't know. One of the words. I don't know.
No, he's a lot older than
He's
that.
not a 13-year-old girl, Dan.
Well, congrats on Daniel Suarez on finally becoming
Yeah.
a woman. My little
Man,
girl's all grown
I
up.
feel like a woman.
I want to say swearing in's the right word, but I don't think it is.
I think it is.
It is swearing in.
Yeah,
I guess
isn't
so,
it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because you stand there, you hand on the Bible, take the oath, they swear you in as an American citizen.
All right, we'll go with it.
Crossover ceremony.
Yeah, whatever. Something like that. But congratulations to him for sure. Riom Brother Racing in the news as well because the 22 truck will be wheeled by one Frankie Muniz for Nashville, Bristol,
I
and
was wondering, I
Kansas.
haven't heard his name in a while.
He's back.
He went kind of to a dark place for a little bit. Did you hear a couple weeks ago there was the quotes where he was like,
I didn't hear that.
It was I forget the exact quote. Again, don't quote me. But he was like, it's a lot. Basically, realizing it's a lot harder than he thought it would be, and he's not doing as well as he thought. And he was kind of like, why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So
Well, that race at Portland, I'm sure, didn't help his ego
No.
at all. Blowing up in qualifying
Ooh.
because you can't shift.
Yeah, that'll do it. But yeah, we'll see him get a shot at a couple of those, starting obviously this upcoming weekend in Nashville. So,
I'm
good for him.
honestly just shocked he hasn't got a bigger ride. Like, it seems like he has a lot of forward backing and money behind him. He has the most recognizable name
I was going to say name recognition.
in anything
Yeah,
below
and
Cup
some.
Series. I mean, obviously worldwide he's more recognizable than all these Cup drivers, but racing wise, no. But like, he should be a shoe-in to get a good ride.
You would think, but not yet. So we'll see.
Haas factory team next year.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we also found out this
Oh
week.
shit! Did I just spoil your announcement?
Yep. I mean,
Yo,
good
Christopher
transition.
Bell, calm down.
Dude, I'm going for the two-peat this week. Then
Good transition. So, if you listen to us on a regular basis, you will obviously know that we talked quite a bit about the closure of Stewart Haas Racing. Stewart Haas Racing had still has four Cup Series teams and two Xfinity teams. What was it, 3 weeks ago now? They came out and said that they're closing up shop entirely, shutting her down.
End of the year.
We're done. This past week, just kidding, 50% of our teams are going to stay under the Haas banner. So now the Haas factory team next year will retain one Cup charter and both Xfinity teams. So effectively, 50% of the staff gets to stay.
Can we briefly touch on the Haas factory team?
I don't hate it.
I don't
love it. I don't hate it.
It sounds like a MotoGP team
Yeah. So
no, it sounds like an F1 team.
or an F1 team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to kind of wrap up the factual part of it, Gene Haas will retain one of his charters. The other three will be sold off, and he will keep both Xfinity teams. They are allegedly going to still stay with Ford. No announcements in terms of any connection to other teams, no tech alliance that we know of as of yet, no
drivers.
driver announcements, no sponsor announcements, other than Haas Tooling will most likely be their primary sponsor for at least the Cup car.
Right, and he said that's the main reason why he wants to stay in.
Right.
Is
A platform to
and this is exactly what I
market
was
his
saying a
thing.
couple weeks ago, is he loves sponsoring cars.
right.
He's like HendrickCars.com. It's like it's not out of pocket. We're spending our money that we make for this to do this, but he loves having his name on stuff. Like, that's how he has become one of the biggest CNC machine sellers in the country, if not the world. And this is a major brand moment for him to do that. And I'm surprised he stayed on in this extent. I figured he would have, like I speculated before, aligned with a pre-existing team.
Mm-hmm.
It's now Front Row Haas Racing. It's now RFK H Racing. It's now Trackhouse Haas. It's, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I assumed he would jump on with somebody else. Doing it by yourself is a massive undertaking.
And funded by yourself.
Right.
So
Obviously, it's going to be funded by the $75 million he's about to make in charters.
right, but
But
so
Not gonna hurt.
no, not at all. I mean, obviously, Gene Haas is kind of the billionaire playboy, if you will, that throws his money around because he has fun doing this. I just want to know what the hell changed, because all the rumors for weeks were, they're shutting the whole damn team down, and Front Row Motorsports is going to move into their old shop and take over that. And all of a sudden, 2.5, you gave your entire, employee lineup a fucking heart attack. Oh, you're all fired. See you later. You're all looking for jobs. To no, just kidding. We're keeping 50% of the amount of teams that we were saying we were going to close.
That almost sounds like
So something changed.
That decision was made in a boardroom without his say.
He was a part of the joint announcement.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was there when the announcement happened. I don't know what changed, but
I think it's
something
one of two
changed.
things. Either whatever sale they had lined up for the charter and their lease agreement for the building, something fell through there.
Could be.
Where it was all of a sudden like, I can't get out clean. So I need to now kind of double down on what I'm doing because I can't do this half-assed. I have to full-ass this. Or
Yeah,
my
you always
thought-
full ass it.
God.
My
full-ass
thought
it.
was that maybe it was kind of a messy divorce with Tony Stewart, and it got cleaner, so he can keep the house. He can keep one of the kids. Like, honestly,
Well, 3 of the kids, actually.
like at first when they were just like, we're going to sell.
This fucking guy. This fucking
I can
guy.
keep my
You just
truck. I do
triggered
get one
Dan.
of the kids. I get one of the kids. You get the triplets.
Fucking
You get
guy.
to keep those.
Well, the other,
You can sell the triplets. I'm keeping the one.
The other 3 kids go to the state, dude. You got just one kid.
Well, the triplets got to stay together.
The other 3 kids are on their own.
Yeah.
This fucking guy.
4 kids.
Listen,
5 kids. He's getting rid of. He's losing. 5
listen.
kids.
None of your homes are broken. Sorry, mine is.
But no, I think honestly,
got
like
nothing.
at first the announcement sounded like fire sale. Like,
Yeah.
mom and dad aren't getting along. We're getting rid of everything.
You're doing it. You're doing the sprinkler thing too much. Or
What's
the
the
dice
sprinkler?
thing. The dice thing. Sorry, I said the wrong. Terrible dance move.
I'm throwing dice over here.
Never mind. What movie was that? He's doing the dice thing too much. He was dancing at a club and he was doing like the terrible white guy dance moves. What movie was that?
Hitch.
Yes. Thank you.
I bailed you
Oh
out.
God!
Thank
Call
you.
me Kevin James.
Yes.
Motherfucker. I love. Kevin
I was
James.
staring at you,
I'm
but
not
I was
even mad.
thinking.
You knew it. You knew what I was saying.
I was trying to get there.
Oh God, he's doing the dice thing too much.
Yeah. And the
So
Q-tip
more than once.
And the
All right.
Q-tip. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
memes are coming.
Oh, yeah.
Joe,
I initially thought like it seemed like it was just get rid of everything so we can just take our money and split it.
Yeah.
And now I'm wondering if it's almost like they came to an agreement where they kind of divided their assets. So
Yeah.
it's more clear what Gene can keep and Gene
Probably.
can't keep.
Yeah.
Where
could be.
before it might have just been like, we're not getting along, just get rid of everything. We'll just cash check or collect the money later.
Right.
And now it's kind of like, all right, Tony's like, all right, well, technically I own this, you own that, you own that. Sell the stuff I own, keep the stuff you own.
Yeah.
Where I think it's always been Gene owns 2, Tony owns 2. But Tony came out and said that like he was never really financially invested in this team. Pretty much he just came on as like, hey, I'm an attractive driver that can get sponsors, that can win races and stuff like that. You're the money and we'll kind of work together and I'll be the face of the company, you be the bank.
Yeah. There's no way in hell Tony invested half as much as Gene did.
I don't 10th of what he did. By the sounds of it, Tony came out and said, I can't afford to keep this team afloat by myself. I invested no money in this. Like it was all Gene's money and Tony just came in as the face and
Played with it.
I can turn your team over and make it better. And what, they win 3 championships together?
2.
2. Harvick and Stewart.
I thought, did Stewart only win 1 with them?
Yes.
I thought Stewart won 2 with them.
No,
Harvick
he
won
had 2 in the 20 car.
Oh, okay. So yeah, 1 each. So they turned it into a championship winning team.
Oh yeah.
But
What?
I honestly,
70 wins, close to.
like I said, although there was rumors of Gene having medical issues, which may still be true, I don't know. But I always thought Gene would have wanted to stay. So I'm not surprised they're doing this, but I will say I don't like the way they're doing it.
Yeah. I'm
If
not.
I was Cole Custer, who is seemingly the God-chosen driver for their cup car.
Because then they say his dad's
Your
running
dad's
everything.
best friend owns the team. Your dad's now running the team.
Yeah.
Who else is going to drive that car?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that Gene wants to retain a team because Gene loves motorsports. He's got
Is
his
he an older
Formula-
guy?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's significantly
He's not
older.
like Roger Penske old.
yeah.
I'd say he's probably closer to Chip Ganassi, if not a little
Google.
older than Chip
No,
Ganassi.
he's a little bit older than Chip, I think. But I got to meet him at the Formula One Grand Prix a few
really?
years ago. Super fucking nice
He
guy.
is 71.
Okay.
Yeah, for
But
shits and giggles, look up how old like Johnny Morris is and stuff like that.
okay. But super nice guy, loves motorsports. Not surprised that he wanted to keep the team, but like you said, I'm just really surprised at how they went about this. By literally ripping their entire team's souls out, telling every single one of them they don't have a job, 3 weeks later saying, just kidding, we're going to keep some of it and work out at the same exact place that you're going to. I don't get it.
Johnny Morris is 76.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Roger
not-
Penske is 87. That man looks actually pretty good for 87.
Roger Penske
Stud.
hasn't aged in 20
This is from a
years.
month ago.
Yeah.
That man is 87 years old.
Yeah.
Like, he don't look that bad.
Oh,
Stud.
he still gets around Indy 500. You see him high-fiving everybody. standing up in
Money's
the
a
booth.
hell of a
Money is a
age,
hell of a thing, yeah.
Yeah, sure is.
What
Chip
do you-
Ganassi is 14 years old.
Yeah.
How do you look so young? Money?
Yeah. So the Haas factory team will take to the streets, if you will, in 2025.
I don't like their chances.
I
I
don't
like
either.
the idea of it. I like that they're keeping 2 Xfinity teams because the Xfinity program, they've rebuilt that in the past couple of years to be a contender again. Both cars are good again.
Mm-hmm.
The Cup program, if you're going to spend all this money, dude, I would just throw that money at a pre-existing team.
Yeah.
Like take like the seemingly Riley Herbst route, where Riley Herbst is like, guess what? I'm buying a charter. My family's buying a charter, and I bring that charter with me. I'm a charter driver. Do you want me to be on your team?
Right.
And that's a great sell. Hey, I have a charter and I have a sponsor. No one's going to say no to that.
No.
Cole Custer could have done that. Gene Haas could have been like, all right, I will sponsor your car for 75% of your Cup races. Here's this charter to go with you. Go to a team. And he could have walked up to RFK and been like, hey, third car. And they would have said, yes, sir, come on over.
100%.
But instead, you're running your own individual car out of a garage.
It's not going to go well.
They
So-
struggle with 4 cars. How are they going to do better with 1?
I understand we're doing it our own way in our own shop. Everyone wants that. But how are you going to fund this long term? I understand that Gene Haas is made of money, but he's taking money out of one of his pockets and putting it in the
rich
other
people
one.
have money is because they don't like to spend it. You know what I'm saying?
But he
they-
doesn't. It's not
I
financially
shouldn't say throw it
feasible.
away. Yeah.
Because you got Haas Tooling that makes a ton of money, yes. But you're going to back your Haas factory team with Haas Tooling money. You're not making money. You're taking money from one and putting it in the other one and lighting it on fire. The only way you're going to make that money back is by purse money, by winning, by doing well. Are they going to do well enough to make up that difference? The answer is no.
It's the Hendrick Cars look of it.
Yeah, but
That
they
car
have 3 other
makes-
teams to hold that up. They have
Right, but I'm just
Ally,
talking
they
about
have
single
Napa.
sponsorship.
No, but I'm talking about in the business look overall. You look at Hendrick Motorsports. Rick Hendrick has Hendrick dealerships, which he's got enough money, like more money than fucking God. But you look at the 4 teams under Hendrick Motorsports. You got Ally, you got Napa, you got Hooters, you got Valvoline,
Right. But how
Exalta.
many of those sponsors sponsor the 5 car?
None, but you have 3 teams that are potentially positive or close enough
Right,
to.
but they're paying for those 3 cars. I'm talking about the 1 car.
No,
Hendrick
you're
Cars.
not listening to my point. That
You're
Hendrick
not-
Cars,
We're making 2 different points.
the HendrickCars.com is Rick's toy, right? HendrickCars.com is losing money because Hendrick is paying for the 5 car. He's not making money there.
That's not how it works. He's not paying for the 5 car out of pocket. HendrickCars.com is paying for the 5 car with profits from HendrickCars.com. That is their marketing budget. They've said this 100
Yes,
times.
but that's
Haas
Rick
CNC.
Hendrick's money that he's spending on the 5.
No, it's his company money. It's the same way
Yes.
Junior says, I'm not going to buy
Some boy
a
math
charter
going
with,
on here.
with
Yeah.
my own money. It's the company's money.
Right, but it's his company. There's other teams involved. There's other things going on with Hendrick Cars. When it comes to Gene Haas, it's just one. It's his money coming from this business going into this business that's lighting it on fire and not making any money.
See, I don't think that's how it's going to go.
I don't know how you
He
don't see
wouldn't-
that, but that's okay.
He's
Like the
a
5 wins, the 5 makes
billion-dollar
money.
businessman.
Right.
He knows how to spend his business's money.
Okay.
You think he's paying? Don't even care about the 00 or the whatever Cup car it's going to be. His F1 team is sponsored by Haas. If that's not making him a penny, he's not doing that. know what I
That's
mean?
not making money. That's net negative. 100% net negative.
Then
100%.
Then he shouldn't be doing that.
That's my
But
whole point.
the
That's what I've been trying to say for the last 10 minutes.
The 5 car, which is the exact comparison you're making to
that car
Cole.
wins.
Right, but the purse money isn't what's paying for that sponsorship. It's the profits that car brings to the company from marketing. So the 5 car goes on the track.
That's the
everyone
goal,
sees
yes.
that. Right, and that's how they pay for the 5 car. Is HendrickCars.com makes money, and they go, we have $5 million a year that we can spend on marketing. We're going to throw $4 million of that at the 5 car.
Right. But you think the 41 car makes enough sales for Haas Tooling when running 38th and it's not showing up on track at all?
Did you hear Haas CNC machines before they came to NASCAR?
Yes.
Yes.
Probably not as much as you have since.
Oh, no, I knew him way before that.
Right, but not everyone
Well,
did. I didn't ever look at
Yeah,
CNC machines.
that's not the point, though.
That is the exact point of marketing.
No, not like you're using that
It's
example on
brand
us. Like, yes,
recognition.
everyone knew who it was before. They're the biggest tooling company out there.
I had never worked on a CNC machine before I watched NASCAR.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of marketing.
Right. I get your point, but I'm talking about
So
making
you
money or
think-
not.
You don't think they've sold CNC machines because of NASCAR?
Ryan, you want to go to the bar?
Yeah, they definitely have. Enough to cover it? No.
Let's go get a pizza.
You don't think they've sold $4 million worth of CNC machines in the past year?
Okay, whatever. We're not going to get anywhere with this.
Well, I'm
We'll
just
keep
saying,
moving.
like, that's the whole point of it is marketing, and they have other sponsors, and they obviously
So
are.
you
seeing,
think Haas Tooling paying for the entire team basically makes enough money
Gene
in
Haas
return?
is paying for the team? Haas Tooling is paying for the sponsorship of that car.
Yes. You think there's a net positive when it's
In
all
the
said and done?
sponsorship of the car, yes.
At the very end of this entire spreadsheet, you think Gene Haas is positive?
I don't care what Gene Haas is.
That's
I'm
the
talking
whole
about
point.
Haas CNC.
Haas is-
Rick Hendrick is not
Never
HendrickCars.com.
mind. We're moving on.
I'm talking about just sponsorship. I'm not talking about the whole team.
I'm talking
Him
about the whole
calling it
team.
Haas Factory Team.
Yeah, which is Gene Haas. Is Gene Haas making money or losing money?
If Haas CNCs are making money, then he's making money.
On the Haas team, from top to bottom, is Gene Haas making money or losing money?
No idea. I'd assume none of the teams make money. So I'm assuming he's not making money.
Okay. My point is he's probably massively negative.
Not to mention,
But personally, I'm talking about the machine or the company.
Okay. Anyway, we're going
I
to move
also think on a sponsor's front, like what Norm is saying with marketing and brand recognition, I don't think there's a single person in the history of forever that has seen a Haas tooling car and was like, wow, I should buy a CNC machine.
No, but that
Yeah.
if
Hendrick
somebody
cars,
is
they're gonna be
looking
like-
for a CNC machine and they get, I don't even know another CNC machine company. But if they get a book like we do when we look at oil on the shelf at AutoZone, we go in and we're like, you know what? I was going to buy Quaker State, but I like Hendricks, so I'm going to buy a Valvoline. Or I like Kevin Harvick, so I'm going to buy a Mobile One.
Never once.
That's a little different when you're spending $50,000 on a machine.
Dude, you should see how these companies spend money.
Yeah,
My
probably.
company just bought $1 million machine like it was nothing. They're like,
Must
oh,
be
should we
nice.
buy another one? We have room. It's like, do you need it?
Probably not.
But like these, I'm just saying, like as far as the sponsorship goes, I don't think they've lost money with the sponsorship. Buying or building an entire team, I said 5 minutes ago, I don't think this was a good idea.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Last bit of news that I had was the news that was blown up in the media center kind of by accident.
Oh my God.
What happened,
Fucking
Dan?
Greatest clip of the year so far.
Even
So-
I saw that.
So we talked about it last week, all the rumors with Chase Briscoe of the aforementioned Stuart Haas. Gene Haas owns them, right? He also owns a Haas CNC machine. You want to keep going? No, okay. We talked about it last week, all the rumors that he was going to go to the 19 car, which kind of came out of nowhere because there was rumors of him going to the 21 car. And Christopher Bell gets on the podium. Was that Friday? Friday.
Yeah,
Friday.
Friday media.
Christopher Bell is in the media center doing his media availability. He should probably stay out of there after this because he's now 2 for 2.
Yeah, he is.
In the last year and a half of things that have gone viral.
I mean, and he's been right about both of them.
He's right, yeah. I mean, you're welcome for the first one, Kyle.
Yep.
Kyle made him go viral the first time. I wanted to talk to him this weekend and remind him, be like, hey, this is the guy. This is the guy.
He was already having a bad.
He was already having a bad
before
week, so we
there.
decided not to. So he's in the media availability. I don't even remember what the question was, but he's just given the
They were talking about leadership in the team.
Okay. He's given the box stock standard answer, blah, blah, blah. We got guys in place. And when Chase joins us, and he just stops and instantly looks at the PR person like, I fucked up. And then he kind of like gets the mic back and he tries to recover. And he's like, well, and he's just like, what do I even do now? Like,
I mean,
when somebody
I don't
gets
know
in the
what to say.
car and then he's just like, well, that just confirms that Chase is getting in the car.
I mean, that instantly blew up. The fucking tweet of the weekend was Larson. Kyle Larson takes it and goes, he retweets the video and he just goes, what'd he say? He starts congratulating Chase Elliott.
Yeah, I'm absolutely like my mind is exploded right now. I didn't know Chase was leaving us to go to Joe Gibbs
He's
Racing.
been a great teammate.
But congrats to Chase Elliott. Good luck on his
Because he just
career
said
moving
Chase.
forward.
He didn't say Chase Briscoe. So now, I mean, he was on it like that, like right away. It was a couple minutes
Yeah, he's
after.
like, dude, he goes, I was typing it before the words like finished coming out of Phil's mouth. He's like, I was so excited. He goes, but I had to text all these guys to make sure it's okay for me to do it.
So it was just like the biggest Freudian slip. Who's the guy? Is it, you would know, movie guy, the kid that always accidentally gives out like plot things?
Oh, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, yeah. Hasn't he done it like 5 times?
Oh,
Yeah,
it kept
they
spoiling the
stopped
Marvel
giving him-
stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
stopped giving him
Spoils.
the scripts.
Yeah, because he was spoiling shit. Yeah, that's literally what happened. But I love that Gibbs is taking it and running with it. They just had a tweet a little while ago that it
I
said,
didn't get to watch it, but I
it
saw
said
it was set up for
officially
it.
announcing our new driver tomorrow. And it's like officially is like in caps in italicized.
Nice.
They
then
just
quotes.
posted a video, I think, as we were starting with like Bobby Labonte coming in.
Yeah.
And like, hey, Bobby, remember that thing we told you not to talk about?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't get to watch the whole
Joe
video.
Gibbs said in the post race yesterday in the media center, they were talking. They're like, is him winning both races? Kind of, is he out of the hot water now? And Gibbs was like, he can do whatever he wants if he's going to win like this.
Yeah.
So
You can get away with anything.
Doesn't hurt, right?
But it was so funny. We witnessed it live. We were in the media center on Saturday. I think like the top 25 in points, like more than half the field. They stroll into the media center and they kind of position them around the media center, and you can pop over and talk to each one or whatever. Soon as Chase Briscoe walked in, it was like every reporter was like,
Oh, yeah. I felt bad for
I
him.
did too. He was like, he looked like a
Mom,
trap.
is that you? I gotta go,
Yeah,
guys. Sorry.
he looked like if you're trying to like catch a stray animal, like he's in the corner, like, and everybody's just around. They have him cornered in the. Oh, it's so funny. But yeah,
Poor kid.
So that's getting announced tomorrow.
Yeah.
I hope they play with it. I hope. Oh, the other best thing was Elton Sawyer in the drivers' meeting. So I'm talking to Ryan for those not watching the YouTube. Before the race, they have a drivers' meeting.
Sure.
Usually, it used to be more important. Now it's like a big, kind of a formality. Like the celebrities that are there, like Judon from the Patriots was there yesterday. He probably came in or whatever. I guess right when they go to start, Elton Sawyer just goes, Christopher, do you have anything you'd like to announce? Like in front of the whole garage, like in front of all the drivers. I guess the place blew up laughing. Like it was so. I love that everyone's just like, it's the joke that won't go away. Like, Seabell went back in his bus and was like, I'm so tired of this already. Like,
And you could tell by the look on his face that he genuinely like screwed up because it was just so. Oh yeah, whenever Chase gets in the.
and he instantly looked. I'm assuming his PR person. Like again, we've been in the media center. Usually they stand off to the side because they come in with each other. Especially it was raining, I think, and like they usually have the umbrella and they're just hanging out off to the side. And then when they're done, they meet up and they're gone.
Yeah.
So he instantly, I think he said one more word after the word Chase, and his eyes just instantly went to the side of the room, like,
Yeah, he said like
Help.
Chase gets, and he was just like,
and he looked over at his PR person, and if he could have
why
been
is there a
like,
laser on my forehead?
if he could have been like, help, he would have. Like the
He's
look.
just Homer into the bushes.
Yeah, because he tried to save it, like dig out of the hole like 3 other times, and he just like he'd say like 2 things. He'd be like, when somebody, I can't. This isn't fooling you guys.
I don't even know what to
I don't know
say.
what to do with my hands right now.
Yeah, so that's been announced, and it will be official tomorrow that Chase Briscoe will be in the 19, replacing Martin Truex Jr.
Oh, you think it's Briscoe?
Unofficially official.
Yeah.
So the official announcement is tomorrow or today, depending when you listen to this, Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Now, do
And
they
I
move
want-
it up because of that, or is it supposed to be?
Oh,
2
I
seconds?
can probably
Guarantee you
guarantee
they
they
will.
moved it up because of it. Like, well, we might as well just do it now.
I will-
Honestly, I kind of hope they bring back the 18.
I doubt it. Man, maybe.
Because that's been more of the company number, and that kind of makes sense why Bobby Labonte was just there.
Yeah, that's the 18 was the number they started with. Dale Jarrett, the interstate car. In
The 19
92.
is their newest number.
Yeah,
I would
so-
like to see them not keep the 19 because Truex, they
That's his
kind of
number.
give him
Well,
the
it was-
respect a little
it
bit.
was Edwards and Truex. They
And
started
Suarez
it for
too,
Carl
right?
Edwards. Was it Suarez?
Suarez
he
was
the 19 Harris.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
I
you do it
suppose
first?
so.
Okay.
Yeah, and for like the 5 seconds he drove
Yeah.
it.
But I wanted to bring
no,
up-
but
He had,
I would
3
just like
years,
to
I think.
let that's Truex's number. I know he's been in the 78 and
Yeah.
other things, whatever. But like, I would like to see them at least take a little bit of time off and give Briscoe like his own brand.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
like here, Briscoe's in Martin Truex's car now. Here's Truex's old car.
It'll also help with the thing we talked about this weekend about how we're fucked come Daytona next
Yeah,
year.
exactly. But much like they did with Ty Gibbs and Kyle Busch, they got rid of the 18 and brought the 54 up. Like,
Yep.
obviously, with Stuart Haas being closed, it'd be kind of sick to see them like bring the 14.
I was just thinking that because that was like his childhood number.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Joe Gibbs had like a 14 in the Xfinity Series or something.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
might
You
be
would know better than
confusing
me.
it with the who drove the waste management car.
Buddy.
Oh,
I remember
that's-
what I did yesterday.
Yeah,
So.
there was a 14 waste management car, but it was like a JGR font. Maybe I'm confusing it.
But I did
But
want to bring
I
up.
wanted them to go to the 18 so they
Yeah.
could open up the 19 for Trackhouse
True.
because that fits Trackhouse's kind of mold. And they
yeah.
could have the 1, the 19, the 97, and the 99.
And the
And then
91,
keep the
Project
91
91
open for Project 91 is kind of like the perfect storm of things I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Because for Trackhouse to be like, and we have the
83.
13.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, that looks like shit.
It's cool when teams have a like scheme, you know, like with 2311, it's the 23, the 45, and the 67,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
67, yeah.
Yeah, but I want to bring this up because it's a small moment from yesterday's race that will not make like race recap things. Seabell knew he fucked up because the end of stage 1, he was behind Briscoe trying to lap him for the last 15 laps of that stage. And
Yeah.
he should have lapped him. He should have blew right by him. He didn't. He would get to his corner. They were side by side on the straightaway, and Bell would just let him go again. Like, all right, stay on the lead lap, buddy. I owe you this one. Like, I mean,
Sorry.
it wasn't like 3 laps. It was 10 to 15 laps.
Yeah, all of that.
And he knew he had a big gap behind him. He was fine. The guys behind him weren't catching him. So I think he did him a solid there, and it ended up working out because Chase came back and finished fucking second.
Yeah,
So
1-2 finish for JGR.
Yeah.
The clip of the pit road pre-race interview is funny. So it was C. Bell was having an interview on pit road. I'm sure having to relive his fucking horrific interview incident from Friday.
that's one of those things
And
that
the
keeps you up at
camera
night.
pans over to Truex, who's the next car, and Truex just hitting him with like the keep talking hand signal.
He's looking right at him, and he's just doing this.
Like
Yeah.
keep talking, buddy, keep
Yeah.
digging.
Yeah.
I mean, for Briscoe, they got to get him a barbecue sponsorship because Briscoe brisket just
Yeah,
rolls right off your fucking
true.
tongue.
That's a new one. I like it.
I like that.
I'm
But
hoping
that.
he has to
Pit
bring
boss.
that in.
Pit boss.
there it is.
Briscoe brisket on the pit
But
boss.
I
Oh,
love
that'd be
all I could
that'd be
Signature
nice.
rub. Come on now.
all I could think of with the Bell thing is someone that like occasionally has some anxiety things. You ever like that thing that happened 15 years ago that you still remember that always you're like, oh God, why did I do that? That's what this is for Bell. Like this is one of those like you're just gonna be like
Told the girl in 8th grade to eat a sandwich.
yeah, like shit. There's so many.
Eat another sandwich. She was a big girl.
Oh, Kyle.
Felt really bad about that
Kyle.
one. Still feel bad about that one.
Technically, you could eat a sandwich. Probably help you.
That was my rebuttal to her telling me to eat a sandwich. She called me skinny, and then I said you should probably have one less or something along those lines.
Oh no,
Oh,
you
no.
can't do
I
that.
can't.
I fired back.
You
She
win.
fired. I fired back, and
You
I was like,
hit
"Oh, I win that."
And you
I
went to
don't-
school on the
I
edge
fe-
when you could still probably get away with
Yeah.
that a little bit.
I
Today
feel.
you've been crucified.
I feel bad
She
that
shot
I won
a BB gun
that.
at Kyle. He just lobbed a missile back
Howitzer.
at her.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's that thing that like
Yep.
Seabell's there's gonna be a time like 6-7 months
Can
from now,
relate.
he's gonna lay his head down and try to go to sleep and his brain's gonna be like, remember that one time?
Oh, no.
It's weird. The
band
fact
camp?
that
Yeah.
Remember that second time in New Hampshire?
He's gonna stop going into that media center.
I'm not coming in here anymore.
Yeah.
it's like the fact that he was like so like loosey about it. Like, has Briscoe just like moved in already?
Probably.
Sounds
Because,
like it.
Say
Yeah.
like we're gonna pick up a new driver next year, and they mention it once. You're like, okay, cool. And you kind of forget about it until the end of the year. But the fact that he was just like so quick to say like, yeah, when Chase is in the car, tells me that like Chase has just been like
There.
hanging out at JGR.
Yeah.
He's been there. Yeah.
Like they've heard about him more than just the one time.
He's in the
Not
front of
that
his-
the
front of
owners
his
of
mind,
Stuart
not the
Haas
back
would
of his
have
mind. Yeah.
noticed
Yeah.
him gone for the day or anything.
True.
From the sounds of it. So yeah, we'll get that official announcement, I'm sure, tomorrow. Any other bits of news that you guys want to talk about?
I want
The rumor
I
mill.
want to touch on the rumor mill.
Okay.
Internet blew up a little bit last night during the live recording of the teardown, which I
Okay.
listened to today. Bianchi doing his thing. He did this a couple weeks ago with schedule talks, and it all came true.
Yep.
about like Atlanta being in the fall and Phoenix being the championship race again and Daytona being the cutoff race again. So he said last night that there are 3 tracks leaving the playoffs next year, which will be Darlington, which we knew about. Or no, that's getting added. Sorry. It was Watkins Glen, Atlanta, which we knew about.
Yep.
And Homestead,
Which I hate.
which I fucking hate. That is awful.
Homestead puts on a fantastic race.
Yeah.
Homestead's Miami.
It's
Yeah.
probably the best track we go to. be
They
honest.
said that they want it, according to what Bianchi heard and was reporting, that NASCAR wanted another, it's going to be in like March because they wanted another early season warm weather, like post West Coast swing.
Yeah, I mean,
Date.
it's a smart move.
I hate it that it's not in the playoffs. So we knew pretty much.
I agree. I hate that it's not in the playoffs, but I do like the idea of having
Yeah.
a warm one.
Yeah.
So we should go there twice.
So Watkins Glen we knew because that's only in it this year because of the schedule. Fuck off.
Yeah,
because
the Olympics screwed everything up.
That's
this
the only
year.
reason our race was yesterday was because the Olympics, we have a 2-week break at the end of
Yeah.
July, and they had to shift everything around. And so we knew Watkins Glen was going. Atlanta we already knew about, and Homestead was the surprise. Now, replacing those is Darlington, which we already knew about. That's only out of the playoffs this year because of the schedule fuck up. That'll be back in the playoffs. Apparently, Gateway and Loudon.
Yep.
So we are looking at potentially the guy who never seems to be wrong and seems to know everything is saying that we will have a September race next year. Like he was saying, possibly the second race of the first round. It would be Darlington on Labor Day, New Hampshire, and then Bristol to end the round.
Oh, that stinks.
Why?
Because it's September. It's still summer.
That's a hit or miss. But the
Yeah,
September,
but we're not going to get foliage.
no, the September race was always a hit or miss. Sometimes you go there and it would be absolutely perfect fall day, and then the last year of the September race, when me, you, and Steph went, it was 95 degrees.
Yeah.
Because there used to be a September race until what, 7-8 years ago?
Was it that long ago?
It's been a while.
No, it's more than that, isn't it?
No, I don't want to say it was like only like 5 years ago. I feel like 2018, 2019.
No, we lost the second race a lot earlier than
Yeah.
that. I want to say it was like 2016, right?
I feel like
Something like that,
The
yeah.
burn is still fresh. to
I could
me.
probably go back.
still hurts.
I could go back and look through my phone
See,
and
the
find
thing
pictures
is
from
for
the
me
race, but
is we haven't had. I mean, given I wasn't there for Monday last year, but we haven't had a really hot July race in a couple years. So it's like I'm not missing September as much
Yeah.
because it's like we get to go to a race earlier in the year. That's enjoyable for me, and we haven't gotten absolutely fucking destroyed by the sun.
What was it 2019, the last super hot one? That was like 103
that was the
that day.
103 one.
Yeah.
Then COVID year we went.
You would have had a great time, Ryan.
Yeah.
103
We were
that
all,
year.
We were all laughing the COVID year because that was when we brought Corey and a bunch of people that had never been before. And they're like, oh, it's such a beautiful day. And we're like, this isn't normal. It was like 65 and cloudy and windy. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we brought Nate, Corey.
a ton of people.
Yeah.
That was kind of where the bones of this all started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I started the next year.
Yep. So then the next year was it was warm and then it rained and it was beautiful.
Yep.
That was the JGR Tokyo Drift session.
Yeah, it
Excuse
was
me.
warm, and then it started like just sprinkling enough that's like this is refreshing.
Yeah, and then it was nice the rest of the day.
Yeah, you were there for that one.
Yeah.
That's when you started coming.
The year after that was kind of warm. That was
Yeah,
the
it
year
was-
my dad.
it was
my,
pretty hot
My
that next
dad
year.
came that year. That was not that was 2 years ago. My dad came
years
that
ago,
year, and
yeah.
it was pretty toasty, but it wasn't like the worst.
3 years ago.
Yeah, last year we got smoked
Yeah.
with rain. It wasn't.
Tornadoes and such.
It wasn't hot. It was just wet.
Yeah.
And then this year, I mean, it was warm yesterday. It was humid yesterday. It wasn't warm.
It was just sticky.
It was just damp.
Yeah.
It didn't really start getting warm until about halfway through the race. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like it was the warmest and most uncomfortable at the very start of the race. Like I feel like just like
Yeah,
walking into
sticky.
the grandstand.
well, no, it was
the
climbing
grandstand.
50 flights of stairs is
Yeah,
really
like
what
that.
did it. I was
It's
a
like,
little
oh,
warm
like,
after
it's
that
humid.
one.
Whoa. 48.
48,
I got
sorry.
sweaty from like going through the crowd and stuff like that, and then you get up to the seat and you're just like, all right, I should be getting unsweaty by now, and it's still
Yeah,
like the
I
humidity.
definitely
is
needed
just-
like 10 minutes. To
it was
cool
just
down.
keeping me there.
The last September race was 2017. I just saw the video I took, and I remember where we were sitting.
So it's right in between all
Yeah,
of us.
2017.
Split the difference.
So yeah, I mean that's allegedly a lot of people are very unhappy about it. Obviously, I'm happy about it because we get a little bit later of a race and it'll be cool. Like the playoffs. I remember going to the Loudon used to have a playoff race when they first started the playoffs. It usually started the playoffs. It was
Yeah.
the first race out of the last 10. it was fun because you get all the hoopla of like everything's painted cool because the playoffs and all the big media people show up and like everybody's there. Like it was a different level of like take yesterday, but with more fanfare, so to speak.
Right, and also it just like amplified the race.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, now these
More
guys
intensity.
know they have to go win
Yeah.
this championship.
So I'm excited. A lot of people are pissed, but you're not me, and I'm excited. So
I mean, and honestly, it doesn't really affect me. Like, I'm like, okay, they're moving it. We still only have one day.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
it's like we're still
I said,
going.
like, our July races haven't been miserable in a few years, so it's like I'm not overly excited about it.
Yeah, it's been at least 364 days since last year. Oh, actually, month's been.
yeah, buddy.
Well, less.
Yeah, nice try.
It was
Yeah, we're
miserable
a
last
month
year. Is what I was trying to get at.
It was toasty last year.
Right, but like I said, I didn't go for Monday, so I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
experience
Well, you
that.
said we haven't had a miserable one in a few years, and I was trying to call you
I
out
was
on
talking
it
about
we had
I was talking about Sundays.
last Sunday.
Sunday was
Last year's
pretty
Sunday was pretty
miserable.
miserable.
Sunday was it was miserable for quite a while when all of us.
I
Sure
saw
was.
some pictures of us fucking sitting in the
Oh, we
water.
made a good time out of it.
Racing
We had a blast,
Cheez-Its.
yeah.
We were having
No,
fun.
when the word
That Monday race was
it
hot
wasn't
last
hot.
year.
It was like it was just
The sun was
it was
strong.
sticky like yesterday, and the sun was out, so it made
Yeah.
it that much worse.
Yeah.
Last year, if you could have a snapshot of last year, it was all of us holding the tents down
Yeah,
in the middle of a hurricane.
yeah, we were doing it yesterday too.
Only for a few
with
minutes.
just
Couple minutes.
walls of water.
Yeah,
And then I ratchet strapped half of the tents to the back of my truck. And then
Smart.
we're only when I ratchet strapped the other side to the cooler.
Yep, I forgot about that.
so
Worked
yeah,
out well.
I'm intrigued to see what that means. I mean, or if it actually happens. But he was, Jordan. He doesn't report something unless he's like set on it.
Yeah, he's usually
And the
usually
way-
pretty spot
The
on.
way on his show he said it, like he sounded, this is happening. They just haven't announced it yet.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if it does fall on that weekend, that is my birthday weekend, and I expect a number cake.
Oh,
hell yeah.
perfect.
Does it have to be the right number?
No, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Are you gonna be able to blow out 3 candles though?
21. We'll make it. It's your 21st birthday. We'll get you drunk like it's 21st birthday.
Goddamn,
Hell yeah.
definitely sleeping in the camper.
Absolutely.
Should we also talk about some of the other rumors of who to where?
Hoomst. Sure.
Well, it's kind of like the Haas factory team. People have kind of guessed the 3 drivers for that.
Mhm.
I don't know how like true those rumors are, but obviously Cole is suspected to be the Cup driver because of obviously the team is built around his family. Xfinity, they seem to be picking up Harrison Burton, was a strong rumor, as well as Ryan Preece.
Yep.
Which I think you put Ryan Preece in a competitive Xfinity car, he's gonna have a good time.
I think so too.
Cup seems like the Noah to RCR rumors are getting stronger, which I hate. It sounds like people are speculating that Austin Dillon's going to hang it up and kind of just start taking over the team.
Really?
That's a lot of people have been saying that.
I heard that the end of next year
Next year,
was
you
when
think?
he was that the rumors that I was hearing was Dylan hanging it up in 25
I don't see them
after 25. I
buying a
should say.
third charter.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. I don't foresee them having the financial ability to purchase one.
2311.
Had Riley Herbst done like you were saying earlier, saying, Mom, Dad, me, my sponsors, we have all this money.
So I know you said in the past the prices of the charters have gone up. What are they running now?
They've actually
They've
come
gone a little
down a
25 to
little bit.
30 mil. Last year, one sold for 40.
Allegedly.
But obviously,
COVID inflation,
it's
that
kind of
didn't
a basic economics, a game of supply and demand.
Sure, absolutely.
3 of them are for sale
Right
now
now,
versus
yeah.
just the one. We have one, you want it, pay for it. Now
Right,
there's
and that-
3.
That was one that they didn't really want to sell. People were just approaching them.
Gotcha.
Like they didn't, BJ McLeod, Live Fast, they didn't go out and go, hey, we want to sell this. I think people were just like, hey, you're kind of
We want that.
the smallest fish in the pond.
Yeah.
How much
What'll
will
it take?
what will it take?
Yeah.
Where now Gene Haas literally went,
Big fish.
3 are up for sale. Now only 2 are up for sale because
No,
they
still 3.
sold the front row one immediately.
Well, yeah.
So there was always 3. And now Gene Haas like, I'm going to keep one. So now there's 2.
Yep.
Seemingly Herbst family deal is buying one. And
Taking it
strong
somewhere.
guess is they're bringing it to 2311. Monster Alliance plus just here's a pretty much free driver. Just build him a car.
Right.
Is how that's working, which I think, unfortunately, is probably the future of the sport. We've talked about for years how the sport's kind of getting overwhelmed with people that are just buying rides. This is how people are going to buy rides in the Cup Series.
Yeah.
I can't get fired. I own the freaking charter, bro.
Yeah.
Or, all right, I'm not liking this team. I'm going to take my sponsors in my charter, and I'm going to go to that team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to, it makes him the top dog of the team because, hey,
It also takes the people
I
that have
own
been
the car you're driving.
racing since they were in go-karts,
Yeah.
who don't have all the money. Takes them right out of the equation.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
There could be a
Which is
far
our-
superior driver.
That's half the problem right now
yeah.
is the people that have, like Norm said, has the financial backing,
Yeah.
whether it be family money, sponsor money, whatever. If, Norm Pelletier Racing has 3 options at the table, whoever's worth the most money,
Right.
whoever's going to cost him the least amount of money to put out on that racetrack, who are you going to pick, right?
Right. Riley Herbst is coming in with seemingly a free charter, which is, we just said, a $25 to $30 million investment.
Yep.
I will give that to you, or I will loan that to you, or lease it to you, whatever the deal is. And, oh, by the way, I have one of the biggest sponsors in the sport supporting me as well, Monster.
Mm-hmm.
So he's coming in with a charter and a probably 75% funded car. And, all right,
It's a dummy deal.
all you need to do is field me a car and find me that other $2 million worth of sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy money for them.
What is I guess it's hard to say the budget for one of these teams.
Back in the day, assumption was 5-6 years ago that a full season cost $10 million.
Okay.
I think that's like why M&M's left, is because M&M's was paying $10 million a season,
Mm-hmm.
and which is why it's so hard to find full-time sponsorship now.
Yep.
Which is why the 48 car is such an anomaly. The 48 car every single week is sponsored by one sponsor. He's the only car in the top 3 series like that.
And there's 38 races?
Yeah,
36
races,
36.
36 full-time cars. The closest one I'd say is the 5, who's Hendrick Carr's probably
90% of the time,
races.
Mm-hmm.
Valvoline, 5
Valvoline
times.
comes in, 3 or 4 times, and then he always gets 1 or 2 randos.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
it's so rare to have a full-time sponsor now. Like
Yeah,
even
so that's theoretically like $750,000 a race.
Yeah. Usually in the 700,000 plus range per race.
That's a fucking lot of money.
Yeah.
which is why when you see these companies like Bass Pro Shops, Monster, or Overstock, the sponsor of the 10 car this week, they've sponsored all three out of the 4 cars of that team in 1 week.
That's crazy.
The amount of money these companies are spending is insane. That I don't know why Johnny Morris, who owns Bass Pro Shops, want to go, instead of sponsoring 3 different cars throughout the year, why not just fucking sponsor 1 throughout the year?
Right.
And then that's Bass Pro Racing.
But
right there.
are you doing that because now you have 3 chances
You're
of
hedging your
being the
bets,
guy?
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, then it also, like, especially in the Martin Truex Jr. case, you have your sales guys and gals back at the shop that are selling sponsors, Ryan.com versus Dan.com. You want to sponsor this race because this is in your hometown or this is the demographic that you're chasing.
your little
You pay me a
local-
little bit more for these races.
Right.
And Dan wants to pay me a little bit more for these races. You can almost make like a little competition against sponsors to pay more to take over X amount of races.
And Truex is one of the rare ones where he is, I'd say Bass Pro Shop is 90% him too.
Most of them, yeah.
Because he gets Reesers when he's up here.
Yep.
He gets Auto Trader and like the Auto Trader insurance. Yeah, when he's like in the Charlotte area, I think. And then like the majority of the other time he's in
Auto owners. But
Bass Pro. Auto
Yep.
owners, there you go. He's in Bass
Took
Pro
me a
because we
minute to
see
figure
auto
it out.
owners at like Charlotte and like Darlington.
Yep.
So they must be big in South Carolina, North Carolina.
I don't know much about them, so
Right,
you're
but like
probably
otherwise
right.
you see him in Bass Pro Shops, and then when he comes to up north, it's just
Races.
Reesers.
Yeah.
So it's super expensive, which is why if somebody like Riley Herbst comes in and does what he's suspectingly doing,
yeah, you've cut your budget.
it's
in
you
half.
can't say no to
Yeah.
that. Hendrick Motorsports almost couldn't say no to this. And they have 4 drivers
Say
that
that big
they're
5, right?
Yeah.
seemingly are going to stick with for the next 20 years.
Your other alternative is you kind of bet on the talent.
Of course.
If you think Dan's the better driver than Norm brings all the money. Norm's basically pays for the car. You just build it for him.
Mm-hmm.
Dan has all the talent in the world, but no one wants to throw money at him. Do you take the talent in hopes that he can win and then hopes you can sell the sponsors to people like, hey,
Which is what-
look at this hot up-and-comer. You want to put your name on him versus Norm, who already has his whole body covered in sponsors, pays for the whole damn thing. So that's kind of the battle that the teams are weighing, if you will, to make
which
those
is
decisions.
the fight Josh Berry, the 4 car that we were rooting on hard yesterday. We talked about him a minute ago. He is that underdog story. He is the guy that came in. I have $200,000 worth of sponsors. Okay, what do you want to be, our jack man?
Yeah, right.
No, I want to drive the car. Like, he's the underdog right now, that he has a team of people that are behind him that are making it like, we bring everything good. You just need to get sponsors for us. And so they're the other side of that fight, where Riley Herbst is like, hey, I got the money shit situated. You need to figure out the team and the car and everything like that. And Josh Berry's like, we don't have a lot of money, but I have the best crew chief in probably the past 10 years. I have a genuinely championship winning team behind me. I can bring all those guys with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's two different sides. It's, do you want a fully funded team, or do you want a really good team that you just need to fund yourself? So that's the battle right now.
Yep.
Josh Berry currently, Chase Briscoe was the hot ticket for the 21 car. Seems like that's not going to happen. Josh Berry's probably the favorite for the 21 right now, but the 21's not a bad team.
It's not.
I don't think they need everyone wants Rodney Childers, but I don't think the 21 needs him. He's more of a, we can start a new team type of deal, like front row, which is, I still think, the best bet for
I
Josh.
think the 21 needs it.
Yeah, but the problem is the 21, we saw for years, Paul Menard didn't do horrible in that car. Ryan Blaney obviously went out there and won in that car. DeBenedetto gets in it. He doesn't do bad in that car.
He made a playoff run.
Yeah, he solid top 5, solid top 10s. He had a couple good years in that car. Harrison Burton comes in and sucks butts in that car. But
Bad.
I don't think we need to write off that entire team.
Fair.
And the Josh Berry seemingly bringing Rodney, and Rodney is a people person. He's going to go, all right, it's me and these 30 guys behind me. We're coming over.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they need at 21 car.
Yeah, the Wood
'Cause
Brothers. The Wood Brothers being like a family-owned team, they have a lot of loyalty there. I think I understand what you're saying. Like, Rodney would want to come in and clear house.
Right.
They'd be like, "This is my team. I'm taking everyone. Whoever you have over there, get rid of them."
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Which front
Yeah, we'll
row,
see.
They bought a charter. They seemingly need to now build a third team. This is the perfect storm for that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very
But
good
also,
point.
Noah to front row, I think, would be good. And then
Yeah,
the 21's still kind of unknown at this point.
Noah to the 21 wouldn't be bad, but I don't think Noah would be very good out on an island by himself.
No, but that team is super, super connected to Penske. Obviously, they're in their own shop, but I think Noah would get along with those guys good. Because Noah's that kind of new school meets old school, kind of like Ryan Blaney.
Yeah.
That's kind of, Noah's kind of like the same vein as Ryan Blaney, where he's like, I'm like attractive to the younger generation, but also I get the old school shit. Like, I think Noah would be a decent fit over there. I think Noah, like I said before, I
he still needs a lot to learn.
I would love him to go to 2311. That is like my dream seat for Noah, just because I think that team will let you be the person you want to be.
Yeah.
But I'm also back on board with Colleague completely shut down. The fact that Chris Rice and Matt Colleague flew out of New Hampshire Saturday night tells me they do not give a fuck about that Cup team anymore.
Well, either one of them.
Yeah, I think they're just writing that team off. I still think Trackhouse is going to absorb them.
I wouldn't doubt it, despite what they said. But yeah, we'll see. Lots of rumors, a lot of unanswered questions still, and we'll kind of see how it goes. Shall we get into our weekend at New Hampshire Motor Speedway?
Yeah. Sure.
Sorry, Dan, we just woke you up.
I checked out for the last 10 minutes. I don't even.
You all right?
Doing phenomenal.
New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So unlike what we usually do, we are just going to kind of recap our weekend and all the fun that we had along the way. Kind of go chronologically, if we will.
Step by step, day by day.
Yeah. Great show. So you got up there first.
Yes, I talked about it last week. Brought the camper up on Saturday. Kyle getting up always makes me lose my train of thought. I don't know why. It's so dumb.
Because you're looking at his ass immediately.
Oh, I know why you're getting up. I just don't know why every
got
time
legs
he
for
does
days.
it just gone.
Just like the old lady said.
So yeah, we went up Thursday afternoon after work. It was a billion fucking degrees. I got out of work. It was still, I think, 96.
Was it Thursday? Yeah, I left Providence and it was 99.
I was inside all day. Thank God I hit the lottery last week. Every one of my jobs was inside and in air conditioning. So on Thursday, I was inside from 6:30 to 2. I didn't need to go back outside. So I walk outside at 2 o'clock. The door opened, and it was just, I felt like a blowtorch was hitting me in the face.
slapped.
I was like, what the fuck?
And then you get in your car, and it's like 108 degrees.
The work truck I was in said 114.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Was
The-
it black?
No, it was a white truck. The GTI, when I got back to the shop, said I think 107. So I drive home, and now I know I have to load the truck.
Yeah.
Because we bring the camper up there, but we don't put everything in it. So Steph went grocery shopping. She gets home. We get everything loaded up in her car and the truck. I mean, we're talking, the generators, gas cans, the grill, all the clothes and shit is in her car, the coolers, all that stuff. And we start heading up there, and the traffic's insane. So we had to take all these weird back ways. But as we're going up there, I could see the skies getting dark, and I'm like, great. I did not know that was the last time I would see the sun until today. We drive up there. It starts raining 10 miles from the track. Not bad. So we're like, whatever. Get up there, get all sorted out. I'm unpacking the truck and the car, and it's raining. Not pouring, but it's raining enough that I'm now a wet rat. Mm-hmm. Like, I am soaked. My hair looks like I just got out of the shower. Shirt's soaked, shorts are soaked. But we get all set up. And it was just a recurring theme all weekend for camping. Was it rained from 6 p.m. to 8 or 9, and then it stops. And then it's like The Walking Dead. Everyone comes out of their campers and starts partying. So, Thursday night was kind of chill. Steph's little sister came up because she passed her nursing test. Found out she passed that afternoon.
Congratulations.
She was like, let's go get margaritas. And I'm like, we're going in the camper. My bad.
Yeah.
And she's like,
The cart will come around, though.
well, no. So she didn't say anything for 2
Wait for the ring, ding, 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 ding.
She didn't say anything for 2 hours. And then she texted me, and she's like, can I come up? Because nobody's around. None of my friends are around.
Oh, that
She's
sucks.
like, I want to go celebrate, but no one's around. We're like, yeah, absolutely. So she came and hung out Thursday night, ended up staying the night. Just chill night in the campground, walked around, checked shit out. Kyle he swung up Friday morning.
Yep.
So he's supposed to be Friday morning, and then you got caught up with some work shit. So you got there, 12:31 maybe.
Yeah. About that.
We take a walk. We go get our credentials, which then gets sidetracked into the fan zone. Meanwhile,
It was an intentional sidetracking, but
we
went
started
a little longer than we thought.
We started the walk with 2 beers. Then we got a beer in the fan zone, and you got a hot dog that you got fleeced on.
Oh my God, I got taken for a ride.
Dude,
I got
on that
taken
wiener,
for a ride.
That guy saw you coming and is like, oh, I got him.
So I had to work and do a bunch of stuff in the morning. Was supposed to have people come over and work on the house, whatever. So I got sidetracked. Didn't eat breakfast.
You got stuck in traffic because of the fucking
Yeah,
car accident in the tunnel.
The Celtics parade. I was trying to drive through the city during the Celtics parade, in hopes that everyone was at the parade, scoot through, get out of there. It's Friday traffic. Everyone's heading north or south to Cape Cod. I was trying to avoid it. So I get into the tunnel in Boston, and 4 cars stuffed into each other, all of them wearing Celtics jerseys. I'm like, well, none of you made the parade.
What did you tell me? It was like a Ram in the back and like a Durango.
No, it was an excursion.
The 2 biggest vehicles were the bookends.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
What'd you say? There was a Corolla.
It was a Corolla in the middle.
That was 3 feet shorter.
It became a
was.
Nissan Cube real
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
So anyway, get up there. Finally made it through all the hell traffic, whatever. We got up there. So we get over to the fan zone after picking up our credentials. So I was like, I haven't eaten.
He looks at me. He goes, "There's got to be food around here. I'm fucking starving."
Yeah. So I see this Polish hot dog stand. I'm like, sick, perfect. All beef dogs. I'll get a hot dog and a water.
Grab a dog, hold you over.
Yeah. The guy's like, oh, do you want candied bacon and steamed cheese on it? I'm like,
Well, yeah, I do.
well, fucking right. Yeah. That sounds fucking fantastic. The hot dog was $7. The hot dog with candied bacon and cheese on it was $16.
Oh my God.
But after
It
you
was
say
a
yes,
normal hot dog for $16.
Well, once you say yes, though, you can't back out. Of
course
it.
not.
No,
Like, it's over.
It was $23
Jesus.
for a hot dog with bacon and cheese on it and a water.
Yeah.
I was like, come on.
So
It was $7
Am I
before
at
the
an F1 race?
yeah.
I was like, good Lord.
So then we found the place selling beer.
But it was delightful.
Grabbed another beer, walked around the fan zone, just checked out all the stupid shit. All the displays and all the really old cup cars that someone found in a barn. That
And
they put
the
their logo
fan
on.
zone had even more stuff than the year prior. So they're like every year it gets a little bit bigger and a little bit more stuff. So it was
Fan
nice
zone
to
was
see.
actually pretty packed this year. I was surprised.
It was
how much
busy
shit
on a
there was.
Friday at like 1:30 in the
Yeah.
afternoon. It was busy. I'm like,
Yep.
this is a really good sign for how many people we're going to have this weekend. It's a
So we
great
leave
sign.
the fan zone.
Which was
and
incredibly inconvenient on Sunday, by the way.
Yes,
was
I was going to say
packed.
the same thing.
It was slammed,
we went
which
in
is a
there-
great thing.
Me, Steph, and Joe went in there on Sunday because the Toyota display had a Grand Highlander, and my wife is happening to want to look at one of those, and they don't have them at any dealerships. That's like you got to order the fucking thing. So when we went on Friday, I was like,
It was a cool color, by the way.
it's a terrible color.
Get out of here.
It was, what was the name of it? We were laughing. It was something.
that
it was like,
maroon one?
No,
No, it was,
like the khaki beige
no,
one.
it was called like Sweet Cream or something. Like it was a terrible
That's what I call
name.
Ryan.
But so I told
know
her. So I told her, I'm like, hey, they got a Grand Highlander down here. She's like, oh, I want to check that out at some point this weekend. We get to Sunday morning. She's like, I haven't left the camp. I haven't left the lot yet. So we blasted down there Sunday.
Damn lot
Absolute
lizard.
joke. Absolute joke because everybody's coming out of the fan zone because that is also one of the entrances.
Yeah,
from
we saw that
one of the
from the other
campgrounds.
side, yeah.
So it is like we are paddling upstream trying to get to the Toyota booth. We look at it and shit. We looked at the.
Yeah,
we
that
checked
was
out the.
hugely inconvenient.
We checked out the. What is it? Not the FJ. The new thing.
Land Cruiser.
The Land Cruiser.
Oh,
Yeah.
horrendous.
That thing. The front is great, and me and Joe couldn't get over. You close the back's terrible. If you close the hatch, it looks awful.
No, I didn't see it
I
close.
hate
Well,
it.
what was the
Every
one we
inch
saw?
of
Was
that
that the
thing.
one we saw? That was,
That white one.
The
It
white
was kind
one.
of like a Bronco.
Yeah,
all
it
right.
looked like a little.
but no, the one we saw, I was like, if you're gonna bring it to here, you brought the base model and like
Oh, the
fucking
cloth
crank
seats?
windows and
Yeah,
cloth seats.
yeah.
I'm like, what are you
Yeah.
doing here?
So, like, she checked out a couple things. We looked at the Sequoia. That thing's sick, but that's just too much.
a lot of
Too
money.
much. That's
Huge.
a lot of truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then.
We went
had a
over to
4Runner
merch.
So me and Kyle leave the fan zone on Friday, and we're at an impasse. We're like, if we go right, we can go back to the camper. If we go left, we can go check out the merch haulers. Yeah, let's just go check out the merch haulers. So we cook in there, walk around, end up. What was the damage that day? 4 shirts and a hat between the two of us.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Talked to
No
a buddy.
pin. Tried to get the pin. Couldn't get
Yeah,
the pin
he was
yet.
trying to get the pin. They said they didn't have it yet, so that was a letdown.
I get the pin for every race that I go
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I started that collection a few years ago. They didn't have them on Friday. Hadn't had them
You
yet.
did get it on Sunday, right? Because I asked.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
asked you because I was down in the merch area.
That was the
Sunday.
first thing I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we walk around. We find our buddy at the Classics hauler. Shoot the shit with him for a little bit,
Yep.
and then we went down in the infield.
I finally bought the all over print ridiculous Jeff Gordon shirt.
He's been so this has been a year-long endeavor. They've had that shirt in there for a year. Every race we go to, he sees it and he has an internal struggle because it's white. And none of us like white shirts because we're all dirty people. Even yesterday, you don't have to be dirty. Those grandstands are dirty. Like you sit in those in a white shirt. Like
It's getting dirty.
It's getting dirty.
Oh, I'm sure that Bowman shirt I had is ruined.
Sanchez was showing me his Bowman shirt that he wore last year. He's like, I've washed this like 10 times. He showed me yesterday morning before we even went in the stands. You can still see the dirt from last year on his on the lower back of the shirt.
There's nothing you can do. You sit on metal stands.
Yeah. So
Right,
But-
that people walk over.
yeah.
Yeah. There's only so much you could do.
Yeah.
So I finally pulled the trigger on it. Mind you, I looked at it at New Hampshire last year, Pocono. I looked at it at Phoenix.
Daytona.
I looked at it at Daytona. I looked at it at Coda.
Yeah.
And then we get back to New Hampshire. This is probably the 7th time I've been standing at the hauler talking to the same guy who was so nice to us. I love that guy. And I'm like, all right, it's time.
He looks at me. He
Medium.
Goes,
Bring it.
He looks at me.
we're
and
all
goes,
out of mediums.
He looks at me and goes, Dan, it's time. And I knew exactly what he was talking about. I looked right at the shirt. I was like, the shirt? And he goes, the shirt.
And I was like, yep, Gordon won medium. The guy,
goes,
the guy
"Hey,
who
did you
goes,
see
which
this?"
one? Dan reads the number off.
Yeah. I was like, then he gets us. The guy loves us, but he also understands our taste because he goes, you see this new hat we just got? Throws it at Kyle. Kyle's like, yeah, I'm getting that.
Yeah, that too.
The Tim Richmond corduroy hat.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
It's the Folgers Tim Richmond hat, corduroy, and it's got like the gold leaf in the
No, it looks like
it's
a
etched into the brim on the
damn.
top.
It looks like a naval captain's,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the gold
Yep.
leafing. It's sick. So yeah, we hung out with him for a little bit, and then we just trekked back up to the camper.
We got the SVG shirts.
Oh, we got the SVG shirts. I had to go with the Back to the Future, the back-to-back wins, because I saw it online. I was thinking about it, and then when it's in your face, you're like, God damn it.
There it is. That's the one.
That's the thing that's happening.
But Dan's like Batman. He's like, does it come in black?
Yeah.
Like, no,
Honestly,
he's like,
I don't.
Fuck it.
I don't hate this.
Nice gray.
Yeah,
No, I like that.
I'm not a gray shirt guy, but I can live with this. If this was like the Hendrix sweatshirt I bought in Coda, still terrified to wear it. I brought it to the track. could have worn it on Saturday night. It was chilly Saturday night.
It was, yeah.
I pulled it out and went, nah, not today.
Well, it's like the Bowman shirt I wore on Sunday. I wore a white shirt.
Yeah.
For the first time in probably 25 years.
Yeah. It was
And
weird
it's
seeing you in a
only
white shirt.
because I bought that shirt 2 years ago. It was his Nashville shirt that Ryan Williams designed. Sickest shirt ever, but it only came in white. And I was like, this will be cool just to like hang up. And like, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to wear this thing because I own it. But the entire day, I was like, I hate that I'm wearing a white shirt.
Yeah. So
You looked really good in the rain, though.
you left before the rain got really heavy, and you looked even better later.
Damn.
So
Like a beached whale, baby.
no, that was you doing.
Damn,
that was
boy.
you doing the limbo off the photo booth on Saturday.
Surprisingly, that hurt my back, but didn't kill my back.
Yeah, he tried to go under the railing, and the shirt ended up around his eyeballs. Oh
my God.
It was great. So we trucked back up to the camper. Jesus, it's got to be what? Oh no, we went in the infield. Sorry, forgot about that. We went in the infield, got our photo vests, talked to Shannon, talked to Jill, our friends at NHMS. Well, they actually SMI. Really, Jill does CODA, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do a lot of social media stuff. Shannon's like the marketing director for NHMS, if I'm not mistaken. Might have the title wrong. Don't shoot me.
Pretty sure she runs the track,
She runs the track.
from what I've picked up.
I think she owns it.
So we hung out with them for a little bit, talked to them, found our seats in the media booth or in the media area, just kind of killing time at that point. There was supposed to be modified practice qualifying and Xfinity practice qualifying.
No dice.
We walked around the garage a little bit. It's starting to rain. It's not raining. It's sprinkling. It's misting. It was all over the place. Canceled everything modified, and then they canceled Xfinity qualifying, and they canceled practice, and they were like, we're going to try qualifying or something. I don't remember what the hell they did.
They ran practice for about 8 seconds.
Literally 8 seconds. They put the wets, or they didn't even have the wets on the car,
No.
I don't think. They send the cars out. I can time it like this. We watched SVG leave pit road. He came by us into turn 1. He wasn't out of turn 2. The red flag was out. It was 45 seconds of practice. It was like, okay. And then it poured. Well, it didn't pour, but it was wet enough that they were like,
Yep. They lost the track, and that was the end of that.
yeah. So we went up to the camper. That was about when you showed up.
Yeah, I should have been like 7.
Yeah, we had some food and then out into the wilderness.
Did
so to
X-Plot
speak.
shit.
That was when, we made burgers and dogs that night, right?
Yep, yep.
That's when I fired up the old Blackstone. And
You give Kyle a grill of any shape or form, and he is just in his
He
element.
morphs. He like
Yeah.
manifests an apron,
Yeah.
and tools just show up in his hand, and he's just there.
Dude, you literally,
Yeah.
if someone says, like, fire up the grill or let's make dinner, Kyle's already at the grill. It's clean and ready to go. Like,
yeah, it's warm. He's like, "What are you guys waiting for?"
yeah.
full tilt, scrape that thing off, clean the utensils. I'm ready to go. I'm like, just hand me the food. Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
I'll make it right now.
I want to see Kyle like whip out like a switchblade, but it's a spatula.
It's a spatula.
Oh,
He's
what a
got-
good
he's
idea
got
that is.
He's got nunchucks. One side is a spatula, one side is tongs. He's just like,
Can you imagine like a big version of that, and you can flip them in and out?
Yeah.
That's
Call this
sick.
grill foo.
yeah. So,
I like that. I need to get myself
Trademark.
just a
trademark,
normal
trademark. Yeah.
normal tool belt, and I could just start
Oh, yeah.
stuffing things in it. I'm doing that for
There you
Pocono.
go. Do that for Pocono. So yeah, we
You just have like salt and pepper on your hip. You're just like,
That was stuff I was in my head
Dude, have you
that I
seen the
definitely
barbecue
needed.
guys? Some of those guys
Oh, yeah.
roll like that. They've got the stuff on their
oh yeah.
on their
Kyle,
side.
can you just have like a sake squirt gun?
Oh my
100%.
Yeah.
I always have one of them. Usually I use it for water. When you saw me do it with the burgers.
Yeah.
Blast some water on there, close the lid, let it steam.
Yeah.
So we Scothan and his lovely fiance ended up meeting up with us that night.
Yep.
They just showed up at the camper out of the blue.
Which, by the way, sounds like they're doing camping right. They literally paid this
Oh,
company.
they rent one. Yeah, it's
And
a
the company comes out, parks it in your parking spot, hooks everything up. It's literally plug and play. You show up and you just get in it.
It's great until you have a problem like Corey did.
Yeah.
So the first night he was telling me that their generator, something was wrong with it, and it wouldn't run the fridge and the air conditioner.
The camper was new and required more power than the old generator.
the
Yes.
camper she rented, they sold,
yeah.
which was small.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, we'll upgrade you for free because we sold the
Because
camper
we
were
fucked
gonna
up.
rent.
Yeah.
And they're like, cool, okay, that's fine, whatever. We don't need the extra space, but we'll take it. But they didn't change any of the other arrangements.
Right.
So they got a twice as large camper, but they sent them the same original generator they were going to send and all the hookups and stuff.
Yeah. So
it just was.
And he had said
underpowered.
some other things, like the first night he found like someone's glasses in it, and he was like, "That's a little weird," like But they got it all sorted out. I guess the people they rented from came back, but there were people across from us this morning that did that. And I said it to Steph, I was like, I love that we own our camper, but fuck, that looks so much. I saw the people pack their cars and just drive away, and just leave
Someone
the
else's
campers.
problem.
Someone else's fucking problem. So yeah, they met up with us.
I think
We
that
all
could be your job.
true.
You could just set up campers all day.
Yeah, but then you'd have to set up campers.
Then I
all
set up
day.
campers
Yeah,
all day.
yeah.
It's not fun. Although it's not bad because I guess you don't have to care as much. Like I'm trying to get it level to the perfect degree, so if I don't move at all when I'm
Dan's
sleeping,
campers, you get in bed and just roll
you
out.
just roll out of the bed. Yeah.
But you got to think the person who you're setting it up with, you're not in love with, so you don't have to worry about getting a divorce after you set it
No,
up.
that's what I'm saying. If
So
I
you can actually like fight with each other.
what? Yeah, I just they're already talking about it in live chat.
Oh.
Hallmark's gone. That's been the rumor for a couple weeks. I knew that was coming.
How are they going to break up the boys?
Yeah,
dude?
I knew that was coming. So we all head out into X Lot. Now I experienced it last year.
Yep.
Kyle hadn't, Norm hadn't, Corey, it's his first time camping there. So it was kind of like, all right, let's go have some fun. So we ended up walking around, hooking up with the Jello shot people. There's something about X Lot. Everybody if they're on a road, they give away booze.
Yeah.
There's the people at the end of our row, they're known as the Jello shot pit crew. They have a full-on pit sign that they hang over the road. Like it looks like a pit sign. And they made damn near 1,500 Jello shots. They still had some at like midnight on Saturday. I walked by. I was like, you guys got to be out by now, right? And they're like, nope, 2 coolers left.
I mean, in one night, I probably had 5 of them.
Yeah.
And I could tell you they could make 1,500 of them because they forgot to put booze in
Yeah,
them.
they weren't very strong. But there were other people, though.
But, I mean, it's still, I don't care if there's alcohol in it or not. Jello shots are just fun to do.
yes.
Yeah.
So and when the guy's fucking hawk tuning it to you from fucking 300 feet away, and you're catching it as
That
you're
was
walking by.
marked an hour and 35 minutes
We
before
made it.
he said
We
it.
made it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's super fun. I will say, not as crazy as I expected because
This year-
it's really like isolated, I feel like.
This year was not, I feel like my first experience with it was an extra day last year. Like Sunday night last year was nuts because I think it was the night no one expected to have
Right.
because of the rain delay. It was a little not as crazy this year, but you guys weren't there. Was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday night is when, again, it wasn't that crazy, but me and Joe were out walking around, or me, Joe, and Kevin were out. And that's the night that at like midnight, every cop on the property shows up. And it's almost like the Celtics, when you've been in the city when a team wins the championship, they do the line and they push everybody they did that Saturday night. Like
did
when
they?
it's time to shut the bar down at midnight, they shut the bar down and they line up. And there was actually a point where they had a line of people like maybe 100 yards up, a line of cops. We were trying to walk back towards our camper and they stopped us. And they were like, where are you going? We're like, we're going back to our camper. And they're like, what row are you in? Like,
Good.
If you didn't have a camp spot, you weren't allowed to go deeper. Now, granted, I could have said I'm in spot 835 and they would have been like, okay. Yeah, even though I don't think that's a spot. But
Yeah. Right. But still,
Regardless.
it's nice that they're actually doing that, though,
Yeah.
because keeping the peace, keeping the
And it
controlled
was
chaos.
chill. We saw the whole weekend, Saturday night, we saw one guy who was he was belligerent. He was running around. He was doing that run skip thing.
Oh, Jesus.
And he was like getting in people's faces as he went by them. Half hour later, we saw him stapled to the front of a Tahoe being handcuffed and screaming at the police.
Oh, nice.
So
Hell
we
yeah.
were like, nice. Good
Good.
job, guys.
Justice.
But yeah, it was so Friday night. It was pretty chill. I mean, we went over to the bar. You guys got to see that.
Franklin peed off his butt.
Franklin. Oh my God, that poor man. His name is not Franklin.
Yes, it is.
It's Frankie.
Hey, it's Franklin.
I said that to Steph this
Peeing
morning.
out
I'm
of
like,
his
every
butt.
time that I was like, every time Kyle sees him, he says, "Hey, it's Franklin," and Frankie looks at me like, "That's not my name."
It is when I sing the song.
His name is Frank E. Walker.
Yeah, that's why like I called Joey's son Joseph. His
I know.
name is Joey. It's not Joseph, and I do it just because.
I know. So, yeah, we just all hung out. I mean, it was
It was a great time.
it was a good time. You know, we finally got to see. I see the underglow, and I'm like, there it is, guys. We got to go over there. They're like, why? I'm like, you'll see. It's the blender on the fucking weed whacker with handlebars.
yeah.
And they're like, again, it's the guy just gives them away. And that man is in full dad mode. He's got a white T-shirt on that says the blender guy on it with a screen printed picture of the blender wagon on the back of
Nice.
it. It's tucked into his khakis.
Perfect.
And
Khaki
he is
shorts.
khaki shorts. And he is just in his element. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's his fucking Super Bowl.
He starts.
Hey, who wants a pickleback shot?
Like, all right, fine, all right, okay.
That guy starts today planning for
And
next
I
year.
completely embarrassed myself with a pickleback shot because I like swallowed my own spit and then started coughing
Jesus.
like a first timer. It's like,
Amateur
oh, a little,
rookie.
little too much. I'm like, nope, wrong pipe, wrong pipe.
Guys, like, maybe
so
I
I
should
did
have
like
carded this one.
I did that one. I did that one cough, and then I tried to hold the rest of them in, so I looked like that kid in the meme with like the veins popping out of his head. I'm like, no, it's just a wrong pipe. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, we hung out, Christ, a little while. We ended up heading back to the camper, dropped my wife.
I mean, the
dogs.
boys were buzzing.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is, yeah. Then we went back out after we went and dropped Steph off. We walked back over to the bar to hang out a little long. It's prime people watching. We're not going to the bar. Like, we all have our cooler backpacks on. We got our own beer. We don't need the bar, none of that. We just go there to hang out and people watch.
Yeah.
And there were some kids there that apparently had gone to the Celtics parade, and we had to like restrain Kevin because Kevin wanted to kill them.
Yeah.
They were just passing around a bottle of 1800.
Oh shit!
Like the big 175s, they were just passing it around. Like, it was like, this is going to end poorly.
Yeah.
So the one line, not one liner of the weekend, but I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Kyle's like, oh, I'm gonna head over there with you. I gotta pee too. We're by ourselves now. We're away from the group. Kyle goes, man, I'm starting to feel it. I'm a little drunk. And I'm walking. I'm like, I actually don't feel all that bad. And he didn't say anything.
Yeah. No, Dan was like, nah, dude, I'm actually pretty good.
No, that's what I said. I was like,
and I was like, well, fuck me, right?
yeah, he's kind of like now questioning his life. I get in the porta potty and I don't realize that I'm starting to list at like a 30-degree angle. And I'm like, I almost
Put
like
a lot
head-
of face in that plastic lock on the door.
God.
like the head almost touched the side of the porta potty,
Oh,
and I
no.
caught myself. I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute!"
Peter, my foot a little.
So we leave the porta potty. We made it 5 steps, and I look at Kyle. I'm like, "Yeah, I might have lied to you. I think I am kind of drunk."
Yes.
Because Dan and I are usually on a very similar path.
Yes,
To intoxication.
yes.
And I felt so alone. I was like, what do you mean you're not feeling it?
You're like that old footsteps thing where there's 2 footsteps in the sand, but
Well,
he's behind you.
Yeah, I was in the porta potty. I'm like, what did I do
did I do
wrong?
wrong?
Like, maybe it was the pickleback shots.
Am
Maybe
I
that's
the
what did it
lightweight?
in. Like, is it me?
Am I getting old? What's happening?
So we hung out for a little while longer. We started trucking back to the camper. That's when we stopped. We had a couple more Jello shots on the way back to the camper.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up having it was the best. It's what we look forward to all year. It's the chill. Kyle put some music on. We're just chilling at the camper, just relaxing, shooting the shit, listening to music. And we started talking about how early we had to get up the next morning because they moved the modified race. The modified race was supposed to be after the Xfinity race at like 6:30. Well, the weather forecast looked like shit, so they're like,
PM.
never mind, it's at 10 in the morning. So we're like, shit.
Yeah.
So we started kind of talking about that, and Kyle looks at me and goes, he's like, can we get that mod race at like 10, right? And I'm like, yeah. And I just watched that marinate in his head, and about 5 minutes later, Kyle doesn't say a word. He shuts the speaker off, stands up, and goes, well. So we all pack it up. We walk in the camper. It is midnight. We walk in the camper. My wife she was laying in bed, like half asleep. I open the door. I see the glow of her phone in the dark bedroom, and she goes, all I hear from the bed is, midnight? That's it? And we're like, God damn it, she gets us. She knows us. She knows us.
Yeah.
And we all went. I actually woke up quite refreshed Saturday morning. I didn't
Yeah, I
feel
didn't
all
feel
that
too
bad.
bad.
You felt bad.
No, not terrible.
No,
Wasn't
you-
great.
No,
But
you felt bad for other reasons.
tried to go to the bathroom real bad.
Real bad.
Real bad. Well, it wasn't the first thing in the morning because we got up, we made breakfast.
Yes.
Had a good breakfast.
Breakfast hit bottom.
Yeah, then breakfast made its way through the system and needed to leave, and there was some dilly-dallying going on.
I might have been doing it on purpose just to make it squirm.
Norm left to go shower and get ready or whatever, and Dan's dilly-dallying around. I'm like, we gotta go. Not because it's a mod race, but I gotta go.
And I was like, oh, I gotta take the dogs out. Oh, I forgot my sunglasses. Hold on,
I was
gonna
gonna kill
something.
him.
I gotta grab something real quick.
So my truck's parked at Overflow, so we hop in the back of Kevin's to drive us over to Overflow, and we're going down the road, sitting in the bed of his truck, and I'm like, oh God. Oh
He's
God.
sitting
every
on the,
bump.
He's
Oh,
sitting
God.
on the bedside.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like you get the pressure point. Like he's not sitting in a comfy chair.
Right,
He's
right,
like, I watched his face.
Get over to media, straight to the bathroom.
Yeah. So
But Saturday we spent a lot of Saturday in
we were there all
in the
day.
pits.
We were in there from like 9:30 to.
I left
me
at
and-
like 5:30.
Me and Norm stayed till the end of the Xfinity race. That was touching 6 o'clock probably
Yeah.
by the time we left.
Yeah.
Yes, Kyle left with probably 4:80 to go in the Xfinity
Yeah,
race?
it was about
Yeah,
80 to
not
go.
even.
Yeah.
No.
Probably 4:30.
Yeah. So we had a couple good moments. Walked around the garage a lot. You know, the usual stuff. Just walked around.
Yeah, we had the media scrum. Obviously, we were in the media center for that.
Ross Chastain snuck up on me, looked at me with one eye, and it scared the crap out of me.
Yep.
Got to listen to Priest and Bowman just shoot the shit about the mod race, like just being car guys. It was
Yeah.
actually really cool. Like they walked in behind us, they kind of snuck in the side door. They're standing right behind me. Priest had been in the mod race and he had a problem. He just was out.
Yeah, which sucked for him because obviously they missed qualifying for that, so he had to start in the back.
He was rolling too,
and he made it up probably like what 14th, probably
like
from
that.
30th,
and then he was just gone. So I'm sitting there and I just hear them. Bowman's like, "So what happened?" And I guess he like broke a rotor or something. And then Bowman's like, "Oh, I have had that happen on a dirt car." Like it was just cool to hear those guys just like the same shit we do with when it comes to cars.
Yeah.
we watched Noah attempt to nut tap Ryan Priest
With an
his
umbrella.
and miss, and Ryan Priest hit him back with
How'd that work out for you?
trying to be slick or something like that.
Yeah,
How'd
so
that work
funny.
out
Like
for you?
you forget that they're just normal dudes. Like
Yeah.
they're just doing
And
stupid
then
shit.
Dan got his heart absolutely destroyed.
So this is after. So we leave.
Oh,
reignited.
yeah.
So we leave. We watched some of the media scrum stuff. Like we watched Truex had his press conference. Blaney. Then there was all the driver stuff. We're just hanging out, and we get free.
I asked Noah and Ty if it was awkward because they were right next to each other.
So we get free meals. There's a barbecue place right in the infield. That restaurant's been there forever. So we get as
Smoke
media,
Shack, I think it's
they
called.
give you
Yeah.
like
Lunch voucher.
little vouchers for lunch. So we go over there. That was my turn to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
I was gone for like half of that.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ate. We
Norm and I had a lovely lunch date.
Yeah. Well,
Tendies
I didn't
and
have
fries.
breakfast because I chose shower over bathroom and breakfast.
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I get to do one of the three, so I'm just going to stand in line for the shower because there's seemingly one shower on the premises.
The shower house. There's only one shower house for camping, which seems kind of weird, but
There's got
Joe,
to be
the answer is
like,
yes.
There's got to be a temporary one somewhere that we don't know about.
maybe. I don't know. There
But
used to be. I don't know if they do anymore.
I waited in line for like an hour and a half for a shower,
Yeah.
and the entire time I'm hungry because I didn't eat anything, and I also had to go to the bathroom. But I'm like, I'm not getting out of this fucking line to go to the bathroom and go to the back.
I'll waffle stomp it in the shower. I don't give a shit.
There was no direct drain in the shower.
Ah.
It like goes
Norm's
down.
Just, Norm's
leave
just
it
in the
there.
middle of the room. Everyone's watching. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. But so we.
Give me a Pringles can.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So we go to leave the lunch room, restaurant, whatever. Kyle's like, I gotta pee. I'll meet you guys outside. So me, Norm, and our buddy Kevin go stand outside right by the door, like we're waiting for him. As we're standing there, Corey LaJoy's walking by. He looks at us, and I go, "Oh, hey, Corey." This is the part that blew my mind, and I told this to Kyle, and he was like, "What?" He walked by us, like he said, "Hey," walked by us, then stopped,
Did a double take.
double taked, turned around, and was like, "What was the name of y'all's podcast again?" Like he remembered us from Daytona when we hung out with him for 20 minutes or
And
whatever.
Dan,
fucking
like
awesome.
goddamn Superman,
I pulled the
takes his
photo vest off because I had a shirt on.
This fast podcast.
Yeah. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, that's right." And then he just walks up to me and goes, "So is that just Flo or is that a mullet?" I pull the hat off. I'm like, "It's a mullet." And he goes, "Man, you got to get rid of that. You're never going to get laid." And I go, I snapped right back at him. I went, "Sir, I've been married for a long time." And he goes, "Oh, you already don't get laid."
Yeah.
And then the best part is he says that. He goes, "Oh, you already don't get laid." Walks away. No bye. No see you later. No, walks away.
Fucking mic drop.
Yeah,
See ya.
walks away. So Norm,
Brutal.
Norm instantly looks at me and goes, "Well, you got to cut it off now." He doesn't like it. You got to cut it off. So we joke
I'm
about
like,
it.
we'll bring you into the fucking bathroom right now and cut it
Yeah,
with a knife
so-
in my pocket.
Hold on. Bucks for the loose boys. The highest donation gets to
Not
cut his
happening.
hair.
Not happening.
Oof.
Oh, like
what will
somebody will cut his hair?
No.
what will it cost for you to cut it
An
off?
infinite amount. There is no number.
Okay.
There is no number.
It was worth a
Because he's
shot.
literally going to do it
Everyone's
for
got
free.
a number and you know it.
Not this one. I told you I'm a cheap date. Not for this. And honestly, Steph would probably donate it.
If I put a number on it, Steph's going to pay for it.
I feel like Steph has just been on a roller coaster with the mullet.
Yeah, she likes
Like,
it and she doesn't. She likes it. She
hated
doesn't.
it when he first did it. Now she's like, I don't know if I like the back of your neck anymore.
Yeah. Same. So that was a running joke for the next hour and a half.
I don't even think it was that long.
We're walking around the garage joking around about it. So we end up started the Xfinity race. They're pushing the cars out. Now they're in hurry up mode because like rain's coming.
Yeah.
So they were like not sure what's going on. Then all of a sudden it was like someone flipped a switch. There is fucking toolboxes going by, cars going out to pit road. They are hauling ass. So we're out by the very end of pit road. And apparently all the fun stuff happens when Kyle goes pee.
No, I went to get a Celsius.
Or you went to get a Celsius. That's what it was.
So he had the Celsius before this happened.
I don't, whatever. So
Because this was, no, yeah.
So we're standing at the end of pit road. He takes off for a minute. Me and Norm are standing there. And there's drivers walking by and stuff. And I look up, and Josh Williams is walking by. That is the guy who I hung out with in the campground last year.
Oh, this is when I ran into SPG.
Yes. So I had already seen him the day before, and I was like, hey, coming up to the campground tonight? And he was like, yep, he didn't. New team, maybe a little more buttoned up. I get it. So we're standing there, and he walks. I mean, like, we almost brush shoulders. And I'm like, yeah, Josh, go get him. And I throw the fist bump up. And he looks at me and goes, you look fucking fantastic. And just walks away. Because he also he's a big mullet guy.
Fucking love it.
He goes, you look fucking fantastic. And just walks by me. And I was like,
And Dan's like, nothing more beautifuler than you, Josh.
no, I think I
like
turned-
walks
no, I
away.
Ain't
turned
no,
around.
nothing
I
more
think-
beautiful than you.
I think I turned around. I was like, no, you look fucking fantastic.
Go get him or
And
something
then I
like
turned
that.
around and looked at Norm. I was like, well, now what?
I'm like, all right, it's all tied up. I'm like, we need to go talk to somebody who regrets cutting off their mullet.
Right.
Because you have Corey, who hated when people called his hair a mullet.
Because he had like a flow going. He
So
didn't really have
he had hockey flow. So he hates mullets. So I'm like, all right, he's anti-mullet. And then you have Josh Williams, who is all mullet all the time.
Yeah.
So obviously Josh Williams is going to be a fan of the mullet. Corey LaJoy likes flow. So it's like, we need to go find somebody that had a mullet and cut it off. I'm like, Sheldon Creed
Yeah.
had a sick mullet, cut it off. Now he kind of just has flow.
Jordan Taylor.
Jordan Taylor, obviously he's not there. Daly had one too at one point, I think.
Yes, he did.
But I'm like,
Should ask Noah.
the last
Noah.
I forgot about Noah.
I did too.
We cannot ask Ryan Blaney because Ryan Blaney's on that same side as Corey, who always had flow but not a mullet.
People called the mullets, and I think that's why we've never seen it again.
Yeah.
But that was like, it was so goddamn funny. But like I
Noah
said,
would have been a good ask. I forgot about
Yeah.
Noah.
all I took out of that was that Corey, like, it wasn't just like the fact that he walked by. It's not like I chased him down or we didn't stop him.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
stopped himself, turned around, and the words, what was the name of your guys' podcast again? And not like, oh, you're those podcast guys, or oh, you look
Hey,
familiar.
didn't you have a podcast or
Yeah,
something like
it was
that?
the way
it was legitimately like, I remember hanging out with you guys for 30 minutes at Daytona. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah, and then I didn't kind of open the shirt, and he looked at it. He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Loose is fast. I remember he said he liked the logo because he's a big Days of Thunder guy. So, yeah, that was – I could have died and gone to heaven at that moment.
Yeah, but then he had to just
Then he just ripped my
stab
fucking
you
heart.
in the rib cage.
So, yeah, we end up pit road for Xfinity again, third year in a row standing the anthem. Standing on pit road for the anthem, hung out by SVG's car. That was cool.
Yeah, we decided to take the national anthem. We're walking up and down pit road. You know,
I don't think we decided.
It just
I think
happened.
They kind of just dropped it on us because they were just like, oh, and now we're doing the national anthem. We're like,
What the fuck?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, we're cruising up and down pit road, and I think you said, who are we gonna stand next to for
I
the
did.
anthem?
No, I did.
Dan
Yeah.
said it, and then about 8 seconds later, they just start firing it off. Like, well, we're standing next to the guy that's not from here, so let's stand next to his car.
Well,
I kept
Let's go with the
looking
guy
over,
from
I
New
was like, I
Zealand.
want to see how SVG's reacting to all this.
Well, so that
Yeah.
was the thing that I said that I was like, who do we want to stand next to? And then I turned around, and whatever crew was right behind us, I feel like I remember they had orange fire suits on. They were already they all line up on pit road. They were all lined up, and I was like, guys, I think we're here.
yeah, that was
We
the
are-
pit
yeah.
box right behind us because it
Yeah.
was SVG and Haley
Yeah.
Deegan's car were to our right.
And then it was great because I'm pretty sure I don't think they did the Canadian national anthem in Portland. I think it's Michigan here and Watkins Glen does the Canadian national anthem.
Okay.
So we're standing next
Not
to the man
Portland,
from.
huh?
I doubt it. It's
Interesting.
Yeah. So we're standing there, and I'm thinking, this guy is from New Zealand. It's his first year racing in America, and he's had to listen to the American national anthem at every track. Now we're going to throw him even if they did do the Canadian national anthem in Portland, I can guarantee you it wasn't the French version. Homeboy rips off the full French version of the Canadian national anthem, and I was just waiting for SVG to be like, what are we doing here?
You ever seen the?
Meanwhile, he's doing a rugby haka in the back.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever seen like the TikTok video? It's some guy. He goes, "When I want my kids to go have a nap, I'll put on a movie in Spanish."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the kids will be like, "What's going on?" I'm like, you must be tired if you don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah, yeah,
I've seen that.
Like
I've
I
seen
feel like
that's
that was
hilarious.
SVG. Like,
Am I drunk
drinking
right
too
now?
much Red Bull today? These words aren't making sense. to me.
Spiraling?
So, yeah, and then we walked down pit road, ended up over in our turn 1 spot.
Yep. That's our home.
Our little sneaky photo spot that Kevin showed.
Which got pretty popular
It got
on
actually
Saturday.
pretty popular on Saturday. Yeah, we hung out there, Jesus, for the first stage and a half,
Yeah, I'd say stage and a half at least.
at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that.
They kind of, I don't know, I feel like they not screwed the pooch on the Xfinity race, but they like waited till the track was dry and then sent them out on the wets, and then 10 laps later we're like, never mind, take them off.
Yeah, horrible. But overall, Xfinity race I think was a really good race.
It was, yeah. We stayed
Put
there
on a
for
good
most
show.
of it. We walked up pit road, watched some pit stops. Kyle took off because he was heading home, and then me and Norm just parked it in the media center for the rest
we
of
watched the rest of it at the media center. Yeah,
it, which was nice. It was just good to sit down for a little bit and have
Yeah.
TV
it
and
felt
commentary.
a little dirty being in the media center and rooting for people. I was like, I feel like I'm not supposed to be like,
Yeah, you're not
cheering-
supposed to. I
cheering
almost said
for Cole Custer right now.
I almost said something to you because I think it was the end of the race, and like when Cole got moved, and you were like, "Oh, come on!" And I want to be like, "Norm, you're not supposed to be doing that, dude. Like, don't do that."
Yeah, whatever.
But it was great. Our seats were literally next to Bob. We
Yep.
were across.
Who was in and out? He wasn't there. the
He
whole
was in
time.
and out, but he was hanging out for a little bit. He had a couple one-liners to the guys next to him. It was pretty funny. Like
Yeah.
he's actually a funny dude if you get to hang out, like just sit there and listen to him for a minute, like not in reporter mode.
He's
Yeah.
very dry humor, which I've always liked dry humor.
Yes.
Like I've always been into like those movies with dry humor and stuff like that. And that's him. Like he's awkward funny, but when he'll say something, he's like, "That was quick, Bob.
That was quick.
That.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was he's quick with the jokes.
He's very quick. But yeah, great race. I mean, Christopher Bell going back to back to back to back in
Yeah,
Xfinity.
4 for 4 in the
and
Xfinity Series. at New
Sheldon
Hampshire.
Creed once again figured out a way to finish second.
Yeah.
We thought Custer had him, and then Creed made that move, slowing them both up, and then Bell's like, "I'll just take this. See you later, guys."
Yeah, seemingly not the
and Creed-
first nor the last time, unfortunately.
Creed had it off 2, I think, but
Yeah.
Cole's like, "Well, bitch, you moved me in 4. I'm gonna move you in 2."
Yeah,
And it was an
Steve
exciting
Bell just
finish.
hung out and waited for it.
I mean,
Yeah.
3 wide coming to the white.
yeah.
Have we ever seen that at New Hampshire? Like that
No.
was pretty sick. Really good race. Hated it because neither one of my boys won.
We were gonna go
My
to
2 kids were fighting the entire race, and I
I
neither
asked
of them won.
Norm. I was like, "We've never done Victory Lane. Like, do you want to go?" And he's like, "If Cole wins, we're going." And then he
Yeah,
did.
I'm like, I want to see the Stone Cold front row.
Yeah. Yep.
Like if
Didn't
Cole
get it.
crosses that line, I am getting front and center in that start finish line or in that victory lane. And I'm just like waiting.
yeah.
Smash the beers. Smash the beers.
So, but that didn't happen. So we didn't go to Victory Lane.
So Christopher Bell takes the checkered flag of the was it the SIAPS? SIAPS 200. Christopher
Figured out
Bell.
what to do yet?
What?
Figured out what the PSYOPs does
No,
yet?
No.
We were talking about that yesterday.
Christopher Bell, Sheldon Creed, Cole Custer, Justin Allgaier, and Carson Quapple, your top 5. Great run for Quapple yet again.
they
the 88
played
car.
They didn't have the best car. Him and Bowman both got screwed by the rain. No practice, no qualifying. They both started in the back, and obviously these are part-time teams, so they don't have a huge notebook of information, especially with drivers that aren't familiar with the cars. So they were working on them all race, and they both got up to probably 11th to 15th place cars throughout the race, and the 88 played great pit strategy at the end there. They stayed out, held the lead for a couple laps, so great race for Carson.
I see why we thought PSYOPS was an RC car company. They make portable analytical instruments with the power to measure any element across any major industry. So they make really, really nice like thermometers, but they can
Oh,
measure,
wow.
Like heat guns
but
and
they
stuff
can measure all sorts of cool shit
with
with
temp guns.
Yeah, they can do all sorts of weird shit with them. Apparently,
That's
So,
cool.
It'd be cool for like job sites when you have to go in those enclosed places. You have to bring the monitors with you. Like
the porta potty.
Well, that too. But, that's just a gas mask.
Yeah,
But no, we have to
Oh,
bring
no, I
like
meant
the
on the hot
radon
days.
detectors and like all those
yeah,
other shit
that's
down
probably
below with you.
That's probably what they
Yeah,
are.
I'm sure
but
that's what
No,
they
I
do.
meant on those like last week when it was 100 degrees out and those poor souls that
Oh,
on
no.
job sites with porta potties.
So
That's when you just
my
hold it.
the nice thing about not working on the road anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I still work on the road, but I have access to bathrooms now. Where on the job site, you just don't. Where you whatever using that porta john, and every year it was always the first Sub-Zero one of the year that was brutal.
It's just two extremes here. We've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so great race there. And then Saturday night, I ended up heading home. Did you guys have a good time Saturday
so
evening?
Kyle took off towards the end of the Xfinity race. We watched the end of it. Me and Norm blasted up to the camper. Norm took off because he was going to go home and sleep in his
Dude,
bed.
I made it home in legitimately like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I time traveled somehow.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I feel like I left the track at 6:30 and I was in my driveway at 7 o'clock. I was like, math ain't math. And this is a 45-minute drive.
That's a 45-minute ride.
Was
Yeah.
that you 115
Yeah.
all
Oh,
the way
like
home?
I must have left at 6:15, but I swear I left at 6:30, and I was like, how am I home?
So he takes off. We hang out for a little bit in the camper. Then Joe Sanchez shows up because I put up a thing about the X lot earlier in the week, and he's like, oh, I'm going to miss it because he stayed Sunday night last year after the rain delay. He didn't want to drive all the way back to Connecticut and then come back up on Monday. I was like, camper's empty. Like, Steph went home. You guys weren't staying. I was like, it's just me in the camper. So he stayed last year, and we ended up getting really drunk.
Oh, you didn't even have the dogs?
No, Steph took the dogs home last year because she couldn't stay. So I was like, dude, like, they're not staying. Like, we have beds in the camper if you want to come up Saturday night. So he blasted up Saturday night. Him and Kevin walked around quite a bit. Same thing, people watching, you know, a little bit rowdier, not really. It was about the same as Friday night. There was just much bigger police presence, I think.
Yeah.
Because they know
Keeping
Saturday,
the peace.
they know Saturday night could get out of hand. We ended up walking over. I did it last year, but no one showed up, and it was the same vibe. Another local podcast that shall remain nameless. Whatever. They are also an X-Lot, and they do a big party every year. They're more of a local, like, they do a lot of local stuff. Like, I know one of them races at Star and stuff like that. So we went over there, and because we saw a golf cart go that way, and I thought I saw who I thought I saw. So we followed it and walked over there, and it's Freddie.
Elvis.
Freddie Kraft and Tyler Reddick
Oh, no way.
just going to hang out at this party. So me and Joe went over there. I get the same vibe as last year where it's like everybody knows each other, and if you don't know them, like, you don't want to just, it's weird to just walk in there and be like, hey, what's up? You know, a little weird. Same vibe I got last year. So we hung out there for like 5 minutes, and we're like, this is dumb. Let's just keep cruising, you know? Relatively early night, Saturday night too. I think we packed it in. We went back to the camper, hung out for a little bit, and then I looked at the radar and rain was coming. So we were like, we did that quick, kind of half drunk, like pack up the chairs, we don't want to wake up to wet shit kind of thing.
Yeah.
Apparently it never rained according to Kevin because he was up late. And then wake up Sunday morning and somehow time it perfectly to hook up with you guys as you came into the track.
I was curious
Yeah,
how
that
long
worked
you were
out
waiting.
really well.
We were waiting there for 3 minutes, if that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Saturday night, Mr. Relum Nevek, a.k.a. Kevin Miller, came up to my house and crashed with us to save him some of that drive.
Yep.
So then the rest of the squad met at my house in the morning, including Ryan here, obviously.
About 6:15. Got up there for like 7:15.
Yep. We all hit the road, cruised up, pretty uneventful. I mean, rain started coming.
Traffic. Was there way more traffic for Sunday morning than it usually
Way
is?
more than normal, yeah.
I felt like
Like, it wasn't enough to slow us, per se, but a lot more volume of
at one
people.
point I got cut off, and you and Scummy were 2 miles ahead of me. I couldn't even see you anymore. Thank you for the flag, because there was another white Tundra,
Yep.
exactly the same as yours, and I was following him for a minute, and I'm like, oh shit, this isn't Kyle.
No flag.
So you had the same experience I did. So when Kyle showed up on Friday afternoon, I told him I would meet him at the entrance of the camping lot.
Yeah.
So I walk over there and I'm standing there. I stood there for like 10 minutes. I can see, I have his location. So I'm like, oh, he just got in the track. He should be coming around the corner any second. A white Tundra with tinted windows and mass plates pulls by. And I'm like,
Waving like an idiot.
I'm waving like a fucking idiot because he looks like he's driving by.
Yeah.
As he drives by, I see that the window's down. There's two dudes in it. Neither of them are Kyle. And I'm just like,
Just stretching.
Hey, Macarena.
I turn around. There's Kyle.
Yeah.
Literally the exact same
Hey
truck.
guys, I'm the local idiot. What's up?
Brand new Tundra, pearl white, mass plates, tinted windows. Couldn't have been any more his truck. And I'm like, I want to kill myself. I want to die. This
How
is
sick
so
did my
dumb.
flag look, though?
You didn't have the flag up on that. On Friday, you didn't have the flag.
No, on Sunday.
Oh, Sunday looked good. Yeah. So same thing. I'm watching his location, and then I see you guys come around the corner, and I was like, oh, thank God. I was worried that there was going to be like other traffic, and I wasn't going to be able to get out in front of you. And I was like, it's clear. It's perfect. I could just get out right in front of him. We crest the hill into N3, which is the day parking lot. I've never seen it that packed that early.
Oh, my God.
So I'm telling Mark, I have my friend Mark with me. I'm like, yeah, so we're going to get to the top of the hill. We're going to pull in, then we go way down into the grass, and you can see the stadium from there, or the track from there. You know, the bathrooms right there, blah, blah. I pull in, I'm like, holy fuck, we're parking on the road.
Yeah, we're on the back corner.
Yeah, we're like
3 rows in.
15?
30, yeah.
No,
30
9
tops.
9:40.
It was like 9:40.
Yeah. But every year we get there about
About the same time.
9:30, 9:40, and we were at least
Yeah, I was
6,
like,
7 rows further back
Easily.
than
I don't
normal
feel
at
like
the
we're
same time.
They
Like, we weren't
closed.
late.
They put up the lot full signs probably 20 minutes after we parked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then remember,
Slam.
we were there for 20 minutes, and then I realized I wanted to get the generator for you because the hot dog roller wasn't going to run off your truck.
That was disappointing.
Kyle wanted the banner, so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll get in my truck. I'll drive. The traffic's not that bad. I'll drive over to my camper, grab the shit, and come back. I had to like sweet talk the parking ladies to like open the gate, and I was like, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Like, just let me back in, please. I'm begging you. And they were cool. They were awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like 20 minutes after we parked. They had the lot full signs up. Gates were closed.
It
done.
was such a good sign.
Unbelievable.
I love to see it. And this, like, when we'll get to it when we get into the race, but the grandstands were packed.
Yeah.
That was
Packed.
I think.
Packed, and the whole fence line was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like we're actually gonna be like
We had a
squeezed
hell of
into
a
this
time
place.
getting in,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
which is, I mean, that's what happens when you have a full stadium. You get a packed house. That's
Yeah, I mean,
that's a
we-
great thing. But I was like, holy shit,
We
this
have
is the
always
line to get in.
entered turn one grandstands,
There's a gate right there.
Yeah.
and it's always like 5 people in front of you. Like you can see.
Yeah, you just walk down the
through
hill, walk
gate.
right up to security,
Yeah.
and walk right through.
This year, the lines were to the
Almost to the tunnel.
tunnel.
cross,
we walked
yeah.
around. We passed 2 other entrances before we found one that was
Yeah.
a quick
Yeah.
entry.
You guys went in the same one we went in because we said the same thing. It was just me, Steph, and Joe because we had to go back to the camper. And then me and Steph were going to walk down ourselves. And then we realized we had Joe's scanner in my truck. So Steph was like, oh, I'll just grab it. Not a big deal. Joe had been apparently sending me messages that I got 45 minutes later. Hey, is my scanner in your truck? Blah, blah, blah. We were just about to leave our tailgate site, and he was like running by us. And I was like, I stopped him. And so he was with us. He ended up walking in with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lack of Wi-Fi or reception at that place was
See, I
astonishing.
didn't have any problems yesterday. AT&T was working great yesterday.
Nothing.
Verizon sucks. There.
Verizon was not. That's. I've always had Verizon.
And
We
they-
just switched to AT&T.
You walk in, they're like, and there's fan first Wi-Fi
Yeah, no,
and the
there's not.
grandstands, and every time I click on it, like you can't even connect to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many people.
So
But I was
That's
having
that's
fun.
my only problem. I mean, you got to understand it with a massive stadium, that many people, it's not going to work. But when NASCAR is saying, "Oh, we're encouraging fans to connect to the app and use the NASCAR app instead of the pylon," well, you can't get into it.
I tried to open the NASCAR.
It does not work.
I opened the NASCAR app at one point yesterday, and it took a solid 5 minutes for it to actually show me what was going on.
Yeah, and then it won't update in real time
What
because
I
it's not fast enough.
But that's just an infrastructure thing. Because when we were at Daytona, that Wi-Fi was better than the Wi-Fi I have at my house.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable how good that Wi-Fi was, and that's triple the people.
Yeah.
Easily.
Daytona, I believe that's part of the actual stadium. I think a lot of the other tracks, especially the SMI tracks, they bring it in.
They bring it all in
with
yeah.
them. So
But
that-
yeah, so we did the same
definitely a
thing.
point of
The three of us
potential improvement.
the three of us walked down, and we were like, we're not going in that entrance. So we just started walking, and then we ended up at that main,
The main
entrance,
entrance,
in the split in the grandstands. Walked right in. There was 2 people in front of us.
Yeah.
It was great. That was the move.
Totally left Corey Scothen behind.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Well, we went into the fan zone. We're like, all right, we're gonna cruise around the fan zone. Everyone can see it that hasn't, and then we'll meet back over here at 1:40, and we'll all walk in together. Well, everyone was together at like 1:30, just kind of standing around. I was like, all right, does everyone want to just go?
That's when I called you because we were supposed to meet you in the fan zone. And we went in, checked out the thing Steph wanted to look at, and then left. And we were like, Joe's like, hey, the race starts in like 35 minutes. We should go. I called you to see where you were because I figured you were on the same timeline. I was like, he's probably already up in the stands. And I called him. He's like, oh, we're back at the hot dog place that I got hosed at. And I'm like, bro, that's in the back of the fan zone.
Yeah, we were
And he's
walking.
like, where are you? And I'm like, we're going in. And your voice was like, really? You're going in already? And I was like, Kyle, the race starts in like 35 minutes. And I could almost hear the switch on your voice, like, oh, Kyle's going to go into business mode now. You're like, okay, got it. And then he hangs up the phone.
But I had everyone right there, and everyone's just kind of putzing around. I'm like, clearly not everyone's like looking for things now. They're just kind of waiting. I'm like, all right, does everyone want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. I'm like, we got everybody?
It was like 18 of us, right?
Yeah, I was like, all right, let's start going.
Yeah, because we had like 3 different
Missing
groups. We had 3 different groups that all converged.
Yeah.
I was like,
Like,
yeah, this
all
is
right, yeah.
this is everybody.
Like, oh yeah,
Nope.
There's Booth, there's Scumbag. All right, yeah, we're all good to go.
Yep.
And we
Nope.
get in there, and you're like, I had to go back to get Scoth, and I was like, fuck, they were with us.
Yeah.
But the best part about this, so Kyle sends me 2 tickets the night before because I told him that me and Steph were just going to walk in by ourselves. And I wanted to make sure I had a backup in case I got like the high school kid that didn't recognize my essential badge and was like, you can't come in. So I want to it ended up working out great because I had Joe and Steph with me. So I had their 2 tickets and I had my badge. So we had no problems. So we get up to our seats, and I know we have a big clump of seats, but I only have 2 tickets, so I can only see those 2 seats. I don't know where
Where it ends and where
clump
it
is,
starts,
and there was
yeah.
already a fuck ton of people up there, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to do the math. Like, I'm looking around, I'm like, where is the large empty clump? And there isn't one. So I call Kyle, he bitch buttons me. So I call Kyle again, and the panic in his voice. I gotta go. I lost Corey. I gotta use my phone to find it. Click.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, because I had to go back out to go get him to come back in because I couldn't send him tickets. I was trying to use the app to
Yeah.
just hit the transfer button to send the tickets. Of course, it's not going to work. Couldn't send him tickets. So I had to schmooze the lady at the gate to let me out to go get him to bring him back in, which is a giant pain. And then they search all my shit again. I'm like, I was just right here. Same guy.
Yeah. So we were
but
we were panicking
we
because
got it.
we didn't know where our seats were.
Yeah.
And we're like, we'll just figure it out when Kyle gets here. And it was like Norm said, it was the Daytona thing where like we're watching people come up because the same thing happened Daytona. We weren't in our seats. They were like, pick a seat, but if the ticket holder shows up, you have to give it up because it was a rain delay. It was a train wreck. So we're sitting in the seats and like all of a sudden people show up. We're like, oh, okay, we'll move. And then I think we moved like once or maybe twice before Kyle got there.
I think I moved twice. You guys moved once.
Yeah. And then
Because I was like, all right, fine, I'll go a row back. And then like the next two people up were like, oh, those are our seats. And I was like,
and I ended up
I'm just
realizing
gonna go stand on the railing.
I realized that I fucked up. We were like 3 rows off of where we were supposed to be once Kyle got there. And I was like, oh, okay, we're good. Then we had to kick those people out.
Yeah, I was like, you. I'm from here all the way down there. Those are all mine.
And those 2 girls and the 2 guys were like, look, the 2 girls were like, oh, we gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
they started kind of, and the one girl turned around and looked at me. She's like, sorry, we just sat here because someone's in our seats. And I wanted to be like, then
Kick
kick
them out.
them
Kick
the
'em
fuck out.
Yeah,
Like, if you,
I was like, this is row 46. I have those 8. This is row 47. I have those 12.
Yeah.
And then I have these 8.
yeah. So once we got it all sorted out and everybody got settled in, it was
Fine.
we
Yeah.
were fine.
There were still some people that were on the edges of us that were in some of our seats, but we had extras.
Well,
of people that
I'm
had
pretty
bailed.
sure I was in somebody else's seat where I was sitting.
You were.
Well, did we
yeah,
get-
because
I
you
was-
guys kind of just spread out.
we spread out.
You had the
yeah.
right amount of people. You just like
We
all right,
made
we
the
don't
seats a little bit bigger than they were
we don't
supposed
need
to
to be sweating on each
But
other.
then didn't we
that
get
worked
squished?
out. We did. So
Yeah.
that worked out for a minute. So I ended up. So I was following Rybo, and then as everyone's coming together, there was a bunch of people in front of us. We're walking through. They went up the stairs, and I missed it. So I was like, "Oh shit, that was our stairwell." So I had to turn around, and by the time I turned around, fought the people to get back, go up the thing. They were already sitting. So now I make my way up, and I can't get to you. I can't get in because everyone's
you
sitting.
were-
It was packed.
That's when I saw you and you looked kind of annoyed.
I was winded because I just
Yeah.
ate shit 3 rows
Yes.
before that.
So I yell at Ryan. I'm like, Ryan, and I kind of
Up
gave
and
you the up
around.
and around.
Yeah, I'm
and
like,
you went,
got it.
You gave me the look like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Like,
So then I go up and around, and I ended up sitting next to Jay and John and his sister. I always want to call him Jay. I don't know why.
it's because his name is Jay Hulso on everything.
Yeah. So I always go to Jay first. Anyway, so I sit next to John and his
Still
sister.
works.
But there was nobody sitting the rest of the way down
There was
the row.
like 3 seats next to you that there was
4. There was 4 seats
yeah.
open. So then I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like, plenty of room. So I sit there for a few minutes, and I think we went probably.
It was the middle of stage 2 because it was when we left and then came back. Everyone was like, we got squished. And I was like, okay.
yeah,
Like someone
this
showed
dude-
up
This
at
guy
stage
and his
2.
girlfriend
Yeah.
showed up.
It was 150 laps in.
150 laps into the race with food. This is the first time we've seen them.
They're like, oh,
They
you're
sit
in our
down.
seats.
They make
I'm
a
like, oh,
big
shit.
deal about like squeezing in and stuff like that. There's only 2 of them, and they legitimately lasted 20 laps and left for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Never saw
It
him
was
again.
like, why the fuck did you go through all
So
this?
then
effort?
Like the
There
lady
was
at
this-
Daytona that did it to us.
yes. Yep.
There was this older couple in front of where John was sitting, because those 2 were empty for a while. Then they came up, and then the guy turned. He talked to John a couple times.
Oh,
and he
the
turned
leather
around-
guy?
Yeah, I gave him a
Oh,
peace
leather
sign.
guy. That was me. He looked at me and like gave me the peace sign.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
like, deuces.
They were there for 80 laps.
Well, I think they came in on the bike, and it was going to rain, so they were
yeah.
like, "Yeah, we're out." So
I don't know how that guy was in a leather fucking
Dude.
jacket.
'Cause
I
he
know.
was a freaking
fucking
skeleton.
leather jacket.
Sweatsuit.
I mean, where else do you put 40 packs of Marlboros?
True.
Like
Facts.
I could smell them from where I was
Oh, I
sitting.
could. They were sitting right in front of me. That's all I was getting for that 80
Yeah.
laps was secondhand smoke and cancer.
So John's like, well, you should just hop right there. They're not coming back. I was like, yeah, by the time I climb over everyone and sit there, it's going to be like a fucking process, right?
Yeah.
So gave it like 10 minutes, and then those 2 people got up and left. So I was like, all right, it was read back out again.
Yeah. So we made it all that time. I mean, everybody was kind of coming and going. I know like some people went and got food and went to the bathroom. Scumbag was gone for like fucking 100 laps. He missed Chase getting wrecked. I didn't even.
Yeah, I don't know where
turned
they disappeared.
I turned around to give him shit, and he wasn't there.
Newlyweds,
Yeah.
wink, wink.
He wasn't there, so I went to like give him shit about Chase getting wrecked, and he wasn't there. I'm like, I'll give it to him when he gets back.
And then when we got back to the cars, they were gone.
Yeah, and then they left after you guys left. So jumping ahead here, but when it started raining and you guys were like, we're gonna go to the merch haulers. Like 10 minutes later, they were like, we gotta go. We gotta get back to Clyde. So they just took off. They just left right as it started raining. They just left.
Got it.
Which
Typical Chase Elliott fan, dude.
Yeah.
Secky's out of the run.
But it was so like the timeline. Like I went to turn around to give him shit about Chase getting wrecked. I didn't see him. I'm like, I'll give it to him when he gets back. Felt like an hour later, I see him coming up the stairs, and I'm like, I don't even want to give him shit anymore. Like,
It's old news now.
Yeah.
At this point in the race, me and Sanchez are talking to each other via notepads on our phones.
Yeah.
And we're just cracking each other up. And we're like, yeah, like I could really go for. He was like, I could go for some chicken tenders right now. I was like, I'd go for a fucking caution.
Yeah.
And like we're sending, like we're showing each other our phones. Like
I
we're
saw
watching
you
each other
guys doing
type it,
that.
and
You guys
we're
are
just
flirting?
fucking giggling like fucking middle schoolers. And he's like, oh yeah, well John Hunter need check still out there, so a caution's coming. I was like, dude, I'll double that. Harrison Burton's still out there. We definitely have a caution coming. And eventually, we both agreed on chicken tenders. So we walked down. 5 seconds later, that caution comes out.
So you guys left right after we did because we went down. We
left before you.
Maybe. Oh yeah. 'cause
Before you guys went in your pizza run, we
Yeah,
left.
because we had just made it down to the and into the fan zone or into the whatever, into the area where the food is, and I hear nothing, and I'm like, God damn it! And then that's when Bowman blew up. And then there was another caution right after that. We were still down there, but
Caution fest. So Ryan, for a multi-time visitor,
Yep.
what did you learn new this time? Or what new takeaways did you have from coming yet again? This is now your third year in a row with us?
well, second race,
Fourth. Because I went 21, 22, 23,
Yes.
24.
Oh, wow.
so third race.
Oh, wow.
Fourth
Third
round.
race, yeah.
Hell yeah. I told him last night also that he's not allowed to not come with us ever again.
Oh
I
no!
guess I'm coming every time.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah, we need the glizzy glider
Yeah, goddamn right.
and your smile.
I'm going to have to look into a cheap generator, though.
I think you can run the glizzy glider off a Predator. I think that'd be
Well, I have a
acceptable.
Predator hooked to a mini bike. I can just put a rotor stator on it.
A mini
Now we're
bike
talking.
with like a capacitor hooked to the rear wheel, and you're just sitting there.
Yeah. If you want a hot dog, you better rev that thing faster.
Yeah.
So,
Just watch them roll.
well, I think listening to you guys every week, other than not knowing by heart who's in every car, so it's kind of, I know a few of them, whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, when something happens, I'm like, fuck, who is that? Like, that's kind of hard for me. But, no, I understand, like, that guy works with that guy, and that guy goes over here, and kind of get the whole
Yeah.
scheme of it better than I used to.
Piecing the puzzles together, if you will.
Yeah. I do learn that when they get stretched out and they're in a big circle going around and around and around for fucking 60 laps, that makes me tired. So
Yes.
just like that hum of the motors after being in, like, having some beers, having some food, sitting up there, I was like, at like lap 70-ish, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta like pay attention.
Yeah, the conveyor belt definitely
Yeah.
of Loudon is
Steph
a
admitted.
constant.
Steph admitted to me that she dozed off at one point.
Well, especially as like a car enthusiast, that's like just a
Oh,
soothing
that is,
hum.
absolutely.
Oh,
That is white
it's a
noise to
lullaby.
me.
It's a
Yeah,
lullaby.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know how else to describe. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I think I just know what's going on more.
Yeah.
Like if I watch it on TV, I'm only happy.
I mean, obviously you're enjoying it because you're the, you're the
well.
longest running one of us that's been going from the other podcast. Obviously, we had a couple of the revival guys, 21,
1 year, 21.
20
Yeah.
or 21.
Yeah,
And
Corey
then
came
twice
twice.
because
Yes.
he came once. He
And
came
then
the
then
first
Chuck,
year.
John
and
came
Chuck
a couple
came in
years ago.
21.
Yep.
John came in 21 as well.
which it sounds like they want to go, but they're not going to adjust their schedules for it.
Yeah.
If it
If
works
it
out,
just
it works
happens
out.
to be a weekend they can do it, they're all in,
Yeah,
but they're
yeah.
not
Yeah.
going to make it a plan around it, which is totally acceptable.
Right.
Like that's like if somebody offers me like Patriots tickets or something like that. It's like, well, yeah, if I'm free, I'll go, but I'm not going to cancel something I'd rather do to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're obviously enjoying it. You're coming to go. Obviously, the tailgate's kind of your ballpark.
Yeah,
I
I
enjoy
mean,
doing that.
I enjoy doing that. I do like watching the race. I'm glad I got to see it yesterday.
And I will say, for me, tailgating's a new thing.
Yeah,
Like,
you never.
I never tailgated as a kid. My dad, my parents, whoever I was going with was always like, get there 5 minutes before the race, you leave 5 minutes after the race.
that's how my parents were stuff
Like
too.
we
like,
were never tailgaters. I didn't start doing that until
Me.
I went with Dan, but we weren't even huge tailgaters the times we went. It was like, holy crap, they're pulling out a griddle?
Yeah.
Like this is
Oh,
mind-blowing.
we were pulling out like, I think 1 year we brought like a small grill. We had a pop up. We had a small grill, and then we had this like weird contraption fold up table that had seats, but if you sat at them, you'd die.
Yeah.
But it was just a table. Like we
And
would
then
do
a couple
that.
of the years, it was so hot, it was like we just sit still.
There was 1 year where we
Then the
literally
two
had-
guys on this side of the table are very big tailgaters.
I loved doing the tailgate, but we didn't do the fucking nearly the setup
Yeah.
we do now.
Well, I grew up in a family full of tailgaters, for sure. Like my cousins always went to, whether it be a country music fest concert or before a Patriots game or whatever, because my oldest cousin had Patriots season tickets back at Foxborough. So like I tailgated with him at Foxborough and then concerts, and my sister and brother-in-law, big Jimmy Buffett fans as well, so they tailgate for that.
You guys tailgated the shot heard around the world. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Tailgated the signing of the...
I was going to say, they sold the land to Robert Kraft for the Foxborough Stadium, right?
Tailgated the signing of the
I should have
Constitution.
gotten more than 6 fucking feathers for that.
They're signing the Constitution. They're like, who's out there with a grill and an easy up?
We had the hot dog roller going before the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
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 You guys
Couple glizzies and throw some tea in the old harbor.
Tailgated Lincoln's funeral.
Jesus Christ.
Kyle was actually at Ford Theater.
At Ford Theater. He was half of the bag.
I went to pee, and all hell breaks loose. Every
always
time
when
I
you go
hit
to
the
pee.
bathroom.
Freaking ruined the goddamn show.
Oh, man.
But yeah, for me, it was like,
what I miss.
I started with Patriots games. So like I had good friends who had season tickets. And so whenever they had an upgrade or someone else would give them a better ticket, I would get one of theirs.
Yeah.
So I probably went, this started before Brady because we were,
Well,
probably.
Foxborough Stadium, so...
yeah, it was definitely old Foxborough. But tickets were like $40. They weren't 175.
For standing room.
And lots were $15-20. So like
Not 50.
you could go there for $150 total. Beers, food, everything. And then the people I started to go with, they were already
Deep in the tailgating.
tailgating. So like, all right, so cool, man. Get some tables, and not always. It was usually they would cook and bring the food and just like set it up.
Yeah.
And then because I want to say back then, like sound like an old man. You didn't have fucking griddles like that. You didn't have-
Blackstones,
like they had them, but they were massive. Like
Someone's
they
either-
were portable.
No, you were bringing
Yeah.
rocks and starting a fire.
Literally,
in
they
your
would
car.
they would bring barrels and put charcoal on them and do
Or
it that
someone
way.
was bringing their house grill, or they were bringing that
Yeah.
little tabletop
Yep.
charcoal bullshit that can cook like 2 burgers
The
on it. It
camper
takes
ones,
45
yeah.
minutes, you
Yeah.
I
know?
brought my Coleman.
Yeah.
How'd your buddy enjoy his time?
He had a ball.
Good.
So he's a big car guy. He,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
Mark.
he said he worked at like a restoration shop.
yeah. So he works at a restoration full time, and he's the one that has the shop over here. He's Apache
Over here.
like 2 doors down.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
We're with my brother, so they work together.
Nice.
So yeah, he's a big car guy. He's a big 3rd gen Camaro guy. He's got one. He's got a
Why didn't
Why
he
didn't anyone tell us
this?
this? That's our game.
He's got
I could have talked we could have talked to him for
best friends. Dude.
hours.
one of the guys he's done work for at his day job. Big car guy, has a lot of. Did you ever see the gray '69 Camaro back there? The flat gray.
Probably.
That's his car.
Oh, okay.
So he's done work for that guy. So that guy is never happy with the amount of motor he has in the car. So he'll took a
Hey,
5.
what man is?
Hell
right.
yes.
Well, he's rich, so he can afford it.
Perfectly average.
Yeah,
He took like a 550 horse 454 out to put a 750 horse in, and Mark's got that motor for his car. He's like, I'm just gonna figure out how to get it in there.
That was his first race, right?
He's watched it, but he's never been to
Right.
been to
Yeah.
the track.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also a Harley guy, Volkswagen. Like he's just into motorsports.
Yeah.
So he had
So
a ball.
I sat with him the beginning, and I put the scanner on his head for a little bit so he could hear the broadcast and get like an idea of what's going on.
No, but I definitely.
That's probably the one thing I miss is the play-by-play. Like if I had headphones, it'd be a little easier.
That's
to
what I
follow
wanted to
along.
ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Like I know he raw dogs it. I need the scanner because the radio. I didn't change it off of PRN once yesterday. I didn't scan drivers because half the time
I
you
also
end
didn't
up.
have it, so
You didn't?
I let all the newbies use it.
Oh, okay. So I could listen to the drivers, but I feel like every time I try to scan around, no one's saying anything.
I have horrible timing with scanners
Or-
on drivers' radios.
Or I'll be listening to someone. I'll be listening to, I don't know, Chase. Nothing will happen, and I'll be like, man, let me try somebody else. Click, click, click. Oh, Chase just smashed the wall and took 4 cars. Son of a bitch! Like
Yeah.
that's
Where's
how
the
it
rewind?
Works. Yeah, that's how it works for me. So I just don't. I didn't even bother yesterday. I just had it on the radio the whole day.
So a good takeaway for next year, you can rent the scanner that I use.
Okay.
It's cheap too.
I think it's like $75
Not
for the
even. I
day
think
or
it's not
something
even.
like that. It's not bad. It's the same exact setup that I have, and you go to the hauler, pick up your shit, use it all day, drop it off.
That's
It's
what
that trailer
that's
that's
what's-
parked right on the hill as we're walking in.
So you
Or
really-
at least it used to be. I think.
No, it's
that's
in
the New Hampshire shirt.
Yeah.
Scothan, that he rented them yesterday because when we were during the rain delay, I think it was during the rain delay, he was like, I'm just gonna go drop these off now and we won't have it for the rest of the race, but whatever. He's like, I just want to make sure these are gone. Like, I don't have to babysit them, you know?
Yeah. It's absolutely worth doing. Like, just like you said, like not having the broadcast kind of sucks. At certain tracks, wherever you sit, sometimes there's like you're close to a speaker and you have some of the broadcast, like at Daytona.
The speakers were amazing.
I had your scanner for the 500 because mine wasn't working. So I borrowed yours because you were leaving. I never put it on. I didn't need it because we had a TV in front of us and we had the speakers that God himself created behind us, and we never needed to put scanners on.
Yeah. But adversely, Coda, the speakers are like this level. It's like, oh, Dan Walker's coming around turn 17.
So bad.
What? And as soon as the cars
Well,
come, you
that's the
can't hear a
thing
damn
with-
thing.
Like Coda or like Loudon, the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
So you can't hear anything even if they're good. Daytona, we're there, and obviously that's a gazillion-dollar stadium. The cars go by for half a second.
And then it's
you
quiet.
have 40 seconds to wait for them to come back. So
Yeah.
you can hear the radio and you can see the TV. At Loudon, the headsets are sure.
And
a
I
huge
think
plus.
that's kind of one of the biggest problems with some people that go to a race for the first time. Like they just turn left and I don't know what's happening. Especially at a track like Loudon, when sometimes you get into that conveyor belt and you're like, wait, who's in first and who's 5 laps down, and you don't know who's where. And if you're too far away from the scoring pylon, like you can't tell.
Yeah.
So it's the scanners are. I think they completely change a race, especially for someone that's newer.
Yeah.
That doesn't know every single car in every single position. Like, you know, Norm doesn't necessarily need it. He's like, oh, the 21 car is right behind C Bell. He's clearly at least 15 laps down. Like, I know he's not
even
in
that,
second.
I can watch it and I can go, I remember who the leader is, who's in second, and I can manage that gap and go. And we're constantly, me, Dan, you, Joe Sanchez, we're constantly going like,
We're looking at each other. If someone's
like
catching,
he's getting
we-
closer,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
he's pulling away. Like we can communicate
Well,
pretty easily, and I can follow it. But the headsets are okay. They're thinking about pitting in 5 laps, or like, oh, why did Chase just lose 3 spots?
Or
and
what did
shit
that
like
guy?
that.
Why did that guy come back down pit road? Like, did
Right.
he have a loose lug nut? Was it a penalty? Was it, you know?
We had that poor orange car that went around 3 laps and went into the pit every single time, and they were beating the shit out of the front of it.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the 31?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
But yeah, no, what I found myself, and this is all due to listening to you guys, is like, I like sitting where we are because we're at the first corner after the restart, which is always a
Yep.
shit show.
Love it.
I also found myself going, oh, these guys are going in 3 wide. They're too close. Something's going to happen right here. And one of the times fucking spun right out. I'm
yeah.
like,
Nailed
I
it.
drilled it.
Now
See?
imagine if you stayed, because they went in that bitch 6 wide.
Yeah, I bet.
It was.
It was dumb.
Yeah.
It was. That was. I mean, we might know if we're gonna get to that point, but so we were hanging out. It started. We were all watching the radar. I mean, we've been weather watching all weekend long, and they're saying Sunday, like on Friday, the forecast for Sunday had a bunch of exclamation points all over it, and that's usually bad.
Yeah, but they also had a window from 9 to 4.
Yeah.
Like, that with no rain.
But
So-
they're saying that when the shit comes, there were chances of tornadoes. I looked at the weather app yesterday, and it said the tornado chance was like 3 to 5, or like 0 to 5. It was at a 3, and it said likely, and I'm like, I don't like that.
And likely doesn't sound
Yeah,
good.
that's
Yeah, no.
weird. We're getting during the race yesterday. Steph's sister is texting her. We had a tornadic cell go over our house.
Is
There was-
tornadic a word?
Tornado. Yes.
Yeah, he definitely made that up.
No.
If it's a real word, that's one of my new favorite words.
Look it up.
That's a sick ass
maybe they'll
word.
use it in the new Twister remake.
Look it up. It's a
Funny
real-
enough, so my mom texted me like when we were waiting for the rain delay, and she goes, "Hey, are you still there? Because it's looking really bad." And I'm just sending her Twister gifts.
Dan, who makes the best
Outflying.
scanner radios to listen to the race? Racing Electronics.
Yeah.
And I ended up
tornadic, relating to or the nature of a tornado. Tornadic storms tore through the Midwest.
I've never heard
It
that
is a
word
real
before.
Friday night, we had a tornadic night.
Oh, boy.
I hate it here.
No, I'm not questioning your.
You
use of
just
the-
did.
No, I questioned it, and then you said it was real, and I said, "Cool, I love that word
he's
now."
being fucking himself.
I've never heard it before, and I love it. That's a
But
cool ass word.
there was like she sent us the screenshot of the local news with they have that radar that shows like rotation.
Sure.
And it was a giant blob with a lot of rotation, and the next town it was going to hit was ours.
Oh, shit.
I was like, great. There's nothing I can do about it. I guess my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law got like alerts on their phone that was like, go to the basement. Like they were under not a tornado watch, but a warning. And it went right over, like that cell went over our house, went over Manchester. I think it did. That video I showed you in Dublin,
Supposedly there was
there
something
was
in
a
Dublin.
tornado, and it touched down for like a cup of coffee, and then was like
Like I
never
saw
mind.
a picture of a funnel.
last year was in Providence. I was working in the, funny enough, Providence Safety Complex, which is the police headquarters
Yes.
and fire headquarters, right? You could see it from 95's big, beautiful building. We were in there, and it was raining. It was shitty out. And we all get a tornado warning, right? Now, they've been talking about it like it could happen. This is like 9:30 in the morning. When I tell you, it went black. The wind started. So now I'm like, the whole building is made of glass.
Yeah.
It's just 5 stories of a glass atrium in the front, right?
Yeah.
And everywhere to get in there, you have to be badged in because it's like all cops and fucking whatever. So I'm like inside, like is in the middle, tucked into the corner where the bathrooms are. And I'm watching this wind go by sideways in the rain. And it was fucking scary. And they said it wasn't even a tornado. The tornado landed in like Johnston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was almost in a tornado as a kid.
Fuck.
And it is scary.
I remember there was one time the tornado that hit New Hampshire, like 2009, the one that the woman died. It landed in like out by Raymond.
Monson. It went through Monson,
Yeah.
Mass, and it went up. Yeah, I remember that one.
So I remember being at work that day and the storms came in. Like it got really bad where we were, but then it was weird because and I've heard this about tornadoes that the sky will change colors, like it's like green.
Right, well, that's what they say in Twister.
Yeah, well, no, but I've also heard that other times. I witnessed it. We were outside, like the storm went through. We were all outside, smoke break or whatever, and we're like, why the sky was like this weird green color.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 10 minutes later, someone in the break room was like, hey, a fucking tornado touched down like 10 miles away or whatever, 15 miles away. We were like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
But so we're getting alerts from home saying that there's a storm down there that could have a tornado. We're all watching the radar. There's all these nasty little cells coming, and I kept saying it. They were coming from behind us in the grandstand. So I was like, the helicopters were flying around. I was like, when they leave, and when the people on the grass hill on the backstretch, if we see them leave, we gotta go.
We know it's time.
They can see
Yeah, when
what's
they
coming.
start running and pushing the elderly people aside.
We gotta go.
Yeah, it's time just to go.
So then the rain gets there, and it looked like it was gonna start pouring, and it's just dripping.
Misty.
It
Yeah.
was. I mean, it wasn't even. I wouldn't even call that a steady rate. It was like, for a minute it was, and then it was just nothing. They red flagged the race. They pulled the cars down pit road. We sat there for what? You guys left. You guys went to the merch haulers pretty quick.
We stayed in the grandstands for at least 40 minutes.
At least 40 minutes. We're like,
and at
what
this
are we doing?
point, we're MFing NASCAR hard.
Because we're like,
We're very anti-NASCAR at this point in the day.
the track's barely wet. Like, it is not even damp. It was more wet before the Xfinity race when we were standing down in turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
We're sitting there watching it. We're like, they could throw the wets on or the damps on, and they could have gotten 30, 40 more laps in.
Yeah.
We're waiting, and we are like, everybody around us is like, what are they doing? What is going on? It's not even raining. Dale Jr.'s on Twitter like, there's no umbrellas in these interviews. Like, is it even raining there? And then all of a sudden there was a couple times we thought we saw lightning, but no one was really moving. And then there was this one giant bolt that went over our heads all the way to turn 3, and you could literally hear the grandstands go, well, time to go. Everybody just
I think you were watching Twitter or your app.
I was.
And you're like 20 miles away,
10 miles
18
away.
miles away.
Yeah.
Like you were like counting down how close it was getting. And then we're like, all right. Oh, we saw a flash, but I mean, could have been a camera.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, that was it.
That was a bolt. Time to
We
go.
see you.
So we bailed. We walked onto the grandstands. We were under the grandstands for another 15, 20 minutes, and then that's when the fucking deluge came
heavens
in.
opened up.
I mean, that was an unbelievable amount of rain in like that. It was like a light switch.
We were down at the merch haulers, saw the lightning bolt. I'm like, yep. I was like, it's not gonna happen.
I said
There's
the
no
same
way.
thing, yeah.
So the girls were wet and like, let's go. And
Nice.
I'm like,
nice.
yeah.
First time that's ever happened. Huh,
So
Kyle?
I was like, all right, well,
NASCAR does it to him.
we'll start hoofing it back to the cars and see what happens. Buy our merch, start heading out, and the fucking heavens start to open
It was like-
right when we're at the tunnel. So we still had a decent walk.
You got a hike.
We get back there. You had just got back when we.
So we were there right before it started. So we saw the first lightning bolt, and we're like, yeah, we're out. So we went down because I think we left before you.
Yes.
So we went down, and as we're walking, every time I saw a lightning bolt, I'm like, plus 30.
Yeah. we were doing the same thing.
Yeah. So we walk up, and then we get back to camp where
Yeah.
we are, and we pop the tents up, just figure we're gonna hang out here anyway. The traffic's whatever. We're not going anywhere. So
Yeah, traffic was pretty crazy at this point.
at that point, yeah, because
Oh, it's
everyone was
nuts.
fucking fleeing like rats on a sinking ship. So, but now we're realizing we're standing next to the fucking cell tower. So I'm like, well, if the lightning hits, it's gonna hit right fucking here.
Yeah.
But
we'll know.
and then I saw 1, 2, 3, like 4 in a row. I'm like, oh, it's gonna get ugly here real fast. And within 5 minutes, you guys, it started pour. We're like holding the tent down now because the wind picked up. It started raining. These guys are running for the hills. They're coming in hot.
Yep.
We were under the grandstands, so we were we were at a point where it wasn't raining hard enough. Nothing was coming through the grandstands, like above us. And then all of a sudden, like we kept moving because there was new spots of water, and then there was nowhere to hide. So we found under the suites is solid. So we went under there. It was all dry. It was like, oh, this is perfect. It starts pouring, and the wind kicks up, and it's blowing under the grandstand. So now
shit.
there is nowhere that's dry. We're like,
Nope.
fuck. We weren't getting for the full rain, but we were getting like pressure washed with mist.
Yeah.
It was
Like,
a hard miss.
It was so, but I'm sitting there and I'm like, they still haven't called this. I'm like, I'm not leaving. We all agreed it was me, Steph, Norm, Sanchez, and Scothen and his fiance. We all agreed. We're like, Norm and Joe were like, we're not going to leave and go sit in traffic. Corey and his fiance and me and Steph were staying there that night. So we're like, it doesn't make a difference if we just stay.
Yeah.
They haven't called it yet. Something's
and
going on.
we were waiting it out. I mean, we're probably an hour or so into the rain delay.
And I was looking at
and
what,
it wasn't pouring yet. And we're like, Dan and Joe were like, you know what? The broadcast is supposed to end at 6.
they're waiting for the TV window to end.
And
then
we're
they're gonna
watching the
call it.
radar, and we're like, we're going to get hit with some rain, and it's going to end like a little after 6.
It was the weirdest radar because it wasn't like red, then yellow, then green, like you see with storms sometimes where it casually slows down. It was like red, nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was. I mean, when it stopped raining, it was like,
It stopped like someone shut it off.
yes.
And the
Yeah, and
sky
like
didn't
maybe
clear
3
up.
minutes of just trickling,
Yeah.
and then it was gone.
And
Yeah.
then the sky got brighter,
Yep.
and that was it. It just stopped.
Yeah.
I was like,
the
holy shit.
ceiling lifted. It got so much brighter.
Yeah.
And then I'm texting back and forth with Dan. He's like, dryers are going out.
He's like,
We
are
could
they-
hear 'em.
He's like, are they fight? He's like, was that just a jet dryer that fired up? I was like, they all just fired up.
Yeah.
And Holso texted me. He's like, are you guys still in there? I'm like, yep. He's like, I'm coming back.
Yeah. So we're all standing there, and Kevin Miller has an additional 2-hour drive back
Yeah.
after the hour and a half back to my house. The girls are soaked. Everyone's tired. I'm like, I got to be at the office at 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, all right, we'll call it.
Yeah.
So, we had a great weekend. I don't regret. Like, I wish I saw the end of it, obviously, but we had a great time.
Yeah.
Had an awesome weekend. So, like, I didn't want to put anybody else out
I get
for
you.
my own
I get you.
benefit. Plus, I had to get back to the dog and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it did
So
suck.
we-
But give us a recap since we've
Yeah.
talked about how much fun we've had and no one's heard anything about racing. Give us a recap of what you guys saw of actually on the wets. Because this is the first time we've run that many laps on a size attractive
So
size.
we hung out. Kevin was texting me, Kevin Wiles. I actually heard the story from him. I thought he was getting this from the media center. The story is way cooler than I thought. It started downpouring. He was hanging out by Reddick's pit box because all the photographers are there. They want to get when they call it, that Bubba Wallace at Talladega moment on the pit box. It starts pouring. The closest thing was the Xfinity garage, so he ran over there. He's standing in the Xfinity garage, and a guy in a Stuart Haas shirt with an empty tire cart, also ran in there. And he's like, they're just sitting there kind of shooting the shit, hiding from the rain. And he goes, oh, yeah, by the way, we're getting back on track at 6:30. NASCAR already told us.
Oh, shit.
So Kevin texts me. He's like, car's on track at 6:30. They're going to run the Air Titans like 3 times, like 2 laps, and then throw the wets on. And I guess all the other photographers that were hiding there was like, oh, well, that can't be serious. Look how hard it's raining. And Kevin's like, that guy's got a team shirt on. He's he's pushing an empty tire cart to go get more tires. He ain't doing that for his health. He's doing that for reasons.
And then it got immediately backed up. A cop came over to us, a police officer that was walking around, came over and like, hey, by the way, they are going back racing. He goes, jet dryers will be firing up any minute now, and they're putting wets on. They're going
and
back
literally
racing.
2 minutes later, the dryer's fired up.
Yeah.
So
And the freaking celebration from the grandstands was
unbelievable.
audible.
Unbelievable. So we go back out. We didn't go back up to our seats. We kind of went more under the suites. So we were a couple sections over. We stayed low at first while they were drying the track, just in case anyone had to go pee. You'd have to run all the way down the fucking stairs or whatever. We hung out for a little bit, and then as soon as they pulled the dryers in, we went up to the 25th, 26th
Yeah,
row.
we weren't nearly as high as we were before, but I mean, the seats were great.
Seats were sick. So we hang out, and that restart, that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. They come down the front stretch, they're still 2x2. They go in the corner, and it was like something was in the middle of the track. Like everyone it was like a deer ran out. Everyone just scattered. You have cars on the apron, cars in the first lane, second lane, third lane, fourth lane, up on the wall. Like we were all speechless. We were all losing our minds, and also didn't know what to say because of what we just saw.
Right. Well, there was a couple cars. I think it was Larson for sure, and I don't remember who the car was behind him, but immediately maybe Noah. Like immediately went to the apron. We're
Straight
like,
to the apron, inches off the grass.
Fuck?
We're
Like
what
I've
the
never
hell?
seen this in my life.
Yeah. So, I mean, it ended up turning into a little bit of a shit show. So then it was funny because we were
Well, even before that, Kyle Busch totals his car on the pace laps.
Oh yeah, he was on the DVP clock on the red flag, so they fix his car. He goes back out.
I think something broke.
I think something broke.
Yeah.
DBC's like, no, he just overdrove the corner and got into the wall. But if you watch it, he starts turning and then it just goes straight.
He did overdrive the corner because you see him. He gets in, washes up a little bit, but then the car just makes a hard
It
right.
snaps right.
It snapped
Yeah.
right.
Because
Which
we thought he was like Josh Williamsing it.
like fuck this, I'm out of here.
Like you guys just made me wait 2.5 hours with a fucking destroyed car and you're going to send me back out here on wet tires.
yeah.
But it's like, then they show the replay and like, oh, he fucking smoked the wall.
He is not having a
And
good
then
time.
Corey LaJoy goes out there and spins out
Under pace laps.
tail end of the field. And it's like, I think Freddie said on DBC, the little bit I listened to, he's like, dude, he was not even 40% throttle when that happened.
Yeah.
He goes, everyone saw that and puckered even more.
Yeah.
Because they're like, he wasn't pushing it. He didn't do anything wrong. He just came off the corner to catch the field, and the car just looped it on him.
Yeah.
So everybody else saw that and went, oh, shit.
It was
Meanwhile, us in the stands are like, no, yep, push the caution back another lap.
Yep. I was shocked how wet it still was for those first couple, even on the pace laps. Like there was spray. You could see spray coming off the back tires in certain spots of the corner. So yeah,
I'm surprised how wet it stayed.
Yes.
Yeah, the only spot that we could see was dry
Was the front stretch.
was the front stretch.
Had one lane that was dry because we were looking right up the front stretch. From
Like
where
the
we
drivers got out of the cars after 85 laps or so, and they're like, we still needed the wets.
They
Like,
asked-
the turns were still soaked.
They asked
Because
Seabell-
after the rain stopped, it was still just damp.
it was
and
like
humid.
I saw somebody on Twitter said 98% humidity,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is the sky is water. Like
Yeah,
at
it
that
was
point.
sticky.
And it was
Yeah.
also throw in the cautions were way too long. I don't know what the hell they were doing with the cautions. The crowd was going insane every time the pace car lights turned on.
I've never seen this. So there were like single car spins where they didn't even hit anything and kept going. We run 3 laps under caution. Then they open pit road, which they're not allowed to pit. You're not allowing them to change fucking tires.
They're allowed to pit. You just can't do anything.
So-
no one needs gas. What adjustments are you going to make? And you're not allowed to change tires. So they're going through this whole charade. And it was more than 3 laps, I feel like they were going around.
So we're watching, and you can hear, like, we're getting annoyed, but everybody else is too. And every time the pace car crosses the start-finish line and the lights don't go off, you hear everyone groan. And then when the pace car, every caution, when it would come across the line and the lights go out, it was like being at a hockey game and a goal got scored.
Yeah.
It was everybody. You could tell everyone was
Electric.
Everybody was getting antsy because it was like, what are we doing? Just wasting. You know, Corey LaJoy spins out by himself, doesn't hit anything, drives away, and you wasted 9 laps under caution.
I think they're just being overly cautious
and
with this.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
We have done this, and I'm going to kind of quote like what the teardown was saying. Completely understand, the time they used him at North Wilkesboro in the open. It's the first time. You got to be careful. They've used them at Richmond. They used them in the trucks at Martinsville. We've used wet tires at the road courses. Like, you have some experience with this.
We've proven it works.
It's time to take the kid gloves off and let the drivers be drivers and let the crew chiefs be crew chiefs and decide what to do when. Like, I was pissed. I was pissed when they wouldn't even let them put new damp tires on. A bunch of cars came down pit road during, I think, the second caution after the red flag. And they were like, no, you can't. Like, we were watching Brad Kay pulled into his stall, and then no one did anything, and they just drove away. And then
Some of the teams, I think, jacked up the cars.
Yeah. And
I
then
think 2 or 3 changed tires because they had to come back.
MRN came on and was like, oh, we've been told that they're not allowed to change tires.
yeah.
And
Why? You have every team, I think, had 4 sets of reins. Why can't you use them?
Yeah.
I was so
Like,
angry.
they took 100% of the strategy out of it.
Yeah.
And that race, as crazy as those last 80 laps were, would have been mental if you had different strategies because I think Jeff was saying he was listening to a bunch of radios and some guys wanted new wets. Some guys were like, these are still fine. I'll stay on these. Like, so you would have had guys staying out. You would have had guys on new wets. If they opened it up to slicks even, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just give them mandatory start on wets. Everything after that is your decision.
Yeah.
I wanted to hop in there. Like, completely understand the mandate. You have to start this race on wets.
100%.
Fine. I get it. You don't want them to kill each other or themselves. I totally get that. But after that, take the training wheels off, like Dan said. Let them do what they got to do. They're professional race car drivers. They're professional crew chiefs. This is the biggest sport, and you're going to keep the training wheels on? Nope. You can't put new versions of the wet
Gluck
ones
said
on.
they're treating them
Or you have to
And
do
then
it.
Gluck
at
said they're
once,
treating it like
everybody
it's-
can come in and change tires.
Yeah.
Okay, well, literally everybody's going to come in and change tires. Nothing is going to change.
Yeah.
You
And
have to start this race. If we're going to get back going, everyone has to be on wets, and then kill yourself if you want to.
well, that's the thing. Like Gluck said, they're treating it like it's the ARCA series, like it's the beginner stock car series. And Bianchi brought up a really good point. He goes, NASCAR probably doesn't want, like, let's say they let him do that, and someone goes out there on slicks and buries the fence. Well, the backlash. No, there shouldn't be any backlash. These are adults. They're big boys. They made that choice. If it works, they get to reap the benefits. If it doesn't work, that's what happens. And I do not understand. Like, I was in such a roller coaster yesterday with NASCAR. I was pissed when they weren't using the wets, when it was drizzling out, when they first put the red flag out. Then I was like, holy fuck, they're actually going to finish this race. Kudos to NASCAR. Great job. You guys are killing it. And then it was like 40 lap cautions for a single car spin. And, oh, by the way, none of you were allowed to make your own choices on anything involving the car. Like, it was so frustrating to watch that.
I think this is now their last chance of mandating it. I think after this, they need to let people do it as they please, or they're going to get so much backlash it's going to backfire on them.
Yeah.
All the kudos for getting this race in, for getting it done, getting it in despite the monsoon that happened for 45 minutes will all be for nothing if you take it away from the teams any further than this.
They're already getting backlash for that.
Yeah, I know. I think this is their last opportunity
Yes.
to do that. I think at this point, the only mandate can be you have to start because it's a safety concern. After that,
Boys have at it.
yeah,
It was
our hands are
Yeah,
drawn.
the racing was great. It was just the cautions were way too long, and the pit strategy was non-existent.
I think the only concern at this point is pitting live pit stops with tires.
Which I think they
In
could
the wet.
still do. There's a way for them to figure out non-competitive pit stops, but still let the teams have the strategy they want.
Turn pit road speed down, cut it in
Yes.
half.
And then, and if people want to stay out, then the cars that came in for non-competitive pit stops, they keep their spot where they come out. Like where they went in minus the cars that stayed out.
Yeah, or just slow down pit road speed
Exactly.
or whatever.
I don't know if
there's ways
slowing
to
down pit road speed's that easy, though, because they don't have speedometers. So it's based off of RPMs, which is based off of every car. So it's not an exact science.
Like they wouldn't have the
they would need
lights
to
set.
test it.
Yeah.
They would at least need to do a couple drive-throughs.
Yeah, I'm just trying to spitball here, but I understand their concern of sliding through the box on wets. You're going to run somebody the fuck over,
Right.
or a pit
Or
crew
the
guy
guy-
slips on the ground and eats shit, especially if it's a concrete surface, whatever.
But that's what they were saying on the teardown is you can still have non-competitive pit stops, but you can make it work. Where like if you don't come in, you get to advance your position.
That is how it works.
Yeah. Oh, I thought even if you stayed out, you still
I'm pretty
ended up
sure
where you were.
I heard that you're allowed to stay out in your game
okay.
positions doing that.
But whatever, you can
But
still
obviously,
have.
when you go 40 laps on semi-rain tires and they go, okay, now you can change tires, no one's going to stay out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was just it was awesome. It was awesome to see. I'm glad we got to see it. I mean, it was history,
And the racing was awesome, and it proves that less grip means less speed in the corners, which means better racing.
Yep. They were when they first went back out after the red, PRN said that they were, I think, 5 seconds slower than normal. And then by the end of the race, they were down, I think they were only 2 seconds slower. Like they were picking the pace up.
Yeah.
There was
Even still on
racing
the
everywhere.
wets.
They were fucking 5 wide off turn 2
Oh, it
at
was
one
insane.
point.
We were
It
watching.
didn't work, but they were.
Yeah. The amount
They
of-
crashed,
the
but
amount
they
of
tried.
the amount of times that one of us would be pointing at the exit of 2 because they're 4, 5 wide. And it's like, oh my God, what, you know what I mean? It was unbelievable.
Chaos.
It was chaos in the best kind of way. It was kind of reminded me a little bit of the Bristol race with the tire issues. Like, you just didn't know what was going to happen.
You know what it reminded me more of, unfortunately? Bristol Dirt. And just like the kind of like crapshoot it is going into the corner, and like, I don't know which lane's going to be good right now.
Yeah.
Everywhere is good.
But that's why all the dirt guys excelled, because they're good at
Right.
finding what need. And that was then just some of the funny stuff, like all of them going in the fucking conga line through the puddles in the front stretch.
Yeah.
It was so fucking
I
funny.
think it was Holso said at one point, he goes, oh, these guys are going to have to drive through the grass because they're running out of wet parts on the track. Next caution, like John Hunter Nemechek and like 3 guys are putting their lefts in the grass.
They were in the grass in front of us, like
Yeah.
in turn 1. They were driving through the grass to cool the tires off. It was, and the best was the big puddles when they were still really deep. Some of them that got in there hot, they come around in front of us, and there's water pouring out of the rocker boxes, like, and hitting the exhaust and getting sprayed everywhere. But like gallons of water is pouring out of the rocker boxes and shit. It was
Awesome.
Yeah, it was the coolest racing I've ever seen at Loud, and the differential in the drivers, like the guys who are obviously more comfortable doing this kind of thing and the guys who aren't. Like, you watch like Chase Elliott, Austin Cindric, even Larson was dropping back, but a lot of these guys that had positions dropped to the back.
You know who really did that I noticed was who was not having fun? Byron. Two of the biggest stars in our sport. Byron and Hamlin were not having fun. They were like, Hamlin was in the top 10 most of the day. I never saw him after the red flag. He was gone.
Yeah, Hamlin's not a great example because he's been so good forever.
Yeah.
But Byron is the guy that they talk about. He never showed his abilities until they got to the next gen. And he's just clicked with the next gen so well, and he's the winningest driver in next gen history. And this is the most anti-next gen event of all time.
Oh, yeah.
You go out where there's no traction, where you have to super slow down, you have to manage your speed to the corners, which hasn't been a next gen feature. And who's the guy that struggles? The guy that's solidified himself as the best one to adapt to this car.
And then who excelled? The dirt guys, the
late
guys,
model
the
guys,
late model guys.
Josh Berry, who is used to getting in a car that you have to manage tires, you have to modulate the throttle to a science. And then you have the Chris Bells, the Chase Briscoes, the Tyler Reddicks, the guys who are just elite dirt racers.
Yeah.
I mean, Larson, for some reason, fell back.
Larson was up and down.
I think he killed his tires.
I think he did too.
Because he was top 3 for most of that run until the end. He dropped.
But it was wild, and then it was funny for the second time in 3 years to have a race where, like, the caution lights come on and they were blinding because it was dark as fuck.
Yeah, it got dark
It
When
fast.
Brad Keselowski spun,
Oh my god!
you have never heard a grandstands more in favor of something in your life than everyone's like, start the car.
So he
start it.
So he slides, he spins out, he's sitting in the top lane of turn 2, and
like right above the tunnel.
he's trying to get it started. The flame, it's got the lazy flames that come out when it's just burning fuel. Like, they're not like shooting out of it; they're just kind of slow burning. The entire turn 1 and 2 grandstands is standing, and everyone's screaming, "Go, go, get it!" Because NASCAR, kudos to them, held that fucking caution for as long as they could.
They wanted to keep it green.
Seabell was
right. Well, it was getting dark.
Yeah, they were running out of light.
2 to go, I think.
And the timing, Seabell was at the start-finish line. I looked over, Seabell's crossing start-finish. I look back, the light's still green. You hear Keselowski fire it, and the tires start spinning. Caution light comes on. It was like, oh!
Yeah, Seatbelt like touched the new pavement into one, and they're like,
If he was 3 seconds faster getting that car started, they would have stayed green.
which wasn't Brad's fault. Obviously,
It's not
He was
his
trying to
fault.
start
Yeah.
it.
Tried his-
Oh, it's not
tried
his
his
fault
That
at all.
was heartbreaking for me because I think Barry had his best chance there before the restart because Barry had already battled Briscoe.
He was chasing him down.
and then he was a car behind
Yep.
the 20, and I was like,
Woko's coming next
I
year.
see that. We're going to hold you to that.
he's a car behind. He's close enough to make an attempt, and he's got no
Yep.
pressure out back.
Yep.
And then, unfortunately, the yellow flag came out. We got the final restart, which
Seabell's gone.
it was awesome. But Briscoe, I mean, we talked about earlier, Briscoe and Barry came from the 20s up to the top 5, and now they're teammates side by side, but they no longer have an alliance to each other.
Yeah.
They're not going to wreck each other, but they're not going to help each other.
Yeah.
They're both fighting for their lives right now, and unfortunately, they just cost each other enough. It was kind of like Saturday, where
Yeah.
I
It
said
was the same
Saturday,
scenario.
where Creed and Custer were battling, and it just lets Bell slip away. This happened on Sunday as well.
That overtime restart, Kyle, they went into 1, they come off of 2. I don't know what kind of wet patch Bell hit, but it looked like he hit the fucking afterburners. Like, he pulled on everybody. And Norm just goes, damn it. because you knew it was over at that point. It was over.
But great race. Seabell sweeps the weekend.
Haven't seen that in a while.
That kid
in
has
New
put
Hampshire.
on quite a show in New Hampshire.
That's his fucking home track
Also,
at this
bring
point.
back the goddamn trucks. What are we doing?
Won
Yeah,
this year,
please.
2 years ago he won, and all 4 times that he's raced in Xfinity has won in New Hampshire.
He is,
And I think
a
every
lock.
race he hasn't won, he's finished like second.
Yeah, he should have won that dark race that Almirola run. He was chasing him down.
Yes.
By the way, this was darker than that. I'm pretty sure.
I
fairly
think
certain.
so. Because of the cloud cover. I don't think the darkness was the same time because like when we got back
This
up to
was
the cars,
definitely earlier.
yeah, when we got back to the cars last night, it was still light enough out. That year when we did it in 21, remember we got back to the trucks and it was
black.
pitch black.
black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was when they were racing, there was times where I was looking out to the entrance of turn 3 and I couldn't tell who was who anymore. I was like, that's dark.
When Bell was, we were in turn 1. When Bell was celebrating standing on the roof of his car, it was hard to see.
It was hard to see. So crazy. And I was bummed because we didn't get a long run, so we didn't get glowing rotors again.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was really
I was
good.
wondering
That
about
was
that.
the one good thing about 21.
Kevin was telling me about that because obviously he was taking pictures and he was all hyped because he always says his favorite picture he's ever taken was Blaney that night with the rotors on fire. But we were getting 4-lap runs. They weren't getting heat in them enough to get them glowing. So it was like, damn it. We had an opportunity there.
Overall, fantastic weekend in my opinion.
And they got that race in just in time because
Sure did.
we walked. Obviously, it was getting dark. They wouldn't have run much longer anyway. We stayed for Seabell's burnout. Pretty much that's it. We started walking down the grandstands.
It was raining before we got out from underneath.
Well,
the
no,
grandstands.
we got out from under the grandstands. We went through that gate that no one was at anymore, and it was like drip, drip, and the fucking raindrops were like ping pong balls. We were like, well, that's not good, and so we walked all the way back up to the truck in the rain. Not the same rain you did. It was definitely not raining that hard, but it was enough to get us all quite wet,
Get you damp.
get quite damp, and then we didn't even hang out for that long. We all packed our shit, and he came back to the camper, grabbed his shit, Joe came back to the camper and grabbed his shit.
Yeah, I brought the Scothans home.
Yeah. Oh, you brought him back to their.
They're like, we could just walk. I was like, I'm driving by it.
Yeah,
Just
that's
get
cool.
My damn truck.
Yeah, because I asked them like, why are you guys coming back to the truck? Their chairs were up there.
Oh,
So,
Shall we answer some questions?
Mazel.
well, yeah, and then that was about it. We left this morning, got to talk to David,
Yep.
GM of the track, when we were pulling out of X lot, which is so funny that 12 hours beforehand is nuts to butts with campers, and then I woke up at I think 8:30 and I stuck my head out and I was like, Jesus, it's a ghost town. We talked to the guys behind us.
Where am I?
They were leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning because they had like a 5-hour ride back to Vermont or 4-hour ride back to Vermont. Like it was me and Kevin. The people next to us were still there, but they were almost leaving. And then I'm like looking around. I'm like, Jesus Christ, the 2/3 of this lot left before sunrise. So, but that's why having a 40-minute ride home is nice because we just took our time,
Yeah.
kind of packed everything. I had some breakfast, packed everything up nice and slow. We rolled out of there, I think, like 11:30. And yeah, as I'm pulling out of X lot, David's white Tundra, which is also Kyle's white Tundra, they bought the same one. But his is cooler.
boys.
His is cooler because his license plate is NHMS-1.
oh yeah.
Because, GM of the track, you can kind of get away with that shit. I'm like, I know that truck. And I went by with the window down and I kind of like looking out the window and he rolls the window and he's like, oh, what's going on? Like he was all excited. He's like, you guys have fun this weekend? And just shot the shit with him for a minute. And
It's awesome.
yeah, that was cool.
He's the best.
He's the best. And then started driving home and realized it was really windy. So it took me like an hour to get home because we just took all back roads home because it was sketchy windy at some time. Like even on 106 on the road by the track, even
Damn,
that
so
I
you guys
was,
didn't get home until afternoon?
got home. Actually, then I got stuck in traffic on Route 3 where they're doing all that construction right by the split. So I got home, I think, a little after 1.
Damn.
Got home a little after 1.
Oh, so that shit's still hooked up then.
Oh, no, I unhooked it. We unhooked
Really?
it. We unpacked
Well, you guys were quick when you got home.
We unpacked all the shit that we needed out of it. There's still some shit in there. Unpacked all the essentials. I had enough time to sit on the couch for like 15 minutes and then come down here.
Damn, y'all made great
So
time.
I'm eepy. I'm a big sleepy boy right now.
All righty, let's see. We got a whole mess of them, so let's see what we got. We will start from the bottom with Mr. Jet Daily. Will Ryan Blaney ever finish in the top 20 again?
He should have if it wasn't for McDowell licking the stamp and sending it. Did you see McDowell's interview?
Oh, yeah.
He's in a spot where he's pretty much in a must win. So he was
He
like,
has to win.
He was like, I went for it and it didn't work, which it didn't.
Nathan Danforth.
Blaney was not as mad as Bubba, though.
Oh, we didn't even talk.
I caught that, and
You
I
weren't
was
there
like,
for that.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, so Gregson flies off into one, hits the paint, I think, and loses it. backs up the track into Bubba's door, collects somebody else, and ended up being a massive wreck right in front of us.
Like 3 different wrecks happened at once. There.
Bubba smashes the wall, so he's driving around. Kevin told me he had his net down before he was even in 3. He was pissed.
Yep.
So he pulls into pit road.
He was hurt.
Gregson's, I think he was too, because he hit the wall a fucking ton.
Yeah, it nosed it straight in.
Yeah. So Gregson's already in his pit stall. Bubba pulls in and blocks him.
I saw that.
And then at this point, Gregson just backs up and drives around him. Bubba stayed in his stall for 45 seconds, and apparently, according to the PRN broadcast, he was screaming at the pit crew. Like, the crew chief and Bubba were MFing each other back and forth. They were, like, screaming at each other, pissed off. And then Bubba drove, like, 2 stalls up into his stall and got out, and he didn't look.
Yeah, and I caught it first.
He got out. He was like hunched over. He was
over.
hurting.
I was like, I can't see this that good, but is he parked in Gregson's stall? And everyone's like, oh, shit, he is.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, how are you pissed at a guy this much for crashing in the rain?
Yeah, it was an accident.
Yeah, it's not like it was intentional.
Yeah,
he
dude
was
spun
4
out.
lanes away from you and lost it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude spun out in the rain doing nothing
I
insane.
think that was a reaction to probably how hard that hit was.
right.
He
He
probably
hit a
wasn't
bunch,
feeling good.
but I mean, it's not like Gregson
Oh, I
dove
know.
it in there and drove it in the grass.
But yeah, we had an interesting day.
Yeah.
There were some interesting wrecks in that last 80 laps.
Nathan Danforth, what is one feature from Pocono you'd implement at New Hampshire and vice versa?
Camping in the infield.
Yeah.
There
You
is
can-
some. We
you
just
can-
cannot
yes,
afford
yeah.
it.
There's no room in there.
No,
is
you
there?
can. They have a lot for camping in the infield, but I think the spots start at like $1,500. So where Pocono, I think our spot for the weekend is $280.
Yeah.
So it's not bad, but there's camping in the infield is an entire different animal, like being inside the track all weekend.
Yeah.
From Loudon to Pocono, I don't know. Oh, you know what I want to put
Make
in?
it closer to your house.
You know what I want to put in Loudon from Pocono? And we talked about this? The tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
So there is a tunnel in Pocono. If you're in the infield, there's a walking tunnel that goes under the front stretch, and you
so you
pop
don't-
out on the other
So
side.
you're not trapped when the race is
You
on.
pop out under the grandstands, and you can go to the fan zone. You can go to the stuff. At Loudon, they have the tunnel, like for the haulers and cars and stuff. We have to walk all the way up there, and then you pop out where we come down the hill.
Yep.
But like to get to the stands, we were going to go up to the stands for the Xfinity race, and I looked at Kyle. I was like, dude, by the time we get up there, we're talking 40 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes from now, and you're going to have to leave. Like, there's no
Yeah.
point.
It's a very long walk.
So he
it's
said
just
it-
very convenient.
He said
tunnel.
it to me that day. He's like, I wish every track had the tunnel under the front stretch that just, I mean,
The Pocono Tunnel, the walking tunnel, is the most convenient thing that place has.
because it dumps you out literally under the grandstands. Like you pop out right there.
It basically goes right under the start-finish line.
Which
It's
it's
so
designed
nice.
because so many people camp in the infield.
Right.
It's more designed for going into the track to go to the fan area inside the track, and then
Yeah.
camping in the infield, go up to the grandstands, which isn't really a thing. It's not general admission in the infield like it is at Pocono.
Yeah.
So New Hampshire, it's more for people like us and the few people that camp in the infield. I understand why they don't have it, but can they just dig a hole for us, please?
Yeah, please.
Get the tunnel machine
From
out.
New Hampshire to Pocono, monitors.
Yes, TVs.
Yeah.
Even though Loudon's TVs still aren't good, that'd be great if there was like a couple randomly placed throughout the infield for the campers.
Yeah,
Because
like the one in
Pocono's-
turn 1.
Yeah, Pocono's so big, we see them when they go by us, and we can kind of see them go down the backstretch, and then they're gone.
Yeah, there's no monitors out in the
Yeah.
Infield.
infield at all.
Where Loudon, as you saw yesterday, where we sit, you can see everything.
Yeah.
So that would be nice.
Yeah. Sam Valley 95 with the couple. How was the merch at the haulers?
So I said this to Kyle on Friday. I made the mistake of saying early in the year that I bought all my shit at Daytona. I'm good for the rest of the year. I forgot that they come out with new stuff as the year goes along.
Yeah.
So the merch was pretty good. And it's funny because this is now our third race. And I mean, we see a lot of the same stuff, but every merch hauler had
something new.
we hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
You know?
Merch is awesome because it's merch. And
It still bums
it's constantly new stuff.
Still bums me out because, like we've talked about here 100 times, I remember how it used to be, and it's depressing. You know, there are still merch haulers, but that used to go. There were merch haulers all the way from turn 3 all the way to turn 1. Drivers were like Dale Earnhardt had 3. Jeff Gordon had 3. They would have one out there, one in the middle, one in the end. So if you were wherever you were sitting, you didn't have to walk a mile to get to it. And now it's just like you have that one row of haulers. We even talked to the Classics guy about it, and he was like, "Yep, I miss those days. Like that was a different time."
Yeah. Yeah. The tracks that are closer to the Carolinas area definitely get more.
Yes.
We don't get as many because we're pretty far north, but yeah, I do miss
What
miss
they
having as
do
many.
bring though is good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I did not. We were talking about this before we recorded. None of us made it to the gypsy tents this year.
Nope. Save some money there.
But like I said, I said it to staff. She's like, "Oh, you didn't get to go," and I'm like, "We're gonna be in Pocono in 3 weeks. They'll be there. Like they're the same people will be there." So
Gypsy tents, I always feel like everything I buy, it's like, oh, I need this. And then it's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck am I doing with this?
absolutely.
Sam Valley 95. What's better for watching the race, the stands or the infield?
Stands.
Yeah.
I say it every year we go to Pocono. I wish we went up to the grandstands. I understand why we don't.
Yeah.
But like I did that a couple times at Pocono. Like I think it was
That's why we always watch the Xfinity race.
right. It
Yes.
was the
And we
year,
watched
I think
truck race.
You came the first year, maybe the first year you both came, I guess. A couple of us went up to the grandstands
You
for the
did.
cup race.
You did. Yeah, I remember that. I want to combine the two because I think the perfect thing is the hill at Loudon because they're as high as the grandstands. You can see everything, but you're also right by your camper. So if it's a 100-degree day, you can go hide in the AC for a minute. Or hey, let's fire up the grill and make some burgers.
Is that a hard spot to get to?
Oh, those spots are like they've been in families
Like willed
for
down to
years.
people?
Yes,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
have to know
Like season
somebody.
tickets are,
Yes.
yeah.
So that's the best part about Pocono is when we're watching it at the camper. It's like, hey, who's hungry? Kyle's gonna fire the grill up. Or hey, it's hot as balls. I'm gonna go hide in the AC for a couple minutes, then come back out, and we don't have to leave the dogs in the camper
Right.
like we
You're
did
also,
yesterday.
you're not hauling around your cooler full of stuff all day.
You're at your home base, so that's why like
you
Loudon-
sweat through a shirt, you go change your shirt.
Yeah, any of those tracks that have like the trackside camping that are outside the track, like Loudon has some in turn 4, but they're kind of low. You can't really see anything. But that hill is just as high as the grandstands,
Yeah.
and you're right near your home base. So like, oh, I'm gonna go grab a beer. You don't have to lug your whole cooler with you. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
would love to watch a race on that hill.
So I've never even
dude,
been up
lay
there.
down a fucking blanket and you're just watching the race.
So us-
recline in the grass.
Us at
dude.
Coda.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what we did
much.
at Coda.
that's ideal.
Yeah, so that is, if I had to say anything, I think that is the best spot out of like any NASCAR track. 'Cause
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's it's combining the two things.
Right,
We
it's
gotta
like-
figure out who we have to fight to get one.
It's like
Timmy's got one. Timmy
Rattlesnake
from
Hill.
Wicked Fast has one.
I'll fight him. I don't want to, but I will. For that spot, I'll fight to the death.
Can I take him? I'll take him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Brian's gonna fight him.
Yeah.
Way better idea. Best guy ever though. Don't want to fight him.
Okay.
All right. Gage Racing. It's your boy.
Yep.
Why is Joey Logano a fucking hack?
Oh, he just lost it getting in there.
Yep.
Joey?
Overshot the corner.
I'm pretty sure he had a wheel off.
Oh no, that's right. He did. He had a loose wheel.
Yeah.
That'll
They
do
came-
it.
Yeah, he went in the corner, shot up into chase, and then we watched him. He came back around pit road. They took the front wheel off, and it was a 2-piece, and those are not supposed to be 2-piece.
Is that the orange car?
There was the red
The
car.
Hunt Brothers 22.
Hunt Brothers car. So yeah,
You could see it on the broadcast, and still everyone's like, oh, Joey just overcooked it, or he was reacting to Blaney and kind of drove up.
no.
The second he hits Chase, when he comes off him, you can see the wheel is lodged backwards and not spinning.
Yeah, and then they
It's
took
like that's obviously broken.
and then they took it off the car, and it's the face and half the barrel. And I'm like, that's
Ronan H21, 2 weeks.
oh my god.
He's a coming.
Is
I'm
Is he
mad.
bringing you a rear view
3.
mirror? Woko wants
Yeah,
to know.
Wilco wants to know, are you finally getting a rear view mirror for the Harlequin?
Oh, I already got
comes
one.
Back.
I got one. Bought it on eBay.
Yeah, I'm a little sad I don't fully get to experience his first road trip because you screwed that up, but it's okay.
Sorry.
You blew it. I want to be there at his first American truck stop, and you're going to be 6 hours behind me.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Sorry.
It's okay. At least he's still coming no matter what. I don't care. Although having the 4 of us in the camper with the 2 dogs this weekend made me realize how tight it's going to be with 5 of us in the camper.
Sure is.
It's going to be a fucking sweaty
Yeah,
weekend.
say you want to talk about nuts to butts.
Yeah,
right?
it's
Tight
gonna,
squeeze. Yeah, he's on the couch.
oh, I know. Or he's going to be in your bed.
Fair. All right, fine.
Oh, God. They're going to be on top of me.
That
then.
bed's coming down.
It's going to be the scene from Step Brothers.
Norm gets squished.
Norm's going to look
Such
like
a bad idea.
Norm's going to look like the Neapolitan ice cream sandwiches we got. Speaking of, once again, for the second year in a row, shouts to the NHMS crew. That freezer full of ice cream sandwiches is
Unbelievable.
a godsend.
Those went fast, though. I didn't even get one.
They were gone. I went back Saturday afternoon after you left, and I opened the freezer, and I'm like, damn it.
We did another
No, I was
lap
with
or
you
two.
when
Or
went
you
back.
were with us, yeah.
We did another lap or two, and we came back, and I was like, I'm going to get a stick. I'm going to get a game-winning stick.
They had drumsticks,
We opened
too.
the freezer, completely empty. I was like, dude, that was full to the rafters
There's
when you guys grabbed
there's just
sandwiches earlier.
frost. There's the only thing left in there is just scrape the frost off.
Sam Valley 95 with a couple more. Would you like to see New Hampshire in the playoffs?
Sounds like we're getting it.
Like I said, it doesn't really affect us.
No.
No. I mean, it'll be nice to see like the urgency ticked up a little bit, but
Yes.
I mean, we're still going to go no matter when it is. So
It'll be in
it is
February,
what
and
it
I'll be
is.
there.
I don't care. What track do you want to see in the playoffs next year?
Homestead.
Homestead.
Yeah, I don't want to lose
I
Homestead.
don't want to lose Homestead.
Nicky Low 42. NASCAR needs to figure out their rain rules. Let the team make their own decisions. Yes.
I will say we applaud NASCAR. Everyone give NASCAR a big pat on the back for getting that
For
race
doing
going.
it in general. They
Yeah.
just need to do it.
Because they
better.
had every opportunity, and we were even saying in the grandstands around 5:30, 5:45, the rain picked up, and I was like, and if they're gonna call it right now, no one would question it.
No.
But the fact that they haven't called it yet gave us hope that they were gonna try to.
I thought when the lightning clock kept getting reset every 30 seconds that I was like, so one of these bolts is going to be the bolt that
and
does
then
it.
they waited for the worst possible downpour to be like, we're gonna go.
Yeah,
you sons of-
yeah,
you
we're doing
crazy
this
sons
shit.
of bitches.
Well, Kyle and I were talking about this before, and he said, they're just nervous, right, to just let the reins out, right? But it does seem like, and I listen to you guys all the time, every time this happens, they give a little more,
Yeah.
and just a little more, and just a little more until they're finally going to let it all go. Which, like I said, NASCAR isn't known for a quick change of anything.
I
so.
feel like
Yeah.
this was the opportunity for them to take the gloves off, and they didn't because they've had enough experience, like we said earlier, with other. They haven't done this a lot.
I think
they've done
I
it
think
enough.
the impending darkness they didn't.
Yeah.
If this was 3:00 in the afternoon, I think it might have been different.
Maybe.
All right, let's blast through a couple because we are way over.
Oh, we're not that bad.
3:10.
No, but it's 10
That's
o'clock at night,
Not
so
even that bad.
Is it 10 already?
we still have 17 more, so
Okay.
we're gonna speed round a couple.
Whatever.
Well,
you have a-
actually, people are talking about the same stuff we're talking
Like
about.
you have
actually.
a long ride home.
Sorry.
I'm gonna stab you one of these days.
I hope you do.
Downriver Diecast. How hot is Corey's seat for the 7 car?
I feel like it's getting a little warm.
he's
Not cool.
He's good for a year, but
Yeah.
I almost want to see him step down at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I think he's realistically got 2 years left, or he's in big trouble. I know a lot of the major sponsors that have joined the team are because of him, because he's got a big name and his big podcast, and people like him a lot, and he's a very marketable guy. But you got to perform, and he's not.
We were talking about this a
At
lot
all.
yesterday. I think it's time for a crew chief change over there. Like Sparks has done a lot for that team, but they want to be an A-level team eventually one day. They got to get an A-level crew chief in
Yeah.
that team.
Yep, absolutely. Because whatever they're doing now is not working, unfortunately.
He did somehow recover to like a fucking 18th place finish or something yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, this guy was wrecking every 5 laps when it rained. and
Nope,
he came back-
23rd.
23rd? He finished higher than Carson? Or did Carson have the 18th?
Carson was 17th.
So I had those backwards.
17th, and Zane Smith in 30th. No surprise there. All right, what's your favorite summer thing to do in New England?
Go to the lake. Be on my boat.
NASCAR July race.
And NASCAR. Both
Yeah.
of those things in tandem.
Non-NASCAR related, I enjoy going down the Cape with my family, which is the plan for next week, as we normally do.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah. Is that?
Yeah, next week.
I thought you do July 4th.
That's next week.
That's not next week.
It's
Is it?
It's
pretty close next
that's,
week.
that's next week.
Week and a half, maybe.
Oh, hell yeah. 4-day
Yeah,
weekend.
2
Let's
weeks.
go. I forgot all.
Yeah, I think this weekend is
I'm off.
Chicago. Halfway through the week after that is
No, this
4th of
weekend's
July.
Nashville.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
the 4th is a week from Thursday.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Coming quick.
This race being in June has me all fucked up.
It's
got me
screwed up
all
my
jacked
schedule
up.
so bad.
Yep. I see one you skipped over that I do want to bring up. L98 All right, what do you prefer, the heat or the monsoon? I said it this morning that I'm fucking sick of rain, but I will take it over what we could have because that 2019 year when me, you, and Ed went, it was 103. I never want to do that again.
Yeah.
That was fucking terrible. Where Saturday, how many times I look at you, Kyle, and go, how perfect is it here? It was 65, breezy, and cloudy.
Oh, it was mint.
It was the most perfect day I've ever had at a racetrack.
Downriver Diecast also asked if we think they're bringing back the 18 for next year.
Yeah, I speculated that earlier.
like
I
what
don't
I-
know if they are, but that's their number.
That
was
video that
Joe
you-
Gibbs' original number.
That Joe Gibbs video they just put out, I still haven't watched it, but I watched it with no sound. And Bobby Labonte being in that video, that makes me feel like the 18 might be coming back.
It was weird for them.
I
to
think
get
it's a
rid of
better
it.
choice than redoing the 19, like you
Yeah.
said. All right. How was traffic leaving the race? And who had the longest drive home?
I know Sanchez left my camper. Fuck, when did we get back? 8:30, 8:45. He didn't get home until 12:15.
Oh,
I was
God.
home
He's
by-
Connecticut. He's like down by
He's-
Hartford.
He wins
I
Yeah,
was
for
home-
sure.
Yeah,
I was
it
home
was
in
like-
an hour.
2:20.
Yeah, he didn't get home. He posted in Discord this morning that he didn't get home until 12:15.
Kevin Miller would have been the same, but he stayed at my house for a little
Yeah,
while
that
and then
doesn't
went
count.
home.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
He got a pit stop involved. That goes
That
to Sanchez.
That goes to Joe.
Traffic wasn't too bad when I left.
No, same.
Overall.
I think when you guys left, it was pretty. Because I mean, I will say, shouts to. We talked about how big the crowd was. Shouts to the people that stayed out too, because that place, I thought it was going to be empty. Obviously, it was not even a third full.
Decent
but
amount
there was
stayed.
still a good amount of people,
Yeah.
and you should have seen the amount of people when the jet dryers turned on coming back down the hill. It looked like pre-race at like noon.
Oh, yeah.
Flooding back into the track.
Oh, absolutely. I saw it.
Yeah.
I will say traffic wasn't bad, but the less cars almost makes it more unorganized.
Yes.
So like when there's so many cars, like the lines are so obvious. This was pouring rain. Everyone's kind of swerving in and out, and there was like 3 broken down cars on the side.
Was one of them
that
also?
kept ruining the lanes.
Was one of them also? Because apparently the K truck shit the bed on the way home.
No,
no.
In
fu-
his
the-
mile-long drive.
He said the fuel pump finally shit the bed. He said he spent like 45 minutes underneath it on the side of the road, like hitting it with shit, and then it finally got it to turn back on and made it home.
That sucks.
It broke down. He fixed it, and it still took half the time that took Ryan
yeah.
to get home.
He lives like he's
Well, he-
right around the corner.
He was telling me that he was going to leave the track, go across the street into a dirt road, and go
Yep.
through the woods right to his house.
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah, if it perfect conditions, he can go straight home.
Yeah.
What is your go-to move after you get home from a race?
Unpack.
Exhale.
Fire, unpack the truck, just like launch everything into
that's what I
the
did.
garage, and then go to sleep.
Shower
Today,
bed.
because I knew I had to come down here, it was what's in the camper that I need for work tomorrow. Like, what do we need? Everything else we can deal with another day. Like, it was grab the clothes, grab the chargers, grab bathroom stuff.
Yeah.
Anything that might get hurt if it gets hot, like I grab my camera and shit like that.
I empty the cooler, dump the water out, throw all my clothes in the corner, and figure it
I
out later.
unloaded the truck bed. Everything got yeeted into the garage because I'm gonna put it back in the truck in 3 weeks. I was like, oh, I'm gonna put the generators. I'm gonna put the generators in their spot in the back of the garage. And I was like, why? In 3 weeks, I'm gonna put them back in the truck. So I was
Yeah, like I left like my folding chair and like my sun hat in my truck and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
But was it also with all the tornado talk yesterday? Was it kind of sick and twisted that I got home and immediately put Twister on TV?
Yes.
And then started unpacking?
Yeah.
Because that was like the background of me doing everything at home.
And Steph said it today though. Getting home in the afternoon is so much better because there's been times we've taken the camper places and you get home at 7 o'clock at night and it's like,
Yeah.
she's like, we got home and she's like, I'm exhausted, but she goes, I'm so motivated to like get all this laundry done and like get everything taken care of because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's not 8 o'clock at night. You know.
When you get home and it's dark,
Yeah.
you're like, ugh.
Yeah, so she was like doing a mountain of laundry tonight, and I was like, perfect, that's awesome.
He coming over from Dustin this year. I got home. It was still shitty out. I hit the button on the garage door. I backed the whole fucking rig right into the garage and shut the door and went inside. And we're done here.
And we're done.
This sounds like a tomorrow
The
problem.
best way to unpack is to not
Is
unpack.
to not unpack.
anything. Is to just walk away.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll believe it when I see it. Wilco.
Downriver Diecast, what was on the menu for the weekend? Who did the grilling?
Kyle did the grilling.
Kyle did the
'cause he's
grilling.
Kyle.
Hi.
So yeah, we
I
had
know what Dan Brown brought the steak, right?
Dan brought the
Yeah,
steak.
in 2 like Ziploc bags. He just pulls out marinated steaks and sandwich bags. He's like, I brought steak.
But everyone just went, oh, yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
so good.
like steal
Mike's
that?
wife made those smoked wings.
Those were bomb.
Dude.
Yeah, the wings were good. The mott sticks.
Yeah.
Those are a
fire.
hitter every year.
Yeah.
Those are every year.
Well,
The
that,
hot dogs were good.
And there's nothing better than the mott sticks of watching someone grab one and just bite into it. I think
It's like
who
lava.
was
The
it?
shitties
Who
hot
was it?
dogs.
street hot dogs,
Someone
yeah.
did it yesterday, and I was dying because of the facial expressions when they like bit into it and realized that it was the surface of the sun.
It was Steph because she had the fingernail, so she picked it up.
yeah,
Kyle's Steph. Picked it up with fingernails, didn't realize how hot it was, took a big bite, and then was just like,
instant regret.
yeah, I definitely held on to a half chewed mozzarella stick for like 10 minutes.
minute.
Joe,
Yeah.
Joe meme Kyle right now.
Oh, yeah.
That was the O face I've ever seen.
I will say I was disappointed. it was like early for me. I don't eat that much that early in the day.
Yeah.
And then like you guys are cooking so much stuff, so I'm like having a little bit of this, having a little bit of the steak, the chicken wings, the hot dogs, like having a little bit of everything. And then Kyle starts cooking burgers. Like, damn it, I really wanted a burger too, but there's no way I'm putting down a burger right now because there was so much food. Then
so
the cookies,
burgers,
brought the gourmet cookies,
burgers, dogs.
That was also Mike. His wife works for that company.
fried
The
chicken
crumbles, yeah,
wings, crumble cookies.
Everyone was making the
steak.
jokes that he spent $800 in that box, and he goes, "Oh no, my wife just gave them to me because she general manager of a crumble."
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
it was good stuff.
Yeah, we had a really good lineup.
We had a
there's
good
no
lineup. I mean,
shortage of good food.
we had a pretty good lineup all weekend. I mean, I know Thursday Steph made like fajitas when her sister was here. What'd she make? What'd you guys make? I forget.
Burgers and dogs. Kyle.
Oh, yeah, we had
That
burgers and dogs.
That was a team effort.
Steph. What
Then
the
we
hell-
did breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, what the hell did
I
she
didn't
do?
have one of those. I'm so mad.
What the hell did she do for Joe? I don't remember what she did for Joe. I think chicken. if I'm not
Chicken, I think
mistaken.
he said chicken.
Yeah, she did chicken and like chicken and potato, like a sweet potato grilled and stuff like that. So
Nathan Danforth, what do you think a Jimmy Johnson type driver is worth in their prime? 10 mil a year? Question mark.
More. I think Junior and them were making over 10 mil.
yeah,
It's Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Junior, and probably Denny Hamlin had the best paycheck years, and I'm willing to bet Junior got like 16 mil at one point for a season.
oh yeah,
Oh,
back in the heyday.
Not everybody was getting those. Like I said, there was maybe 5 drivers who were in double-digit millions. I don't know how many numbers that is, but
2.
there
Jimmy
were,
Johnson on average made 17.8 million a year.
Jesus.
So Junior was
Christmas.
probably over 20 at one point.
Yeah. That was career average, so yeah, definitely. So in the high teens, that's for sure. Any in the
There
chat?
was one from Daniel DJ, Mr. DJ. Which driver has the best comeback story in a race? It has to be Chase Elliott at the Roval
Probably.
when he put it in the heartbreak turn and then came back to win.
Yeah.
I mean Dale Senior, 2000 Talladega. Was that the coming from like 21st?
Oh yeah, that was 18th to first in 4 laps.
Yep. That was pretty nuts. Trying to think of other big comebacks.
I don't know. That is tough.
There's been so many.
Yeah, there was one other one.
Kyle Busch Pocono.
Oh, with the
when he
blown
got
up
stuck in
transmission.
high
He
gear.
got stuck in
Yeah,
fourth.
he
and
was
won the
stuck in
race.
fourth gear.
I am
One.
so that's
Jesus.
one of like the proudest moments
They
where I've
pushed
ever
him
like
off
predicted
pit road
something.
in fourth gear.
I was like, dude, he's in high gear. He's got this win. He's gonna catch the pack when they get the green. It's gonna be insane.
Yep. Sam Valley also said, "What's the one thing that's going to blow my mind going to Daytona 500 for the first time?
The sheer size of the
The
place.
size of the place. The
How
no-
nice it is and how much it doesn't feel like a racetrack until you step out onto the stage.
Yes.
It feels like a beautiful like
Mall.
football stadium.
That's
Yeah.
what he said. That's what
I
me and Norm
compared
were
it to
saying.
Patriots Place, which is the nicest stadium I've ever been in, New England Patriots. But you feel like you're in a mall or like a just like 10 out of 10 gorgeous like outdoor venue. And then you step through the gate and you're just like, oh, there's also a racetrack here.
Like when you're under the stands, there's like, what is there, 5 levels,
Mm-hmm.
6 levels, something like that. And each grandstand is like there's the Chevy grandstand, the Exalta grandstand, the Toyota, and all of them have displays, and they feel like you're in a mall. Like you'll walk by.
There's like multiple terraced cars, and it's like a 3-story escalator that you go up, and you're going by the cars, and there's like a fountain and shit.
there's
You're
a
like, wow,
wall.
this is beautiful.
In the Chevy one, there's a wall of all the accessories you can get for your Chevy truck. It's insane.
And it's like mostly outside under like this big cover. You're like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
I said
And
it
everything's
before.
clean.
Yeah.
We've gone to Loudon our entire lives, all of us. And it's a racetrack. You go there and you're like, yeah, this is what a racetrack feels like. It's kind of shitty, but kind of like ghetto, but like it's a racetrack.
It's like
This is
your
what a
local dive
racetrack
bar.
is supposed to feel
Someone would
like.
drive by and go, ugh, but you're
And
like,
then
this is
you
my
go
spot.
you go to Daytona and you're like, this is a fucking world-class facility.
Yeah.
Like you go there, like everything is brand new. There's escalators. The displays out front look like you're at freaking SEMA. Like everything about it is just another level. And then, oh, by the way, you're going to watch the most exciting race you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And
it's insane.
I've never been in the. I went the infield 25 years ago as a kid when there wasn't a race weekend. I can't imagine the infield during a race weekend. How cool that must be.
Yeah.
Going through the garages and stuff. But I don't know what your home track is. But just take that and make it nice, because your home track's going to feel like a shithole after you go to Daytona.
There's very few facilities that can even
I
come
bet
close
Vegas
to it.
is nice.
Vegas is very nice. Not even close.
Yeah.
The
That's
Neon
why-
Garage is really cool. I've
That's
been
why
there.
I
It's
want
nice.
them to redo Nashville.
Indy must
Oh, Indy's insane.
destroy Daytona,
But
I have
Indy
not
is
Like, I bet there's no neon lights.
no
in
Indy's infield. I mean, it's been 20 years since I've been there, but like the museum in the infield is unreal. The amount of like what they have in there for stuff.
You're in the
Goddamn golf
grandstands
course.
at Indy.
There's 4 holes of the golf courses in there. They have a golf course that starts outside, and you walk across the track to play 4 holes, and that's inside the track. And then it's well, obviously they can't do it during racing,
Right.
They did it during qualifying.
They did.
for
I
the
think
Indy
there must
500.
be some sort of tunnel or something because I saw a video of a guy playing golf during Indy 500 qualifying. Like he was teeing off. He tees off.
Don't
and then-
shank that one.
Yeah.
yeah, he tees off. Like he hits the ball, and then a car just goes right by. I was like, okay, that's sick.
He goes to the crosswalk, just like knees to chest.
Yeah,
Go!
yeah.
I'm stepping.
Indianapolis, I feel like you're walking through the grandstands. You're like, wait, are these floors marble?
Yeah, right.
Like, I feel like that's the kind of place you're at.
I
in
went
Indy.
pre-Penske owning it, and I've heard it's only gotten nicer. And
Oh,
it
they
was
put
it was
millions
beautiful.
into
It
it.
was beautiful 20 years ago. So
And that does it for the questions. And for yet another episode of the Lucis Fast podcast.
yay.
Wonderful weekend. Thanks to everyone that joined us on Sunday. Thanks to everyone that hosted us over the weekend at New
welcome.
Hampshire Motor Speedway.
You're welcome.
They always take great care of us.
They really do. They're
as
the best.
always.
Like seeing everybody we know in the media center, and like they get excited to see you. Like it's just it's the best feeling.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Because we're not, we see the people that we follow on Twitter. We see the Pockrases. We see the Kim Coons and all the NBC people. You see them
She
walking
smiled at
around.
me.
She did smile at you. I saw it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I witnessed this happen.
We're in love.
But you see these people that are supposed to be there. And
Right.
we still feel like this is what the 3rd year we've been doing it loud. And I still sometimes I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here.
I 100% feel that at all
But
times.
they
when we're
get
there.
when you see the GM of the track and he's excited to see you. When we see Shannon, when we see and they like I saw Jill Saturday morning after they came up and saw us Friday night in the campground.
Yeah.
I don't know where you guys were. I went in the media center for something, and she saw me. She got all smiles. She's like, "Oh, you guys survived last night." Like it's exciting to see that stuff.
Yeah.
And
You feel welcome.
It makes you feel more like you belong when they make you feel that way.
Yeah.
100%. And that's why we love it there so much. Like we don't have that connection with Pocono. I love Pocono to death, and I love being in that garage in that media center, but we don't know anybody there, so it doesn't give us that same.
But Pocono's also, when we go to Loudon for Saturday, we're full on media. When we go to Pocono, it's like we're like half and half the entire time because it's like we can go into the media center, but then we just blend out with normal traffic, and then we're just doing kind of fan stuff.
Yeah.
At Loudon, we're just solely media
Yeah.
on Saturdays, so it's like you're in the media world. Where
Yeah.
Pocono, I feel like we're kind of just in and out of it the whole time.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
solid way to put it. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we sign off, follow us on everywhere at
@LucisFast_pod on Twitter and Instagram. Go check out the link tree. You'll find our YouTube. That is the Lucis Fast Podcast. And go follow Topics Under the Stairs on YouTube as well.
Yep.
They could use it. I mean, they're great.
Come on. You made it all this way, Dan. You're gonna stab you right at the end.
It's not you, it's John. But yeah, definitely go follow us and them because they that episode this week with Dan and Kay, every time they're on is
I
just
gotta listen to it. I haven't listened to it yet.
it's unhinged
it's
chaos,
hilarious.
but it's the great. Like sometimes you guys have people on that I'm maybe not that interested in, so I'll listen, but like I'm in and out.
join the Discord. We have memes.
Yeah, when it's memes. Oh, they already memed you.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
It's when the hawk doesn't stop after you Tua.
Nice. I love it. I'm Kyle Belcher,
I'm Dan Walker.
Norm Peltier.
And sitting over here, Ryan Hathaway.
and we'll catch you
Thanks, boys.
at Nashville.
Later.
Topics Under the Grandstand.
That's right.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, we're still live. Forgot about that.
Yeah, we're still live. Oh, bunch of losers still in here. Go home. Don't you have families? Oh, I like the majestic sunset.
I took that picture at horseback.
Oh,
We went there one night. We're walking down the beach, and I just went click.
great background.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to have you over for a hangout at the house. And
Definitely.
sunset at that house. It's ridiculous. All right, I need